I heard sister-in-law seemed very angry. You two didn't have a quarrel, did you? Zhou Yuchen replied. You know how good-natured your sister-in-law is. How could we possibly quarrel? It was Shun Shiyan who upset her greatly. Curious, Zhou Qing asked, what did he do? Zhou Yuchen recounted the events of the previous night, in brief. After hearing the details, Zhou Qing exclaimed, he spent 263,000 on 3 rounds of drinks? My heavens, that's extravagant. No wonder sister-in-law was so furious. If it were me, I would give Shun Shiyan a stern lesson. Zhou Yuchen chuckled, this matter doesn't concern you. Just knowing about it is sufficient. Zhou Qing nodded and said, I'm going for a run. Wait. Zhou Yuchen scrutinized her attire and remarked, you seem to run often, given your outfit. Zhou Qing replied proudly, of course. Since my first day of college, I've consistently run 5 kilometers every day. Zhou Yuchen nodded approvingly, very good. Would you like to learn martial arts? Zhou Qing raised an eyebrow, what martial arts? Zhou Yuchen answered. Tai Chi. Zhou Qing wrinkled her nose in disdain. We learned Tai Chi in our freshman physical education class. After mastering it, I practiced for 3 months but saw no results, so I stopped. Zhou Yuchen explained. The Tai Chi taught in school is intended for the elderly to perform and stretch their muscles. The Tai Chi I will teach you is a true martial art, capable of strengthening your body and enhancing your vitality. In the face of danger, not even a few burly men could approach you. Zhou Qing appeared skeptical, questioning. Is that true? Watch closely. Zhou Yuchen picked up a small red brick from the ground, placed it in his palm, and, with a concentrated effort, crushed it into red powder. Zhou Qing was left speechless, her eyes wide with disbelief. Brother, when did you become this formidable? Zhou Yuchen brushed off the dust from his hands, saying, I've been practicing martial arts for several years in Sioux City. So what do you think? Interested in learning? Without hesitation, Zhou Qing responded, yes, I must learn. Zhou Yuchen continued, all martial arts begin with stance training. The saying goes, practicing martial arts without practicing stance is futile in the end. The stance here refers to standing postures. Zhou Qing, quick-witted and with a sharp memory, although not as remarkable as Zhou Yuchen's photographic memory, could still memorize a text after reading it a couple of times. Within just half an hour, she had grasped the movements and essentials of the Tai Chi stance. However, merely remembering them was one thing. Mastering the synchronization of movements with breathing and vital energy would likely take her several days. Chapter 262. Bloodline Suppression. Zhou Qing exhaled deeply, opened her eyes, and felt a refreshing clarity wash over her, her entire being rejuvenated. Overwhelmed with joy, she exclaimed, Brother, this Tai Chi stance is incredible. I stood for 20 minutes. And not only did I feel no fatigue, but I also felt remarkably comfortable. Zhou Yuqing remarked, exactly. If practicing the standing posture leaves you with sore muscles and back pain, it indicates that something is amiss in your practice. Today is Thursday, and you have 3 days until school starts. We shall strive to perfect the Tai Chi standing posture within these 3 days. After your runs, stand for half an hour. And I assure you, your energy will be invigorated, your strength will increase, your vitality will flourish, and your skin will appear more radiant than any cosmetic could provide. Zhou Qing's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm as she clenched her little fist, declaring, Brother, rest assured, I will persevere. Upon returning home, Zhou Yuqing found Shen Jingyun already awake, bustling about in the kitchen. Darling, why are you up so early today? He asked as he entered the kitchen, wrapping his arms around her slender waist from behind, his hand slipping beneath her clothing. Don't move. Zhou Qing is here, Shen Jingyun protested, wriggling free from his embrace with a hint of reproach. Don't worry. Zhou Qing is perceptive and will not. Before he could finish, Zhou Qing walked in, asking, Sister-in-law, is there anything I can assist you with? Zhou Yuqing smirked, saying helplessly, Zhou Qing, you truly cannot handle flattery. Zhou Qing, somewhat puzzled, inquired, what's wrong? With a sigh, Zhou Yuqing replied, nothing. Please help your sister-in-law with breakfast. I'll go take a shower. A smile tugged at the corners of Shen Jingyun's mouth. Since meeting Zhou Yuqing, she had taken every opportunity to learn culinary skills from him. After a few months, she felt her cooking had significantly improved, and her dishes tasted much better than before. After showering, Zhou Yuqing entered little Ye's room. Soon, her tinkling laughter filled the air. After dressing her and completing her morning routine, Shen Jingyun and Zhou Qing emerged just in time to place breakfast on the table. As they were eating, Shen Shiyan yawned and stumbled out, looking bewildered. Uncle, when did you arrive? I had no idea. Little Ye exclaimed in surprise. Shen Shiyan scratched the back of his head, saying, I'm not sure myself. Shen Jingyun coldly interjected, you drank too much at the Huiguang bar last night. The owner had no choice but to call me, and I sent your brother-in-law to bring you home. Shen Shiyan turned to Zhou Yuqing, saying, thanks. Zhou Yuqing smiled. You should indeed thank me. Had some unscrupulous individuals taken you and filmed a video, you might be in the police station right now. Frowning, Shen Shiyan retorted, are you trying to scare me? Zhou Yuqing fixed him with a serious gaze, saying, "Ask Uncle Shin how many individuals end up imprisoned each year due to such misconduct. And you'll realize I'm not trying to frighten you. Shiyan, harbor no ill intentions, but remain vigilant. It matters not how much you drink at home, but outside. You must exercise caution." Shen Shiyan felt overwhelmed, saying, "Zhou Yuqing, you are quite overstepping your bounds." Zhou Yuqing shrugged, choosing not to engage further. After all, he and Shen Jingyun were merely in a romantic relationship, not yet married. Were they to wed, Shen Shiyan would soon learn the consequences of his irreverence. After a night of contemplation, Shen Jingyun had calmed down. She stood up and addressed Shen Shiyan. "Go wash up first, then join us for breakfast." Shen Shiyan shot a glance at Zhou Yuqing and said, "Seeing certain individuals sours my appetite. I want to be eating." Shen Jingyun replied calmly, "I don't wish to repeat myself." Having grown up with his sister, Shen Shiyan was all too familiar with her temperament. The moment he saw her composed yet menacing gaze, he shivered involuntarily, uttering a soft "oh" while his mind raced, trying to decipher how he had offended her. Observing Shen Shiyan obediently head to wash his hands, Zhou Yuqing couldn't help but chuckle inwardly, thinking, there truly is something to the idea of bloodline suppression. "Mommy, Daddy, I'm full," little Yaya announced, patting her tummy as was her custom. Shen Jingyun gently pointed to the remaining third of her milk, saying, "Could you finish your milk, sweetheart?" Little Yaya replied, "Mommy, I really can't drink anymore." Zhou Yuqing joked, "Then let me have it." Immediately, little Yaya handed her milk cup to him. After finishing the milk, Zhou Yuqing said, "Darling, take your time eating. Zhou Qing and I are taking little Yaya out." Shen Jingyun asked in surprise. "Zhou Qing is going too?" Zhou Qing replied with a smile, "Sister-in-law, I'm studying computer science and plan to visit my brother's Yuechen game company." Shen Jingyun remarked, "I was hoping to take a day off to take you shopping." Zhou Qing replied, "Please don't take a day off. I wouldn't want to disrupt your work. We can shop this weekend instead." Shen Jingyun nodded, saying, "All right, dear, drive carefully." Zhou Yuqing made an okay gesture, assuring her, "Rest assured." Shortly after, Zhou Yuqing, cradling little Yaya, departed with Zhou Qing, who was dressed in professional attire. Once they left, the house was left with only Shen Jingyun and Shen Shiyan. Unable to withstand Shen Jingyun's gaze, Shen Shiyan hastily finished his sandwich, then downed his milk in one go, declaring, "That was refreshing." "Sister, what is going on?" Shen Jingyun inquired. "Do you often go to the Huiguang bar?" Shen Shiyan replied, "Not frequently. I've only been about 7 or 8 times, always with those rich kids. You know, it's not easy to get money from them. I have to keep them entertained." Shen Jingyun produced a bill and placed it before Shen Shiyan, stating, "You've spent nearly 3 million on drinks over 2 occasions. Last night, in a fit of poor mood, you squandered over 70,000, treating every table to 2 bottles of Ace of Spades. Shiyan, you're quite generous with outsiders." Shen Shiyan's expression shifted as he glanced at the bill, frowning. "Did Zhou Yuqing give this to you?" "Humph, that's meddling in my affairs. I don't need him to settle my debts." Shen Jingyun shot back, "If you look down on him so much, then repay him the 263,000 along with your previous debts, and cease any financial dealings with him." Shen Shiyan was taken aback, asking, "Sister, what do you mean?" Shen Jingyun replied, "Do you not understand my meaning? You've made your first fortune using his 50 million, and have invested his money into your gold futures, yet you neither express gratitude nor respect, referring to him disdainfully as Zhou Yuqing. Tell me, what does he owe you that justifies such a contemptuous attitude?" Shen Shiyan found himself at a loss for words, rendered speechless by Shen Jingyun's assertions. Chapter 263. A reckless decision. Shen Jingyun continued, "Imagine if the roles were reversed. If you had a younger brother who borrowed your money for investment, yet showed you no respect, constantly referring to you as Shen Shiyan, how would that make you feel?" Shen Shiyan pursed his lips and said, "Sister, so you're just trying to defend him." Shen Jingyun replied sternly, "I am embarrassed by your behavior. Acting this way makes it difficult for me to hold my head high in front of the Zhou family." Shen Shiyan finally broke down, rising in anger and exclaiming, "Sister, tell the truth. Do you think I'm incapable of achieving success in business?" Shen Jingyun stood up. Although she was 10 centimeters shorter than Shen Shiyan, her aura was formidable. She spoke in a deep voice, "The people who wish for your success the most are your father, your mother, and me. Yet your actions leave me with no glimmer of hope for your success. Let's not discuss anything else. Just consider the expenditure of over 2 million. Tell me, how much investment have you secured with such vast spending?" Shen Shiyan replied, "To attract significant investments, such minor expenditures are necessary." Shen Jingyun laughed in exasperation and said, 263,000 is a minor expense? How many 263,000s do you need to secure your so-called major investment? 2, 3, or 10? Shen Shiyan's confidence visibly waned as he retorted, "You simply do not understand." Shen Jingyun replied, "I may not comprehend investments. But I do know that to borrow money from others, you must showcase your capabilities and value, convincing them you can help them earn more. If you go to a bar and spend lavishly, no one will lend you a dime, no matter how much you drink. She continued, moreover, have you considered what you would do if your investments fail? Shun Shiyan confidently declared, I will not fail. Shun Jingyan countered, do you think you are a financial guru? Even the best investors do not guarantee success in their ventures. Take Zhou Yuqing, whom you have always looked down upon. Why did he invest 10 billion in trust funds for Xiaoya? Why did he establish Yuechen Gaming Company and Kuanping Group? It is precisely because he cannot assure success in the financial market that he secured a fallback plan. Shun Shiyan, feeling somewhat defiant, said, Zhou Yuqing's first fortune also came from the futures market. If he can do it, so can I, Shin Jingyan responded. Do you realize the fundamental difference between you and him? After making over 100 million from oil futures, he promptly invested tens of millions to establish Yuechen Gaming Company. And you? You have put all your money into the financial market, continuing to take risks in hopes of earning more. Shun Shiyan shouted in anger, yes, in your eyes. I can never measure up to Zhou Yuqing. No wonder people say that once a daughter is married, she only thinks of her in-laws. With a sigh, Shun Jingyan softened her tone. Sure too, I am not saying this to argue with you. I want to remind you that your entrepreneurial journey has only just begun, and you are far from having the qualifications to squander money in a bar. If you fail in your venture, you will find many who will revel in your downfall, and very few who will offer you assistance. We are not a business dynasty. Our family cannot help you. The only person who can aid your resurgence is Zhou Yuqing, whom you disdain. I believe what you need most right now is to calm down and contemplate your future. After speaking, Shin Jingyan picked up her LV bag and left the house. Shin Shiyan sat on the sofa, lost in thought for a long while. Finally, he picked up his phone and dialed the number. Boss Wang, I need to borrow 200 million. What do I need to mortgage? A cheerful voice replied from the other end, Young Master Shin, why would you need collateral to borrow money? Just give me an address, and I will come over. I assure you the funds will be transferred to your account once you sign the contract. What is the interest rate? Young Master Shun, we are signing a betting agreement, not a loan shark deal. We can negotiate the terms. All right, I will send you an address. After hanging up, Shin Shiyan's expression became exceptionally resolute. I will succeed. I must succeed. I will prove to everyone that I, Shin Shiyan, am no less capable than anyone else, especially Zhou Yuqing. Shin Shiyan's confidence was well-founded. Recently, he had reaped significant rewards from gold futures. During the previous surge, he had leveraged 20 times, netting approximately 1.8 billion. As gold prices plummeted, many suffered devastating losses. But Shin Shiyan had already sold his long positions and switched to short positions, still utilizing 20 times leverage. If he were to sell his current short positions, deducting the promised profits to others, he could still earn at least 130 million. However, such a sum was trivial in his eyes. This morning's conversation with Shun Jingyun had unsettled him greatly. Thus, he decided to return Zhou Yuqing's money, borrowing 200 million at high interest to pursue greater profits, effectively severing any financial ties with Zhou Yuqing. At 10 in the morning, Shun Shiyan met with Ji Zhigua, the head of Yunqing Investment Company, at a cafe. Ji, at 48, was bald with a square face and a robust physique. Even with glasses, his imposing presence was hard to disguise. Young Master Shun, here is the betting agreement our company has drafted. Please review it for suitability. Ji Zhigua displayed great respect in Shun Shiyan's presence. Taking the agreement, Shun Shiyan examined it carefully. The terms stated that Yunqing Investment Company would lend him 200 million for investment in the financial market, with a duration of 3 months. If Shun Shiyan succeeded, he would need to repay Yunqing Investment Company 2.5 billion in one lump sum. If he failed, he would still owe 2.5 billion, but with an additional 5 million for each month delayed. Shin Shiyan estimated that he would need at most a month, so he inquired, what if I repay within a month? Ji Zhigua pondered for a moment and replied, 2.1 billion. If repaid within 2 months, it will be 2.3 billion. Within 3 months, it will be 2.5 billion. What do you think, young Master Shin? Shun Shiyan nodded. That works. Ji Zhigua promptly left to reprint the agreement. After both signed, Ji Zhigua extended his hand with a smile. Young Master Shun, may our cooperation be fruitful, and I wish you great success in the financial market. Shin Shiyan shook his hand and replied, thank you for your kind words. When can I expect the funds to be transferred? Ji Zhigua responded, in no more than 10 minutes. Indeed, as they sipped their coffee, after 8 minutes, Shin Shiyan received a call from the bank. At noon, Zhou Yuqing was having lunch with Zhou Qing in the cafeteria of Yuechen Gaming Company when his phone suddenly buzzed. Upon checking, he saw a message from the commercial bank confirming a deposit of 50 million. Just as Zhou Yuqing was pondering this, Shin Shiyan called. Did you receive the money? Is this 50 million from you? Yes. You paid me 263,000 last night, plus the 35 million you owed me. which totals nearly 40 million. I am giving you 50 million to thank you for lending me money to secure my first fortune. From now on, our agreement is null and void. I will establish my investment company based on my own abilities and will no longer have any financial dealings with you. Without waiting for Zhou Yuqing's response, Shen Shiyan hung up. That guy must be feeling quite pressured. Zhou Yuqing immediately realized that Shen Jingyun had likely given Shen Shiyan a stern reprimand. Zhou Qing had overheard their conversation clearly. It's true that a single grain of rice nurtures a variety of people. How could such a thoughtful sister have such an inconsiderate brother? From the moment she met Shen Shiyan, she had a poor impression of him. Seeing his attitude toward Zhou Yuqing that morning only deepened her disdain. If it weren't for Shen Jingyun's sake, she would have scolded him long ago. Zhou Yuqing chuckled, saying, "Your description of Zhou Shiyan as immature is remarkably accurate. In my eyes, he resembles a petulant child, mischievous and headstrong, overly concerned with appearances, speaking without restraint and lacking respect for others. He occasionally creates chaos. For that reason, I cannot bring myself to be angry with him. Scolding a disobedient child is futile. The best remedy is to give him a good spanking." Zhou Qing smiled and replied, "He will be your future brother-in-law. Do you dare to strike him?" Zhou Yuqing responded, "I am referring to the harsh lessons life will teach him. Given the emotional and intellectual intelligence he has displayed, do you truly believe he can succeed in entrepreneurship?" Zhou Qing scoffed. "If he were to succeed, it would be a miracle." Zhou Yuqing asserted, "Just wait. There will come a day when this boy seeks my help, and I suspect that day is not far off." After dinner, Zhou Yuqing called Shen Jingyun to discuss the matter of Shen Shiyan repaying his debts, asking, "Did you perhaps scold him too harshly this morning, hurting his pride?" Shen Jingyun replied, "Pride? More like a fragile ego. Darling, don't worry about him. Let him make his own way and see what he can achieve." Zhou Yuqing inquired, "Have you spoken to your parents about this?" Shen Jingyun sighed, "No. If my father finds out, it would cause quite the uproar. A loud drum needs a heavy hammer. Let us hope Shiyan doesn't get too reckless." Unbeknownst to them, Shen Jingyun's hammer was indeed quite heavy, yet the results were entirely counterproductive. Shen Shiyan not only failed to amend his ways, but instead escalated his reckless behavior, borrowing 200 million from Yunxing Investment Company. If things went awry, he would not just be left with nothing. He would instead owe several hundred million. That evening, after dinner, Zhou Yuqing took Shen Jingyun, Zhou Qing, and the lovely Xiaoyu for a stroll in the community. While Xiaoyu played on the slide, Zhou Yuqing led Zhou Qing aside to practice the stances of Tai Chi. Zhou Qing established her stance, her eyes appearing half closed, her hands cradling an imaginary large ball, exuding a unique charm. Zhou Yuqing was momentarily taken aback. Then admiration shone in his eyes. He had not anticipated Zhou Qing's talent to be so exceptional, even in just her second attempt at standing practice. She had managed to evoke a hint of the natural essence of the art, a rare martial genius indeed. Sharing the same mother, Zhou Yuqing's talent paled in comparison. Shen Jingyun nudged Zhou Yuqing and asked, "What is Zhou Qing practicing?" Zhou Yuqing replied, "The stances of Tai Chi." Shen Jingyun queried, "What are its benefits?" Zhou Yuqing elaborated on the advantages of Tai Chi stances. Upon hearing that this practice could enhance vitality, delay aging, and promote longevity, Shen Jingyun eagerly grasped Zhou Yuqing's arm, her face alight with anticipation, asking, "Can I learn?" Zhou Yuqing softly responded, "That depends on how well you perform tonight. If you excel, I shall teach you tomorrow." Shen Jingyun blushed, playfully retorting, "You'd best be quiet." Zhou Yuqing chuckled, "I rise at 5 to practice. If you can awaken by 6, I will teach you the stances on the balcony." Shen Jingyun asked, "Only the stances, no techniques?" Zhou Yuqing replied, "The stances are the foundation of Tai Chi. Once you master the basics, you may then learn the techniques. My dear, while you apply facial masks and beauty products every night, they merely serve as external enhancements. Genuine anti-aging must come from within, nourishing your essence." Shen Jingyun pondered, "Darling, there is a subtle freshness about you. Is it a result of your training?" Zhou Yuqing nodded. As one advances in martial arts, the functions of the internal organs are greatly enhanced, and toxins are expelled, resulting in a naturally cleaner body. Believe me, before I reach 50, I shall have no gray hairs and my skin will retain its current vigor, making me appear as if I were in my 30s. Shen Jingyun's eyes sparkled with envy. "Can I reach your level?" Zhou Yuqing awkwardly scratched his nose, saying nothing. Shen Jingyun immediately grasped his implication, feeling a wave of disappointment wash over her. "If only I had met you sooner." Zhou Yuqing reassured her, "You need not reach my level. If you practice Tai Chi daily, ensuring a robust flow of vitality, and use reliable skincare products, while I cannot promise miracles, reducing your age by 10 or even 20 years should be entirely feasible." Shen Jingyun declared, "Starting tomorrow, you will teach me Tai Chi." Zhou Yuqing agreed, "Very well." Half an hour later, Zhou Qing pressed her hands down, exhaled deeply, and opened her eyes, asking, "Brother, how did I do?" Zhou Yuchen gave her a thumbs up. Much better than I had imagined. In a world of martial arts, with your talent, you would undoubtedly become one of the most formidable heroines. Zhou Qing, skeptical, asked, Are you serious? Not just being sarcastic? Zhou Yuchen smiled. Tell me, what did you feel during your practice? Zhou Qing's eyes lit up. It was unprecedentedly comfortable. Not only did my body feel at ease, but my spirit seemed to relax significantly as well. Zhou Yuchen remarked. That is because your Tai Chi stances have reached a significant level. Most individuals would require 6 months to achieve what you just did. Zhou Qing, with pride, stated. It seems I truly am a martial arts prodigy. Chapter 265. Grandfather diagnosed with cancer. Zhou Yuchen said, Tomorrow at 6. I will teach your sister-in-law Tai Chi on the balcony. If you wish to practice outdoors, you must rise at 5 and join me in the small square. If you cannot manage that, then practice with your sister-in-law on the balcony. Zhou Qing replied, I will see how it goes tomorrow. At that moment, Zhou Yuchen's phone rang. Upon checking, he saw it was his mother calling. Hello, mother, what instructions do you have? Yuchen, your grandfather has been diagnosed with cancer. The news hit Zhou Yuchen like a thunderclap, causing his complexion to pale. In his past life, he had succumbed to liver cancer, instilling in him a profound fear of such terminal illnesses. Mother, which type of cancer? Early-stage stomach cancer. Zhou Yuchen let out a long breath, chiding mother. Could you please provide complete information? There are many types of cancer, and early-stage cases have the highest cure rates. Stomach cancer is among the most treatable. With proper surgical removal of the tumor, medication, and a good attitude, it generally poses no significant issues. Your grandfather wanted to undergo surgery in northeast China. I am concerned about the medical standards there, so I asked your uncle to bring him to Yunhai. Do you know any specialists in this field? Leave the arrangements for a specialist and a comfortable hospital room to me. I will ensure everything is handled properly. Please have grandfather take a flight here as soon as possible, and it would be best to bring grandmother too. Once the surgery is completed, let them stay in Yunhai for a few months to recuperate before returning to Jixing. All right, it's settled then. After hanging up, Zhou Qing, looking tense, asked, Brother, did grandfather really get cancer? Zhou Yuchen reassured her, Yes, it is early-stage stomach cancer. As long as the surgery is thorough, a full recovery is entirely possible. Shun Jingyun added, My father is classmates with the director of Yunhai First People's Hospital. Zhou Yuchen's eyes brightened. That is excellent. I will call Uncle Shun and ask him to arrange for a more comfortable room. As a prominent leader in the Yunhai municipal government, arranging a hospital room and securing a top-notch expert would be a simple matter for Shen Qinggang, especially since he and director Guo Xingping were classmates. At 10 o'clock in the evening, Shen Sheng sent a text message to Zhou Yuchen, containing Guo Xingping's phone number, requesting him to contact the latter once the hospitalization schedule was confirmed. Mom, everything is settled on my end. When will Grandpa arrive? He'll land at Yunhai Airport at 10 o'clock the day after tomorrow. Who is accompanying Grandpa? Your grandmother, Uncle Da, and Uncle Air. Then Dad and I will go to pick them up, have lunch, and head straight to the hospital. It's better to get Grandpa's surgery done early so everyone can feel at ease. All right, your dad and I will go to Yunhai tomorrow. Can Dad find the neighborhood? Zhou Qingjian's voice came from the other end of the phone. Your father is not that muddled yet. Zhou Yuchen replied, Then please drive slowly. I need to make a trip to Sioux City tomorrow. If there's nothing urgent, could you take Zhou Qing to school in the afternoon to pick up little Yaya? Zhou Qingjian promptly agreed, no problem. The next morning, Zhou Yuchen was on the balcony teaching Shun Jingyun the standing posture of Tai Chi to his astonishment. Shun Jingyun's aptitude for practicing martial arts surpassed even Zhou Qing's. After merely 10 minutes, she grasped the essence and entered a state of flow. Zhou Qing whispered, Brother, it seems like sister-in-law's stance is quite impressive. Zhou Yuchen replied, Your sister-in-law's martial arts talent is a notch above yours. Zhou Qing, go practice on the other side and do not disturb her. Zhou Qing nodded, saying, Understood. After confirming that Zhou Qing's Tai Chi stance was also satisfactory, Zhou Yuchen closed the balcony door and retreated to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. Darling, this Tai Chi stance feels incredibly comfortable. After waking up, I feel exceptionally clear-headed. Shen Jingyun exclaimed joyfully half an hour later as she approached Zhou Yuchen. He smiled and said, That means you are doing the Tai Chi stance correctly. As long as you persist, your vital energy will flourish and your spirit will become increasingly vibrant. Shen Jingyun responded with delight. That's wonderful. After breakfast, Shun Jingyun hurried off to work as there was an inspection by leadership from Yindu that day, necessitating her early presence. Zhou Yuchen took little Yaya to school and then headed straight to Suzhou. There were issues with the chip design at the Tianjiang drone group, and Zhou Yuchen needed to attend to them. Zhou Qing remained at home, but she didn't linger for long, as she followed a female instructor Zhou Yuchen had found for her to practice driving. Upon entering the chip design room at the Tianjiang drone group, Zhou Yuchen examined their progress and frowned. It was far too slow. Their pace was significantly behind what he had anticipated. However, this was to be expected. Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching had not even reached an expert level, and it was impressive enough that they had come this far. As a master-level chip technology expert, Zhou Yuqin found their issues to be quite trivial. In just 10 minutes, he effortlessly resolved their problems, leaving both Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching feeling both impressed and embarrassed. Since he was already there, Zhou Yuqin decided to lead the chip design team forward. Under his guidance, they accomplished in a few hours what typically would take them 3 days. Everyone was astounded by Zhou Yuqin's prowess. "Brother Chen, you are truly remarkable," praised Wei Nanbei from the general manager's office. Zhou Yuqin lifted his cup and took a sip of tea, saying, "Chip design is an exceedingly intricate task that necessitates the collective effort of the entire team. Nanbei, I believe it is essential for you to hire a reliable chip expert at a good salary. Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching's capabilities are insufficient for the forthcoming tasks." Wei Nanbei replied, "Brother Chen, aren't you a highly reliable chip expert yourself?" Zhou Yuqin shook his head, responding, "I have 2 companies to manage and simply cannot spare the time and energy to research chips here. You only need to find a talented chip designer. Follow my design approach step by step, and success is assured." Wei Nanbei said, "I'll contact a headhunting agency tomorrow. Chip design isn't accomplished in a day or 2. I need to recruit several more experts. Brother Chun, I may need you to oversee their qualifications later." Zhou Yuqin smiled, "No problem." Not lingering in Sioux City for a meal, Zhou Yuqin drove back. Along the way, he received a call from Wang Guangzhou. "What? Tomorrow? The young lady Lin Shishu from the Hongwu Jiuxing Group is coming? How sudden?" The Hongwu Jiuxing Group is the highest valued conglomerate globally, with industries spanning smartphones, computers, automobiles, pharmaceuticals, food, and aviation, boasting a market value of $800 billion, with numerous subsidiaries under its control. It can be said that if the Jiuxing Group stamps its foot, the entire Hongwu would tremble. Chapter 266. The visit from Jiuxing Group. The head of the Jiuxing Group, Lin Xingrong, is 80 years old and reportedly in poor health. He has 3 sons and 1 daughter, each ambitious and vying for the position of head of the Jiuxing Group, causing considerable internal strife. To prevent fraternal conflict, Lin Xingrong assigned 4 business sectors to them, intending to select the most suitable successor based on their performance. Among them, Lin Shishu oversees the mobile phone division. It must be said that this young lady from the Lin family is exceptionally talented. In just 5 years, she transformed Jiuxing Mobile into the world's best smartphone brand, second only to Orange Mobile, yet with far superior sales due to its more affordable pricing. Zhou Yuqin did not anticipate that Lin Shishu, the globally renowned beauty, would visit his Kunpeng mobile manufacturing factory for batteries, which took him by surprise. General Manager Zhou, Lin Shishu just attended the Jiuxing Mobile factory in Huiqing yesterday. Upon hearing about the performance of our Kunpeng batteries, she decided on a whim to inspect our factory. "This is an excellent opportunity for us. If Jiuxing Mobile agrees to use our Kunpeng batteries, we can seamlessly penetrate the international market. Europe and the Lighthouse Nation are currently embroiled in a fierce competition for dominance, with Jiuxing Mobile, Haiyan Mobile, and Zhuiyue Mobile all having launched their first models. It is evident that the battle for smartphone sales in the Western market is far more intense than in previous years, characterized by price wars and performance battles." Zhou Yuqin was acutely aware of the significance of the Jiuxing Group and inquired, "When will they arrive tomorrow?" "At 10 o'clock in the morning. Accompanying Miss Lin will be Wu Qingyuan, the newly appointed mayor of Yunhai City. It seems that Miss Lin's influence is quite substantial, as various local governments are actively seeking investments. Super-large multinational groups like Jiuxing Group are the focal point of everyone's attention. Old Wang, prepare for their reception in the morning. I will arrive before 9. "Understood." Upon returning to Lijiang Garden, it was already 6:30. Since he was to have dinner at his parents' home that evening, Zhou Yuqin parked the car, retrieved 2 boxes of Wulianya liquor from the storage room, and rode his electric bike over. Previously, he had spent 150,000 on 50 boxes of Wulianya, which had now appreciated to over 300,000. Arriving at the door with the 2 boxes of liquor, Zhou Yuqin kicked the door with his foot. Soon, the door swung open. "Brother, you finally returned. Little Yaya is starving." It was Zhou Qing who opened the door. "I have come as swiftly as possible, all right?" Zhou Yuqin slipped off his slippers and walked into the living room, where he found Zhou Qingjian sitting on the sofa with little Yaya, engrossed in an animated show. The little one held a half-eaten chicken leg in her hand, munching away while her eyes remained glued to the television, barely acknowledging Zhou Yuqin's presence. Su Xiaowan emerged from the kitchen, carrying a platter of dishes, and glanced at the Wulianya liquor on the floor. "Why did you bring alcohol?" she inquired. Zhou Yuqin replied, "My uncle and second uncle are masters of wine. This is for them." Su Xiaowan nodded. "You are always so considerate. Old Zhou, take little Yaya to wash her hands." "All right," Zhou Qingjian responded, taking the chicken leg from Yaya's hand and leading her to the restroom. Zhou Yuqin entered the kitchen and saw Shun Jingyun dishing out Crucian carp soup. He immediately stepped forward, saying, "Let me handle that." Shen Jingyun smiled, "Then take it out. But be careful, it's hot." With the soup served and 6 dishes prepared, everyone gathered at the table to dine. "Jingyun, I might not find the time to visit the hospital tomorrow. Could you please speak to Director Guo Xingping on my behalf?" Shen Jingyun blinked in surprise, asking, "Do you have something on tomorrow?" Zhou Qingjian, Su Xiuwan, and Zhou Qing all turned their eyes toward him. Sighing, Zhou Yuchen explained, "Miss Lin Shishu, the heiress of the Hongwu Jiuxing Group, is visiting my Kunping mobile battery manufacturing factory for an inspection. Mayor Wu of Yunhai City and several leaders from the government will be accompanying her. It wouldn't be appropriate for me not to receive her." "Lin Shishu? She is my idol," Zhou Qing exclaimed, unable to contain her excitement. "Brother, why is the young lady visiting your factory?" Zhou Yuchen replied, "It seems she is here to discuss collaboration." Zhou Qing, somewhat incredulous, exclaimed, "Oh my, you're collaborating with the Jiuxing Group?" Su Xiuwan asked, "Is Lin Shishu really that impressive?" Zhou Qing responded, "Absolutely. The Jiuxing Group ranks first globally with a market value exceeding $800 billion. Lin Shishu is the only daughter of the group's president, Lin Xingro. At just 23, she took charge of the Jiuxing Group's mobile division and, in less than 6 years, transformed the declining Jiuxing phone brand into the world's most renowned one, achieving the highest sales figures. At that moment, Lin Shishu was competing with her 3 brothers for the position of president of the Jiuxing Group. Should she succeed, she would become the most formidable businesswoman in history. I can't believe my brother is negotiating with Lin Shishu. That is simply astounding." Shen Jingyan remarked, "Dear, you should focus on your work. I've known Director Guo for quite some time. Handling matters regarding your grandfather will be no problem for me." Su Xiuwan expressed her gratitude. "Jingyun, I truly appreciate you and your father's help. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what to do." Shen Jingyun smiled. "Auntie, please don't be so formal." Zhou Qing chimed in, "Exactly. Mom, my sister-in-law will eventually be part of our Zhou family. You needn't be so polite." Su Xiuwan shot her a glance. "You're certainly not shy. You have your sister-in-law driving a car worth $1 million, while you drive a $30 million sports car." Zhou Qing quickly retorted, "I was supposed to switch with her, but she said the sports car's trunk is too small to carry anything, and it's also unsafe with little Yaya. I had no choice but to reluctantly drive it." Haha. Su Xiuwan was both amused and exasperated by her words. The phrase reluctantly is quite aptly used. Shen Jingyan added, "Auntie, how you bought this sports car to assist my brother?" Su Xiuwan, surprised, asked, "What happened to your brother?" Shen Jingyun briefly recounted the incident of Shun Shiyan being scolded for buying a car, prompting Zhou Qing to giggle. "Sister-in-law, should I be thanking him for that?" Zhou Yuchen interjected, "No need for thanks. Just remember to drive safely and don't speed." Zhou Qing nodded, "I understand." Chapter 267. Daiwan's anxiety in the government compound of Yunhai City. Shun Qinggang emerged from his study, his eyes revealing a peculiar expression. "What is wrong with you?" Daiwan asked. "Tomorrow, I will accompany Mayor Wu to inspect a factory." "Oh, what factory could warrant such attention?" Shen Qinggang looked at Daiwan and said, "The Kunpeng mobile battery manufacturing factory." Daiwan felt a sense of familiarity and, after a moment, realized it was Zhou Yuchen's factory, her face filled with astonishment. Has Xiao Zhou's enterprise reached such influence? Not just that. Tomorrow, Miss Lin Shishu of the Hongwu Jiuxing Group will visit Xiao Zhou's factory, likely to discuss collaboration. I just learned that Xiao Zhou has developed the world's largest capacity battery and the fastest charging technology. To date, nearly all mobile manufacturers in Xia country have signed agreements with Kunpeng Group. If Kunpeng Group collaborates with Jiuxing Group, it will undoubtedly attract the attention of global mobile brands, potentially allowing Kunpeng's batteries and chargers to monopolize the global market. Upon hearing Shen Qinggang's words, Daiwan was left speechless in astonishment. How much profit does his Kunpeng Group make in a year? Shen Qinggang replied solemnly, 10 billion xia yuan. Even without international business, relying solely on domestic mobile clients, he can achieve annual revenues of 50 to 60 billion xia yuan. That is the most conservative estimate provided by the Ministry of Commerce. Daiwan adjusted her glasses. Uttering 2 words, monopoly. Shen Qinggang affirmed, "Yes. This is the extraordinary profit brought by monopoly. Unless other battery manufacturers develop batteries and chargers with similar performance, Kunpeng batteries are likely to dominate the global mobile battery industry." Initially, I wasn't required to accompany them, but after Mayor Wu learned of my relationship with Xiao Zhou, he insisted I join. Daiwan took a deep breath, suppressing her shock, and said, "Old Shun, while Xiao Zhou's entrepreneurial success should be celebrated, I can't shake off this sudden feeling of anxiety." Shen Qinggang chuckled bitterly. "Who isn't? This child is rising at an astonishing speed, almost too fast to accept. Your anxiety stems from a fear that Xiao Zhou, having achieved success at such a young age, might change his mindset, succumb to external temptations, and potentially harm Jingyun and little Yaya." Daiwan agreed, exactly. At 25, starting from scratch, he has built a fortune of billions in less than 6 months. Not even someone seasoned in life's trials, aged 50 or 60, could maintain their composure under such circumstances. After a moment of contemplation, Shun Qinggang suggested, once Xiao Zhou's grandfather has completed his surgery, we should visit the hospital to pay our respects and also meet his parents. Daiwan nodded. It's indeed time to meet. Ordinarily, it is the male's family that initiates such meetings. However, due to the special circumstances, as Zhou Yuqin requested Shun Qinggang's assistance in finding a hospital, it is only proper for both Shun Qinggang and Daiwan to visit the elderly gentleman. It also provides an opportunity to subtly gauge Zhou Yuqin's parents' attitudes towards their daughter. At 9 o'clock the next morning, Zhou Yuqin arrived at the Kunpeng mobile battery manufacturing factory. Wang Guangzhong had thoroughly cleaned the factory inside and out, and a 30-meter-long red carpet was laid out in front of the office building. Mr. Zhou, do you find anything unsuitable? It looks great. Old Wang. There's no need to be overly anxious. Today, it was the Jiuxing group that took the initiative to seek collaboration with us, rather than us desperately pursuing them, thus placing the reins of control firmly in our hands. While this is the case, we must not forget that the Jiuxing group holds the esteemed position of being the #1 in global asset rankings. It would be disingenuous to claim I am not at all anxious. Zhou Yuqin patted Wang Guangzhong on the shoulder, chuckling. Keep a close eye. One day, our Kunpeng group will undoubtedly surpass the Jiuxing group, becoming an even more formidable entity. Witnessing Zhou Yuqin's resolute gaze and confident demeanor, Wang Guangzhong felt a surge of fervor, exclaiming, President Zhou, I believe you can achieve this. Zhou Yuqin raised an eyebrow and replied, it is imperative. In a black domestic Changjiang sedan, Wu Qingyuan sat in the rear seat, intently reviewing documents. This was a compilation prepared by the Yunhai Business Department regarding Zhou Yuqin and the Kunpeng Group. The material detailed not only the developmental trajectory of the Kunpeng battery manufacturing plant, but also an introduction to Zhou Yuqin's life. At 52, Wu Qingyuan was in the prime of his life, with thinning hair and long, bushy eyebrows, his gaze warm and kind, exuding an air of erudition. Everyone understood that at Wu Qingyuan's age, barring any significant missteps, a promotion was almost guaranteed. Thus, all were exceedingly cooperative with his work. Old Shun, you must be quite familiar with this young man, Zhou Yuqin? Wu Qingyuan inquired, setting down the materials and turning to the upright Shun Qinggang with a smile. Shun Qinggang nodded, responding, he is dating my daughter. Wu Qingyuan asked, when do they plan to marry? Shun Qinggang replied helplessly, that is for them to decide. I cannot dictate their choices. Wu Qingyuan laughed. A promising young man like Xiao Zhou is rare to find, even with a lantern. You might consider nudging them a bit. Shun Qinggang countered. Mayor, why the sudden interest in the affairs of these young people? Wu Qingyuan waved his hand, saying, just a jest. Zhou Yuqin is a student of my father, and there lies a connection. My old man devoted his life to teaching, cultivating talents far and wide. Not to mention, he has never erred in his judgment of character. Last night, I informed him that Zhou Yuqin's Kunpeng Group has developed the world's most advanced mobile phone batteries and fast-charging technology. Upon hearing this, my father displayed no surprise, merely stating, Zhou Yuqin is the finest student I have taught in decades, bar none. The Kunpeng Group is merely the starting point for him. Within 5 years, he will soar to become one of the most outstanding entrepreneurs in the country and the world. Shun Qinggang remarked solemnly, such a high appraisal may be too much. Young Zhou might struggle to bear it. Wu Qingyuan smiled. Oh, have you begun to defend him already? Shun Qinggang replied, objectively speaking, while young Zhou is indeed capable and talented, he may not reach such lofty heights. Wu Qingyuan took the materials and handed them to Shun Qinggang, stating, I believe my father's assessment is not excessive. Look, your future son-in-law established a world-renowned gaming company and a cutting-edge mobile battery company in less than half a year, achieving what others cannot accomplish in a lifetime. Given him 5 more years, who can fathom what he will become? To be honest, my own son is also a promising youth, yet he pales in comparison to Zhou Yuqin. Soon, the Yunhai municipal government's convoy arrived at the Kunpeng mobile battery manufacturing plant. Zhou Yuqin promptly approached and opened the door of the vehicle bearing the license plate number 2. Wu Qingyuan stepped out. Mayor Wu, greetings. I am Zhou Yuqin of the Kunpeng Group, and I welcome you and all esteemed leaders to our battery manufacturing plant, he said with a smile, extending his hand. Wu Qingyuan shook his hand, chuckling. Xiao Zhou, you are even younger and more spirited than I imagined. Last night, when your teacher heard of your achievements, he was greatly comforted. By the way, you are aware of my relationship with your teacher, right? Zhou Yuqin nodded. I am aware. Mayor Wu, how is the teacher's health? Wu Qingyuan replied, quite well. Zhou Yuqin stated, I will visit him in a couple of days. After exchanging pleasantries, Zhou Yuqin was taken aback when he saw Shun Qinggang emerge from the other side of the vehicle. Wu Qingyuan smiled. What's wrong? Don't you recognize him? Zhou Yuqin shrugged. Mainly because I wasn't informed in advance. Shun Qinggang remarked. Just report to the mayor. You needn't worry about me. Wu Qingyuan waved his hand. I am not here to hear reports today. Xiao Zhou, Miss Lin from the Jiuxing Group has made it clear. If an agreement is reached today with your Kunping Group, she will invest over 100 billion to establish the largest mobile phone and computer display manufacturing plant in Asia right here in Yunhai. Upon hearing this, Zhou Yuqin finally understood why Wu Qingyuan had personally come to Kunping Group. The figure of 100 billion would garner immense attention from any government. Wu Qingyuan's intention was straightforward, to encourage Zhou Yuqin to reach an agreement with Lin Shishu. The crux of the matter lay in why Lin Shishu would link her investment in Yunhai with a partnership with Kunping. If her only desire was for Kunping Group to supply her with mobile batteries and chargers, there would be no need for such a connection, unless she sought something more. At that moment, another convoy entered the factory premises. Compared to the Yunhai municipal government, this convoy was significantly more extravagant, boasting over 20 luxury sedans. Once the convoy halted, a group of sharply dressed men with piercing gazes emerged, surrounding a central Rolls-Royce. After confirming safety, a bodyguard opened the door. From within stepped a woman in her 20s, exuding an aura of nobility. She possessed a mane of thick, naturally curly black hair. Her bright and profound eyes seemingly containing boundless wisdom, a prominent nose, and full lips, radiating stunning beauty. Clad in a black OL outfit that accentuated her curvaceous figure while exuding decisiveness, it was evident that this was none other than the renowned Miss Lin Shishu of the Jiuxing Group. Ms. Lin, I am Wu Qingyuan, the mayor of Yunhai. Welcome to our city. Wu Qingyuan greeted Lin Shishu with a smile. Lin Shishu reciprocated the smile, responding in flawless Mandarin. Mayor Wu, it is a pleasure to meet you. Wu Qingyuan introduced several key government officials and then pointed to Zhou Yuqin, saying with a smile, this is the person you wish to meet, Mr. Zhou Yuqin, president of the Kunping Group. Lin Shishu appraised Zhou Yuqin, commenting, President Zhou, so young yet able to rise from nothing to establish both the Yueqin Gaming Company and the Kunping Group. You are indeed an impressive young talent. Zhou Yuqin smiled modestly. Ms. Lin, you flatter me. Compared to the Jiuxing Group, my two companies hardly amount to anything. Lin Shishu was a woman who valued efficiency and acted decisively. After exchanging pleasantries with Wu Qingyuan and Zhou Yuqin, she expressed her desire to inspect the production lines for mobile batteries and chargers. Zhou Yuqin, of course, could not refuse, and thus instructed Wang Guangzhong to lead the group into the workshop. After a thorough inspection, Lin Shishu remarked, Mr. Zhou, your workshop is semi-automated and has not yet reached the internationally leading standard of full automation. The production efficiency appears lacking and insufficient to meet market demands. This was clearly a provocation. Everyone's heart skipped a beat as they turned to Zhou Yuqin. Zhou Yuqin replied with a smile. Our workshop currently produces 200,000 mobile phone batteries and 200,000 chargers daily, which indeed does not meet market needs. Consequently, we have acquired 2 factories and entered collaborations with Xinxian Group and Nanming Group, raising our daily output to over 120,000 units. When fully operational, we can achieve 150,000. As for the semi-automation issue, it is unavoidable. While transforming to a fully automated production line is not technically challenging and financially feasible for Kunping Group, the greatest obstacle lies with our workforce. Intrigued, Lin Shishu responded. I do not quite grasp your point. Zhou Yuqin explained. We presently employ over 1,100 individuals, and transitioning to a fully automated line would result in over 900 employees losing their jobs, affecting 900 families. Therefore, unless I can find a way to accommodate them, this workshop will remain semi-automated. He paused, then added, I understand that what I say may seem absurd to Ms. Li, but regardless, we must bear our social responsibilities, even at a cost. His words not only alleviated the awkwardness surrounding Kunping Group's technological capabilities, but also transformed it into a socially responsible enterprise, garnering praise from Wu Qingyuan and others. Shin Qinggang let out a slight sigh, his furrowed brow easing. Lin Shishu regarded Zhou Yuqin closely, sensing that, despite his youth, he was not someone to be easily trifled with. I have heard that most mobile enterprises in Xia country have already reached cooperation agreements with your company. It seems Kunping's mobile batteries and chargers are poised to monopolize the entire Xia country market. Zhou Yuqin chuckled, Ms. Lin, you jest. With 14 billion people in Xia country, fewer than 400 million use smartphones, how could we possibly monopolize the market? It is your Jiuxing Mobile that truly excels, having monopolized the entire Han country market, preventing even Chengxi Mobile from entering. That is indeed impressive. Chapter 269. A hidden thorn. While it is permissible to discuss monopoly in private, it is absolutely inadvisable to utter it openly. Almost every nation worldwide has its own anti-monopoly laws, and Zhou Yuqing had no desire to associate Kunpeng Group with such a notorious term. His subsequent remarks were a counter to Lin Shishu's casual comments, labeling Jiuxing Group as the monopolistic entity in Han Country. Lin Shishu retorted, "Our Jiuxing Group welcomes any mobile brand to compete with us in Han Country. However, our citizens possess a strong sense of national pride and prefer to purchase domestic brands, which has led to the current situation." Zhou Yuqing nodded. "Ms. Lin, no explanation is necessary. Everyone understands." Lin Shishu faltered, a flicker of anger crossing her gaze. Zhou Yuqing's tone had left her feeling offended, yet she found herself unable to retaliate. Wu Qingyuan and Shun Chenggang exchanged glances, a fleeting smile appearing at the corners of their mouths. Lin Shishu inquired, "Mr. Zhou, are your batteries and chargers compatible with our Jiuxing Mobile?" Zhou Yuqing responded without hesitation, "Absolutely. In developing our batteries and chargers, our aim was to serve global mobile manufacturers. With the exception of Qingzi Mobile, all other models can utilize Kunpeng's batteries and chargers." Lin Shishu stated, "I have brought along technical personnel. May we conduct a test?" Zhou Yuqing smiled, "Of course." Lin Shishu casually selected a few phones and chargers from the production line, guided by staff to the research laboratory. Although Kunpeng Group's lab was modest in size, it was equipped with state-of-the-art instruments and devices. Lin Shishu silently praised the investment, remarking, "Mr. Zhou must have spent a considerable sum constructing this laboratory." Zhou Yuqing replied, "Just 100 million. Lin Shishu's eyes sparkled. "It seems Mr. Zhou harbors grand ambitions." Zhou Yuqing chuckled. "We typically reserve the term ambition for our adversaries and refer to ourselves as possessing lofty aspirations. As an entrepreneur, without such aspirations, one might as well lie flat and forego the daily grind. Just as you, Ms. Lin, as the heiress of Jiuxing Group, have funds to last a lifetime. You still strive to realize your ideals. Otherwise, we would not be meeting here." Lin Shishu remarked coolly, "Mr. Zhou possesses excellent rhetoric." Zhou Yuqing replied, "I apologize. My emotional intelligence is not particularly high. If I have misspoken, I ask for your forgiveness." A hidden thorn, soft yet firm. Zhou Yuqing's every response contained a sharp retort, leaving Lin Shishu feeling quite uncomfortable, prompting her to cease further dialogue. Soon, Jiuxing Group's technicians completed their experiments, yielding no issues. Lin Shishu stated, "Mr. Zhou, I am highly interested in your Kunpeng batteries and fast-charging technology. I believe it is necessary for us to discuss further." Zhou Yuqing responded, "Let us proceed to the conference room." Lin Shishu nodded, "Very well." Wu Qingyuan smiled, saying, "Ms. Lin, Mr. Zhou, we shall refrain from participating in your negotiations." Lin Shishu replied, "Mayor Wu, my negotiations with Mr. Zhou will involve an investment of over 100 billion xia yuan in Yunhai. If there are no other matters, it would be best for you to attend." Wu Qingyuan, uncertain of Lin Shishu's intentions, felt he had no choice but to comply given the stakes involved. 10 minutes later, Lin Shishu, Zhou Yuqing, and Wu Qingyuan each selected 3 individuals to enter the conference room, among whom was Shun Qinggang. As everyone took their seats, Lin Shishu cut straight to the chase, laying her objectives and bargaining chips on the table. "Mr. Zhou, I am willing to purchase your mobile battery patents and super-fast charging technology patents for 100 billion xia yuan. Mayor Wu, as soon as Mr. Zhou agrees, I will immediately dispatch a team to negotiate investment with your government, with a minimum amount of 100 billion xia yuan. What do you both think?" The atmosphere in the conference room became charged with astonishment. Wu Qingyuan's brow furrowed, deeply dissatisfied with Lin Shishu's approach. Clearly, her mention of a 100 billion xia yuan investment was an attempt to leverage the Yunhai government's influence to compel Zhou Yuqing into acquiescing to her demands. Securing the Kunpeng Group's battery and super-fast charging technology patents would enable Jiuxing Group, with its formidable strength, to easily capture the global market and marginalize Zhou Yuqing. The calculation was astutely sound. Just as Wu Qingyuan was about to speak, Shun Qinggang discreetly nudged him, whispering, "It seems Xiao Zhou has already anticipated this." Wu Qingyuan looked up at Zhou Yuqing, whose smile remained unchanged, as if everything was within his foresight. Meanwhile, those beside Zhou Yuqing, including Wang Guangzhong, displayed visible anger. Zhou Yuqing smiled and said, "Ms. Lin, is this the reason you invited the leaders of Yunhai city government here?" Lin Shishu replied, "Mutual benefit. Mr. Zhou, 100 billion is not a trifling sum. If you sell me the patents, I can guarantee that we will not sell the batteries and chargers we produce to any mobile company in Xia country. In other words, the Jiuxing Group dominates the international market while the Kunpeng Group controls the domestic one, with both parties maintaining a respectful distance from each other." It must be said that the conditions proposed by Lin Shishu are rather appealing. If it were someone else, they might indeed acquiesce. However, Zhou Yuqing is different. He is acutely aware that should he sell the patent to Jiuxing Group, Their research capabilities would enable them to develop superior mobile batteries and chargers within 2 years, a prospect he absolutely cannot endorse. The meeting room fell into a profound silence. With all eyes fixed upon Zhou Yuchen, taking a sip of tea, he spoke leisurely. Ms. Lin, it appears you may have misunderstood a key matter. What matter? Lin Shishu inquired. Pointing to himself, Zhou Yuchen confidently asserted, based on the current market dynamics, it is I who holds the initiative, not you. Lin Shishu scoffed. You seem to underestimate the strength of Jiuxing Group. Zhou Yuchen shook his head, replying, on the contrary, I am fully aware of Jiuxing Group's might. However, that pertains to your overall capabilities, not specifically your mobile division. When I learned that you had invited Mayor Wu and various leaders to our factory at the cost of 100 billion investment, I surmised that you intended to leverage the city government's influence to pressure me into acquiescing to your stringent demands. I had anticipated that your sights were set on the entirety of the Kunpeng Group, but it seems you are merely fixated on our technological patents. Yet, upon reflection, it makes sense. A few semi-automated factories would hardly catch your eye. Chapter 270. Tense negotiations. Lin Shishu furrowed her brow, sensing that the situation was spiraling beyond her control. Mr. Zhou, what exactly are you trying to convey? Zhou Yuchen replied, I wish to express 3 points. First, you have underestimated the Kunpeng Group. With access to advanced battery and fast-charging technologies, our annual profits could exceed 100 billion, with tax contributions of at least 20 billion. Your 100 billion investment will take 2 to 3 years to materialize. Even once established, the profits from your display screen factory will not surpass those of the Kunpeng Group, let alone the tax implications. Hence, compared to us, the allure of your substantial investment in the mobile display factory for the Yunhai city government is not as significant as you imagine. Secondly, you have sought to achieve your goals by leveraging governmental power. Similarly, I have sought to achieve my goals by leveraging yours. It seems we are on the same wavelength. What do you mean? Lin Shishu asked, her confusion mirrored by the others in the room. Zhou Yuchen elaborated. While Jiuxing phones are the world's best sellers, they are not without competition. In Europe and North America, both Noah and Haiyan phones boast sales figures that closely rival yours. Not to mention the high-end performance of the Orange phone. The commonality among these mobile manufacturing companies is their pursuit of technological breakthroughs, striving to outmatch competitors through superior performance and cost-effectiveness, with high-capacity batteries and faster charging speeds being excellent avenues for such breakthroughs. Ms. Lin, the moment you stepped into the Kunpeng mobile battery factory, relevant photos and videos were dispatched to the inboxes of the presidents of Noah Group, Haiyan Group, Excellence Group, and Orange Group in the Xia country region. My intent is straightforward, to instill a sense of urgency in them, prompting a swift collaboration with the Kunpeng Group. As Zhou Yuchen's words registered, realization dawned upon all present. Brilliant. Wu Qingyuan could not help but applaud, his gaze toward Zhou Yuchen brimming with admiration. The business realm is akin to a battlefield, and Zhou Yuchen's maneuver was executed with remarkable finesse, a quintessential strategic triumph. Shen Chenggang exhaled slowly, his prior concerns about Zhou Yuchen's potential disadvantage dissipating. It was evident that the young man was far more cunning than anticipated. Only Wang Guangzhong understood that they had no such email network with the presidents of those groups in Xia country. Zhou Yuchen's claims were merely a ploy to deceive Lin Shishu. However, judging by Lin Shishu's displeased expression, the ruse was remarkably effective. Zhou Yuchen continued, thirdly, I previously stated that the initiative does not lie in your hands. Otherwise, you would not be appearing at a factory that has only been established for 3 months. Ms. Lin, it is imperative for you to understand that the current situation is one where you are seeking cooperation with me, rather than the other way around. Should you lose me as a client, my maximum loss would amount to tens of billions in orders, whereas Jiuxing would forfeit its foothold in the entire Western market. Lin Shishu scoffed derisively. That sounds like mere alarmism. A glimmer of intelligence flashed in Zhou Yuchen's eyes as he responded, to my knowledge, the second-generation Noah smartphone, second-generation Haiyan smartphone, first-generation Excellence smartphone, and your second-generation Jiuxing smartphone are all nearing release. Should the other 3 brands utilize our Kunpeng high-capacity batteries and rapid charging technology, the outcome for the second-generation Jiuxing smartphone can only be described in 2 words, failure. We all understand that product competition is akin to rowing upstream. If one does not advance, one inevitably regresses. Losing the European and American markets will render Jiuxing's re-entry exceedingly difficult. One representative beside Lin Shishu interjected, Mr. Zhou, I believe you may be overestimating the significance of Kunpeng's mobile batteries. Given Jiuxing Group's research capabilities, developing high-capacity batteries is not beyond the realm of possibility. Zhou Yuchen replied, the issue lies in the time required for research and development. It is widely known that Ms. Lin is contending with 3 other gentlemen for control of Jiuxing Group. Even a temporary setback in the mobile division could spell disaster for you. Lin Shishu's expression darkened, her piercing gaze fixed on Zhou Yuchen. Yet Zhou Yuchen remained unflinching, meeting her stare with calm composure. The four government leaders, led by Wu Qingyuan, relaxed, sipping tea while awaiting the outcome. After a prolonged moment, Lin Shishu finally spoke. Mr. Zhou, I underestimated you. This negotiation has resulted in my defeat. Zhou Yuchen smiled. You have not lost anything. How can that be termed a defeat? Lin Shishu continued. The second-generation Jiuxing smartphone is on the verge of release, and I require 100 million Kunping mobile batteries, including chargers. Zhou Yuchen responded. Then let us discuss the terms. Lin Shishu paused. What do you mean? Zhou Yuchen clarified. If you wish for the Kunping Group to supply mobile batteries and chargers, the sole condition is that you must secure that 100 billion investment. Lin Shishu suddenly rose, infuriated. Zhou Yuchen, what qualifies you to negotiate terms with Jiuxing Group? Zhou Yuchen maintained his composure, stating, Ms. Lin, the leaders of the Yunhai city government have personally come here on your behalf. Do you not owe them an explanation? Moreover, if my refusal to sell you the patent results in a failure of that 100 billion investment to anchor in Yunhai, then would I not become the impediment to the economic development of Yunhai? How could I possibly continue to thrive here? Lin Shishu coldly retorted, Zhou Yuchen, you are provoking me. Zhou Yuchen responded, today is Saturday. I anticipate that on Monday or Tuesday, those mobile manufacturing giants will approach me for collaboration. Given the supply capacity of the Kunping Group, it will be challenging to meet the demands of all clients. Therefore, Ms. Lin, your time is running out. Lin Shishu, in a fit of rage, laughed mockingly. Do you think I am intimidated by your threats? Zhou Yuchen waved his hand. No, I am merely reminding you. Ms. Li, in business, it is a matter of cooperating amidst competition and competing amidst cooperation. The Nine-Star Group can almost be deemed the most formidable company globally, while I, in your eyes, am merely an insignificant individual, only capable of being threatened, without the capacity to pose any threat to you. Ms. Lin, in business, it is customary to maintain dignity even in failure. I propose we conclude our negotiations here. Wang Guangzhong interjected at an opportune moment, stating, Mayor Wu, Ms. Lin, we have reserved a banquet at a 5-star hotel, and we would be honored by your presence. Wu Qingyuan refrained from responding, instead directing his gaze towards Lin Shishu, who at that moment wore a grim expression, her chest heaving with agitation. She had initially perceived Zhou Yuchen as a newcomer in the business arena, young and inexperienced, an easy target to manipulate. Thus, she disregarded the Kunping battery manufacturing plant. To her astonishment, he was not only resilient, but also a formidable opponent, exhibiting swift reactions and logical reasoning, which placed her at a significant disadvantage throughout the negotiations. Chapter 271. Admiration from leaders. Zhou, I must say, your performance has truly impressed me. Since I took the helm of the mobile division at 9-Star Group, I have encountered nothing but smooth sailing, yet today, you have made me experience the taste of defeat for the first time. We shall forego dinner. Tomorrow morning, I will dispatch a negotiation team to engage with both the Yunhai city government and your company. Zhou, I look forward to our second encounter. Mayor Wu continued, Ms. Lin, I apologize for my rudeness today. Farewell. With that, Lin Shishu strode away in a huff, displaying her poise even in anger, making the most astute judgment and decision at the very last moment, showcasing the formidable nature of the young lady from 9-Star Group. Zhou Yuchen remarked, Old Wang, please see Ms. Lin off. Certainly, Wang Guangzhong replied, promptly pursuing her. Applause resonated as Wu Qingyuan smiled and said, Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Little Zhou, today's business negotiation has truly opened my eyes. Zhou Yuchen replied with a wry smile, there was no choice. Ms. Lin's dominance cornered me, forcing me to press on with determination. Wu Qingyuan inquired, did you truly anticipate her intentions? Zhou Yuchen confessed, to be frank, I merely feigned strategic prowess. In reality, I was merely bluffing. I do not know the regional presidents of those foreign mobile companies. How could I possibly send them any images or videos? Wu Qingyuan laughed heartily. You have indeed employed the wisdom of Sun Tzu. Zhou Yuchen mused, when falsehood appears as truth, truth becomes indistinguishable from falsehood. I must urgently orchestrate a sensational news story online, informing 9-Star's competitors that Ms. Lin is preparing to collaborate with our Kunping Group. If they delay any longer, they might find themselves with nothing. Zhang Li, head of the marketing department, chimed in, President Zhou, I have already dispatched the news. Zhou Yuchen nodded in approval. Well done. Wu Qingyuan remarked, indeed, a strong general commands capable soldiers. It seems Ms. Lin's billion-dollar investment is assured. Little Zhou, I extend my gratitude on behalf of the Yunhai city government. Zhou Yuchen quickly responded, Mayor Wu, please do not mention it. I cannot bear such praise. Zhang Li interjected, President Zhou, it is already noon. What do you suggest? Wu Qingyuan waved his hand dismissively. As government officials, it would be inappropriate to dine at a grand hotel. Little Zhou, I have heard your cafeteria is commendable. Might we have the honor of sampling your offerings? Zhou Yuqin displayed a look of concern. Mayor Wu, it would hardly be proper to treat esteemed leaders to cafeteria fare. Wu Qingyuan reassured him, there is nothing improper about it. I enjoy cafeteria food. Old Shen, what do you think? Shen Qinggang replied, I have no objections. To be honest, I rather miss the days of dining in the military cafeteria. Wu Qingyuan chuckled. Then let us proceed and see what little Zhou's cafeteria has to offer. Reluctantly, Zhou Yuqin led them to the cafeteria. Upon witnessing the sumptuous lunch spread, Wu Qingyuan squinted slightly and asked, is this your standard fare? Zhou Yuqin candidly responded, usually, we serve 4 meat and 4 vegetable dishes. Today, we added an extra meat and vegetable dish. Wu Qingyuan remarked, even so, this fare seems rather lavish and must cost a considerable sum. Zhou Yuqin replied, according to the financial reports I have reviewed, it amounts to around 2 million monthly. Wu Qingyuan laughed, you do not feel a pinch? Zhou Yuqin replied, 2 million is but a trifling sum compared to the value we create together. There is nothing to lament. Wu Qingyuan praised, you are indeed a person of great ambition. After their meal, the government officials departed by car. Just before entering the vehicle, Shen Qinggang patted Zhou Yuqin's shoulder, expressing great satisfaction with his performance. While Zhou Yuqin was hosting the leaders from 9-Star Group and the government, Zhou Qingjian and Shen Jingyun had each driven to Yuhai Airport. Originally, Zhou Yuqin intended to send a company driver to pick them up, but Shen Jingyun found it too cumbersome and opted to drive herself. After a 20-minute wait, Mr. Su, Mrs. Su, and Zhou Yuqin's 2 uncles emerged from the airport. Dad, Mom, eldest brother, second brother, over here. Su Xiuwan waved eagerly. Xiuwan, we truly appreciate your help along with Qing Jian, the elderly lady said, pulling her daughter's hand and tossing out a hearty northeastern dialect. Su Xiuwan, somewhat discontent, replied, Mom, I am your daughter. What are you talking about? Dad, are you tired? I'm fine, Mr. Su responded. Despite suffering from stomach cancer, he exhibited no signs of decline, instead appearing robust and vibrant. Zhou Qing cleared his throat and said, Grandfather, grandmother, uncle, second uncle, I would like to formally introduce you. This enchanting beauty is my future sister-in-law, Shen Jingyun, and this adorable little one is the daughter of my brother and sister-in-law, Xiao Yeye. Upon hearing this, everyone turned their attention to Shen Jingyun and her daughter. Shen Jingyun was polite, greeting the 4 elders without reservation. Xiao Yeye, with her bright, dark eyes, exclaimed, great-grandfather, great-grandmother. Uncle, second uncle, hello? Hello, Xiao Yeye, the elderly lady replied, waving at the little girl before turning her gaze toward Shen Jingyun. I heard from Xiuwan over the phone that Xiaoqing has found a heavenly girlfriend. Jingyun, seeing you today, I believe you are even more beautiful than a celestial being. Xiaoqing must have done many good deeds in his past life to deserve a girl like you. Shen Jingyun replied, Grandmother, please do not say such things. I feel quite embarrassed. Through their brief interaction, Shen Jingyun discerned that the matriarch of the Su family was the elderly lady. Mr. Su, along with the uncles, Su Hongliang and Su Hongguang, were the type of stocky, serious northeastern men. As they conversed, they made their way to the parking lot. The ladies boarded Shen Jingyun's vehicle, while the men climbed into Zhou Qingjian's car. On the way, Zhou Qingjian said, Dad, eldest brother, second brother, Xiaoqing asked me to extend his apologies. Initially, it was supposed to be the 2 of us coming to pick you up, but an extremely important client has arrived at his factory, and he simply cannot be absent. Mr. Su raised an eyebrow and asked, what is Xiaoqing currently engaged in? Both Su Hongliang and Su Hongguang leaned in, keen to hear more. Su Xiuwan had only mentioned that Zhou Yuqin had started a business and earned a considerable amount of money, even purchasing a spacious apartment for them. But she had not detailed further. Zhou Qingjian replied, Xiaoqing has established 2 companies, one named Yuechen Gaming Company and the other called Kunping Group. Chapter 272. The billionaire, the usually silent Su Hongliang inquired with astonishment. Is it the game company that developed Fruit Hero? Zhou Qingjian chuckled, Elder brother, do you also play games? Su Hongliang shook his head and replied, I do not play, but many young people in our unit do. The Su family has a long lineage of military service. The elder Su Binglin retired from his position as a regiment commander in the Northeast Military District, and each year, the district sends representatives to visit him at home. Both Su Hongliang and Su Hongguang also served in the military before retiring together. The former was assigned to a power supply company in Jilin province, while the latter joined a railway group. Due to their upright characters and lack of social savvy, both remained mere clerks even after 2 decades of service. Su Binglin joyfully remarked, Indeed, after great hardship comes great fortune. Su Hongguang added, Father, this is the result of Xiao Chen's hard work. Most people would have succumbed to despair after such a setback. Su Binglin nodded in agreement and said, precisely. Qingjian, I heard from Xiuwan that your hospitalization was arranged through your future in-laws. What do they do? Although Su Binglin had only exchanged glances with Shen Jingyun and said nothing, her polite demeanor and graceful presence were clearly not attributes fostered by an ordinary family. Zhou Qingjian replied, Jingyun's father is Shen Chenggang, who was once the director of public security in Yunhai and is now a direct leader in the public security ministry, ranking 6th in the city government. Su Binglin was taken aback. That must be a deputy ministerial level officer, correct? Zhou Qingjian nodded, indeed. Su Binglin anxiously asked, Xiaochen hasn't he become a son-in-law to the Shen family, has he? Zhou Qingjian laughed, Father, you are overthinking it. Subsequently, Zhou Qingjian briefly recounted the relationship between Zhou Yuqin and Shen Jingyun. After listening, Su Binglin remarked, I feel their love story could be made into a film. Qingjian, have you met Jingyun's parents? Zhou Qingjian replied, not yet. Su Binglin said, the child is already 4 years old. What is Xiaochen waiting for? Is he not afraid of losing his wife? Zhou Qingjian responded, Xiaoyu means to marry by the end of the year. Su Binglin said, that's good. The family did not head directly to the hotel, but returned home first to familiarize themselves with the surroundings. Grandma Su exclaimed, what a grand house. How much did this cost? Zhou Qing smiled, Grandma, this house is 256 square meters and worth 40 million. My brother and sister-in-law live not far ahead in an even larger place, over 300 square meters. The elderly lady joyfully exclaimed, Xiao Chun is truly successful. Su Xiuwan added, Mom, once Dad finishes his surgery, you should stay here for a while. Xiao Chun wants you to have a full body checkup and consult a reliable traditional Chinese medicine practitioner to recuperate alongside Dad. The elderly lady replied, I am in good health. Su Binglin interjected sternly, stop pretending, don't speak nonsense. Xiuwan, your mother has high blood pressure and often feels dizzy. She also suffers from rheumatoid arthritis on rainy days. Her joints ache terribly. The elderly lady huffed, high blood pressure and rheumatoid arthritis are chronic ailments that cannot be cured. If doctors could treat them, I would have gone long ago. Shen Jingyun advised, Grandma, Yunhai has the best medical facilities in Xiagua. We can consult specialists, even if they can't cure it. They can alleviate the pain, which is still beneficial. The elderly lady shook her head, there is no need to waste money. Shen Jingyun smiled, Grandma, money is not important. Your and Grandpa's health is paramount. You may not know this, but Yuqin is now a billionaire, so several million, or even tens of millions are trivial for him. Let alone the cost of your treatment. A billionaire. Upon hearing Shen Jingyun's words, the elderly lady was left in shock. Su Binglin, Su Hongliang, and Su Hongguang also displayed expressions of disbelief. Not only them, even Zhou Qingjian and Su Xiuwan were aware that their son had made a fortune, but they were unaware of the specifics. Zhou Qingjian could not help but ask, Jingyun, is Xiaochun truly a billionaire? Shen Jingyun nodded. Yuqin's Kuanping Group has developed the world's most advanced high-capacity mobile phone battery and fast-charging technology, with nearly all mobile manufacturers in Xiagua placing orders amounting to over $1 billion. Additionally, the profits from the Yueqin Game Company exceed $3 billion annually. So Yuqin is indeed a bona fide billionaire. Su Binglin murmured, how many zeros are in a billion? Our family has struck gold. At noon, the family arrived at Longhu Hotel. While they were dining, Zhou Yuqin called Shen Jingyun. Is everything all right on your end? All is well. The leaders of the Yunhai city government just left. I am on my way to find you. Let us meet at the hospital instead. We should finish our meal shortly. And it shouldn't take us more than an hour to arrive. No, I will go to Longhu Hotel to pick up Grandpa and take him to the hospital. You and Xiao Yeye should finish your meal and head home. The hospital is quite dirty, and there are too many viruses. It's better for the little girl not to go to avoid getting sick. The current mobile phones have poor privacy, and their conversation was overheard by everyone. Su Binglin said, Jingyun, Xiao Chun is right. You and Xiao Yeye should not go. Zhou Yuqin asked, Dear, was that Grandpa speaking just now? Yes, you can talk to Grandpa. Shen Jingyun handed the phone to Su Binglin. Grandpa, it has been 5 years since I last visited you and Grandma in the Northeast. I truly regret it. Let us not dwell on the past. We all understand. Are you driving? Yes, I will reach Longhu Hotel in about 20 minutes. Then let us talk when you arrive at the hotel. Drive slowly and be safe. Okay. 20 minutes later, Zhou Yuqin arrived at the hotel. By then, everyone had finished their meal. Zhou Yuqin felt immense gratitude towards his grandparents. 5 years ago, during the most challenging time when he was wrongfully accused, they had rushed from the Northeast to support him, staying for 2 months. To secure a good lawyer, his uncles each contributed 100,000 to Zhou Qingjian, which at that time was a life-saving sum. Otherwise, Zhou Yuqin's sentence might have been far longer than just a year. Grandpa, Grandma, Uncle, Second Uncle, I've missed you all terribly. As he entered the private room, Zhou Yuqin opened his arms, embracing each of them. Seeing him become a billionaire, yet still treating them with such warmth brought immense joy to Su Binglin and the others. Grandpa, early-stage cancer often goes unnoticed. It is truly a blessing that you are getting checked at this time, Zhou Yuqin remarked, looking at Su Binglin, whose hair had turned mostly gray. Su Binglin laughed heartily. What checkup? I ate too much seafood and had diarrhea for 2 days. Nothing worked, so I finally went to the hospital for a checkup, only to find out I have cancer. Zhou Yuqin smiled. That's what they call good fortune for good deeds. Chapter 273. Hospitalization after chatting for a while. Zhou Yuqin glanced at the time. It was already 2 o'clock. He asked Shin Jingyun to take Xiao Yeye home while the others proceeded to the hospital. Upon arriving at Yunhai First People's Hospital, Zhou Yuqin called Guo Xingping. Guo Xingping instructed him to bring his family directly to room 6 on the 16th floor of the inpatient department, promising to join them shortly. Zhou Yuqin thanked him and took the elevator straight to the 16th floor. Nurse, hello, I am Zhou Yuqin, here to complete the hospitalization procedures. Mr. Zhou, please wait a moment. A beautiful nurse glanced at the shift handover records and said, You are in Ward 6. I will take you there right away. No need. I can handle it myself. A middle-aged man in his 50s, wearing glasses and exuding an air of authority, approached. The nurse was startled and quickly replied, Of course, Director. It was clear that this man was Guo Xingping. Zhou Yuqing immediately extended his hand, saying, Director Guo, I am Zhou Yuqing. I sincerely appreciate your assistance. Guo Xingping shook his hand and smiled. Young Zhou, no need for formalities. You are old Shin's future son-in-law. Just call me Uncle Guo. Now, let us proceed. Thank you. Uncle Guo. The group followed Guo Xingping into Ward 6. The ward was approximately 20 square meters, featuring 2 beds and a private bathroom, with air conditioning, a color television, and a microwave, creating a very pleasant environment. Guo Xingping remarked, This is our hospital's finest single room. It may not compare to home, but it is certainly superior to an ordinary ward. Naturally, the cost will be higher. Zhou Yuqing nodded and replied, I understand. Uncle Guo, please do not consider any discounts out of respect for Uncle Shun. I am not short on funds. The hospital should charge the standard fees. Guo Xingping chuckled. Given your wealth, this expense is indeed negligible. Did you bring the CT images? Yes. Su Hongliang promptly retrieved the images from a case and handed them to Guo Xingping. Standing by the window, he examined them thoughtfully under the sunlight. The atmosphere grew tense. Although the doctors in Jixing had determined that the old gentleman's stomach cancer was entirely treatable, the nature of cancer itself was inherently worrisome. After a moment, Guo Xingping set down the CT images and smiled. Old sir, you are truly fortunate. While this is indeed stomach cancer, it is at a very early stage. To illustrate, it is like a small sprout just breaking through the soil that you have discovered. As long as we remove the sprout and its roots, and consult a skilled traditional Chinese medicine practitioner for 3 months of treatment, you should be fine. A collective sigh of relief escaped the group. Zhou Yuqing exclaimed joyfully. That's wonderful. Uncle Guo, please help me find a reliable traditional medicine doctor. Without hesitation, Guo Xingping replied, Our hospital has hired a renowned traditional medicine master named Kong Haiqian, who consults every Friday. Once the surgery is completed, the old gentleman will need to be monitored in the hospital for a few days. I will arrange for you to see Master Kong for some herbal prescriptions on Friday. Zhou Yuqing said, Uncle Guo, I truly do not know how to express my gratitude. Guo Xingping laughed. No need for thanks. That is for your future father-in-law to do. This fellow somehow managed to procure a special bottle of liquor that has me quite tempted. When I find the time, I will visit his home and indulge in that special liquor. Zhou Yuqing silently thought to himself, could that be the bottle I gifted him? After Guo Xingping left, the Su brothers, Su Hongliang and Su Hongguang, tidied up their belongings. Su Qingjian remarked, This is all thanks to Jingyun's father. Little Chun, should your mother and I express our gratitude? Zhou Yuqing pondered for a moment and replied, Let us wait until grandfather is discharged. Su Xiaowan furrowed her brows and said, Little Chun, what are your true feelings for Jingyun? You have been living together for several months. Why haven't you proposed yet? I warn you, if you entertain any unworthy thoughts or act inappropriately towards Jingyun, your father and I will not spare you. Su Qingjian nodded in agreement, stating, Indeed. Our daughter-in-law can only be Jingyun. The elderly lady concurred, Little Chun, although I have only just met Jingyun, it is evident she is a well-mannered, talented young woman, possessing beauty, grace, and character that are truly rare. In ancient times, she would befit a queen without question. Moreover, considering you already have a daughter, you must provide her with a proper commitment. Su Binglin, Su Hongliang, and Su Hongguang all nodded in silent agreement, their intentions unmistakable. As for Zhou Qing, it was needless to inquire. She had long been inseparable from Shin Jingyun. Zhou Yuqing smiled. It seems everyone is quite fond of Jingyun. Zhou Qing rolled her eyes and replied, Of course. Brother, don't blame me for being so frank. A woman of such good family background, appearance, and character draws the attention of many affluent suitors. Were it not for Xiao Yeye, you might not even have had the opportunity to be with her. Zhou Yuqing shot her a glare and addressed the group. I am planning to propose. Su Xiaowan asked when. Zhou Yuqing answered, after we return from the lighthouse country. Zhou Qing's eyes lit up. Brother, are you and sister-in-law traveling to the lighthouse country? Zhou Yuqing shook his head. Sister-in-law has written a fantasy novel and intends to publish it in the lighthouse country. Su Xiaowan exclaimed. Jingyun is an author? Zhou Yuqing chuckled. Her first fantasy work was released 3 months ago and has sold over 400,000 copies. This is her second book. Zhou Qing praised. Sister-in-law is truly talented. Meanwhile, Lin Shishu, the heiress of the Jiuxing group, stood before the enormous floor-to-ceiling window in her hotel room, holding a glass of red wine, her expression dark and turbulent. Since taking over the family business, she had never before experienced such humiliation from a rival. The mere thought of Zhou Yuqing's smirking face filled her with resentment. Yet she found herself helpless against this rascal, compelled to collaborate and finance him. The reason was simple. The Kunpeng Group's development of high-capacity batteries and rapid charging technology represented a revolution in mobile phone batteries. If other brands adopted this technology while Jiuxing phones did not, Jiuxing would lose its competitive edge in the market. Zhou Yuqing had spoken the truth. Once the smartphone market was lost, regaining it would be an arduous task. How careless of me. I underestimated my opponent. Lin Shishu took a deep breath, quietly reflecting on her misjudgment. A series of knocks interrupted her thoughts. Come in, she called. A striking woman with sharp eyes entered. She was Lin Shishu's bodyguard and assistant. Park Anren. President Lin, the car is ready. We can depart now. Let's go. Chapter 274. Saving the Young Lady Lin. It turned out that Lin Shishu had a habit. Whenever work did not go smoothly, she would visit the nearby shopping mall and indulge in a shopping spree to lift her spirits. Park Anren hesitated. President Lin, this is not Han country. Should we bring along a few security personnel? Lin Shishu waved her hand dismissively. No need. The safety in Xia country is among the best in the world. There will be no issues. What? Are you lacking confidence? Afraid you cannot protect me? Park Anren quickly responded. No, I have confidence. Then let us proceed. Shortly after being admitted to the ward, the hospital conducted blood tests and rescanned the CT images for Su Binglin. The results indicated no significant issues, confirming that surgery would take place the following afternoon, performed by the best internal medicine expert at Yunhai First People's Hospital, Luoyang. The group gathered to discuss dining arrangements. According to Su Binglin, they could simply eat in the hospital cafeteria. However, Su Xiaowan vehemently disagreed, believing that cafeteria food lacked nutrition and would hinder recovery. Ultimately, Zhou Yuqing made the decision to arrange for 2 drivers from Kunpeng Group to stay nearby and deliver meals to the old gentleman. If there is anything, feel free to call them. Soon, 2 drivers arrived. Zhou Yuqing led them to Li River Garden to familiarize themselves with the route. On the way back to the hospital, he found himself holding a lunchbox, a dinner specially prepared for the old gentleman by Shen Jingyun, while the others opted to dine out. After dinner, Shen Hongliang stayed by the bedside, and the rest returned to Li River Garden. Zhou Yuqing was tasked by Su Xiaowan to procure some vegetables, seafood, and daily necessities from the market. After completing his shopping, as he approached the underground parking lot to get into his car, he suddenly heard a woman's furious voice nearby. Who are you? Why are you trying to kill me? Zhou Yuqing recognized the voice and rushed towards its source. Ahead, a woman wielding a dagger was engaged in a fierce struggle with 2 masked men. Blood stained her clothes, and her steps were unsteady, indicating she had sustained serious injuries. The 2 masked men were silently pursuing Lin Shishu. At that moment, Lin Shishu, once the imposing heiress of the 9-star group, appeared disheveled. Her beautiful face marred by panic, having discarded her high heels and now barefoot as she evaded the 2 assassins. Fortunately, her years of running and taekwondo training had equipped her with the agility to escape, or she would have perished at the hands of her pursuers. Zhou Yuqing, save me. Spotting Zhou Yuqing rushing towards her, Lin Shishu's face lit up with hope, and she quickly called for his help. Damn. It's Lin Shishu. No wonder her voice sounded so familiar. Despite their less-than-ideal relationship, she was still a significant client, and he felt compelled to assist her. Zhou Yuqing quickened his pace and, in less than 3 seconds, reached Lin Shishu, pulling her behind him to confront the assassins directly. Damn! The leading assassin swore as he lunged forward, his dagger flashing like lightning towards Zhou Yuqing's chest. His movements were swift, precise, and lethal, unmistakably marking him as a top assassin. You're courting death. Zhou Yuqing scoffed, accurately seizing the assassin's wrist and applying pressure. With a cry of anguish, the assassin's wrist snapped, and the dagger clattered to the ground. Zhou Yuqing followed up with a knife-hand strike to the assassin's neck, silencing his screams as he collapsed, unconscious. The second assassin, witnessing this, roared and charged at Zhou Yuqing. Zhou Yuqing responded with a kick to the chest, sending him flying 5 meters away, likely breaking 3 or 4 ribs. The assassin spat blood, struggled briefly, and then lay still. Lin Shishu stood in stunned silence, unable to comprehend that the young Zhou Yuqin was such a formidable martial artist, effortlessly dispatching 2 assassins. My assistant is in grave danger. Lin Shishu regained her senses and shouted urgently. Zhou Yuqin stomped his right foot, unleashing his strength as he propelled himself forward like a cannonball, a powerful gust of wind following him. As Lin Shishu dashed past, the 2 assassins met the same fate as their fallen comrade, collapsing to the ground. Park Anren lay drenched in blood, unconscious. Zhou Yuqin pulled out his phone and called the police. At that moment, several security personnel from the underground parking lot rushed over. These 4 assassins. Find them and keep watch. I've already called the police. They will arrive shortly, Zhou Yuqin instructed the lead security officer. Yes, sir. May I have your contact information? Zhou Yuqin provided his details and turned to Lin Shishu. Your assistant is losing too much blood. She needs immediate medical attention, or her life will be in jeopardy. Will you wait here for the police, or accompany me to the hospital? Without hesitation, Lin Shishu replied, to the hospital. I'll go get the car, Zhou Yuqin said. Shortly after, he drove his car over, lifted Park Anren into the vehicle, and asked the security personnel for some bandages, alcohol, and cotton swabs, handing them to Lin Shishu. Try to staunch her bleeding. Lin Shishu nodded, acknowledging his instructions. On the way to the hospital, Zhou Yuqin suddenly felt uneasy. A glance in the rearview mirror revealed an SUV speeding towards them, causing his expression to change drastically. Buckle up, Zhou Yuqin shouted, flooring the accelerator. The engine roared, and the car surged forward at a speed of 160 kilometers per hour. Lin Shishu, clutching Park Anren, glanced back at the pursuing SUV, her eyes flashing with determination. It was around 9 o'clock in the evening. While the roads were less congested than during peak hours, traffic was still considerable. Zhou Yuqin, with reflexes far superior to the average person, maneuvered through the traffic with ease. Within 3 minutes, he had shaken off the SUV. Zhou Yuqin called the police again, informing them that Lin Shishu, the heiress of the 9-star group, was en route to Yunhai First People's Hospital, being pursued by an unidentified vehicle, and requested immediate police protection at the hospital. The name of the 9-star group was well known, not only to the police, but also to ordinary citizens in Xia country. The police wasted no time, dispatching forces to the hospital. Upon Zhou Yuqin's arrival, 6 police cars were already stationed outside, ready for action. He parked the car, opened the door, and carried Park Anren towards the emergency room, shouting to the officers, I'm going to find a doctor to save her. The lady behind me is Lin Shishu from the 9-star group. Protect her well, and direct any inquiries to her. Chapter 275, How to Handle the Aftermath. The lead officer, Hu Xin, was the deputy captain of the Criminal Investigation Team 2. His response was swift as he dispatched 2 officers to follow Zhou Yuqin while the others surrounded Lin Shishu, who was covered in blood and barefoot, leaving a trail of crimson footprints after just a few steps. Hu Xin was taken aback and quickly ordered a stretcher to be brought forth. Ms. Lin, I am Hu Xin, deputy captain of the Criminal Investigation Team. Let's head to the emergency room to check your injuries. Lin Shishu regained her usual pride and composure, stating, I'm fine. I was attacked by 4 assassins in the underground parking lot at the mall, but Zhou Yuqin saved me. On the way to the hospital, we were pursued by an SUV with the license plate number 3941. I hope you can locate that vehicle quickly. Hu Xin assured her, rest assured, Ms. Lin. The SUV with the license plate 3941 is already under our surveillance, and my colleagues have apprehended the 4 assassins. They are en route to the hospital, and once they regain consciousness, we will rigorously interrogate them to uncover the mastermind behind this attack. Lin Shishu was surprised by the efficiency of the Yunhai police. Momentarily taken aback, my foot is injured. Please take me to the emergency room and find me a pair of size 38 women's sandals. Hu Xin nodded, of course. He directed 2 officers to carry Lin Shishu on the stretcher to the emergency room and reported to Police Chief Zhu Jiang. After hearing the details, Zhu Jiang broke into a cold sweat. He was acutely aware that if the young lady of the 9 Stars group were to be murdered in Yunhai City, it would instantly escalate into an international news sensation, and his newly appointed position as the chief of police would be irrevocably jeopardized. Zhu Jiang, not daring to delay, promptly reported the attempted assassination of Lin Shishu to Shun Chenggang. Without hesitation, Shun Chenggang rushed to the First People's Hospital of Yunhai City. By this time, his colleagues had already taken statements from Zhou Yuqin, and all details had been thoroughly investigated. After receiving the report from Zhu Jiang and perusing its contents, Shun Chenggang let out a sigh of relief, remarking, Miss Lin has been quite fortunate. She happened upon young Zhou while shopping. Zhu Jiang nodded in agreement, adding, it was only young Zhou's martial skills that saved her. Had it been anyone else facing 4 elite assassins, they likely would have perished themselves. Shen Chenggang cast a glance at him and replied, "Your fortune is equally remarkable. Had anything happened to Lin Shishu, your role as chief of police would have been at an end. Old Zhu, did you not dispatch anyone to secretly protect her?" Zhu Jiang sighed in response. "How could I not have sent undercover agents to guard such a renowned figure? However, this lady chose to conceal her outing and only brought her assistant along to the mall. Not only were we unaware, but even her extensive security detail believed she was resting in her room." Shen Chenggang remarked with resignation, "She truly is quite headstrong. What is your perspective on this?" Without hesitation, Zhu Jiang responded, "Trouble arises from within." Shen Chenggang inquired further, "What leads you to such a conclusion?" Zhu Jiang explained, "The 4 assassins have regained consciousness. While they have revealed nothing, they all entered from Han country, first arriving in Huicheng before coming to Yunhai a day earlier." Shen Chenggang's eyes gleamed with insight as he stated, "A mole." Zhu Jiang nodded, affirming, "It must be someone close to Lin Shishu." After a moment of contemplation, Shen Chenggang declared, "Let us go meet Lin Shishu." His intention was to handle the matter discreetly to avoid causing a global stir. If they could convince Lin Shishu that those attempting to kill her were her own kin, she would likely opt for silence to preserve her family's reputation, thus minimizing the incident's impact on Yunhai City. Soon, Shen Chenggang and Zhu Jiang found themselves in a conference room at the hospital, where Lin Shishu awaited them. Before either could speak, she stated, "I wish to see Zhou Yuchen." "Very well," Shen Chenggang replied, turning to Zhu Jiang. Zhu Jiang promptly took out his phone and made a call. Shortly thereafter, Zhou Yuchen entered, greeting Shen Chenggang and Zhu Jiang. He displayed no surprise at their presence. Rather, it would have been unusual had they not come. The rationale was straightforward. The attempted assassination of the young lady from the 9 Stars group would undoubtedly stir international discourse, severely damaging Yunhai City's global image. "Mr. Zhou, our negotiation this morning was rather unpleasant. Why would you risk your life to save me?" Lin Shishu's beautiful eyes fixated on Zhou Yuchen as she broached the subject directly. Zhou Yuchen shrugged and replied, "Firstly, those 4 assassins posed no threat to my life. To be frank, had they been armed, I would have fled without hesitation rather than risk my life for yours." Lin Shishu smiled for the first time, stating, "Your honesty is refreshing." Zhou Yuchen continued, "Secondly, while our negotiation was unsatisfactory, it does not preclude the possibility of friendship or future business partnerships. As I mentioned, when business fails, there remains a bond of honor. It is this very honor that compels me to rescue you in your time of need." Lin Shishu nodded, acknowledging, "Regardless of the circumstances, I owe you a life debt. Should you require assistance in the future, I shall not refuse." Zhou Yuchen responded nonchalantly, "That depends on whether you have a future." The expressions of Shen Chenggang and Zhu Jiang shifted dramatically as they turned towards Lin Shishu. She raised an eyebrow and asked, "What do you mean?" Zhou Yuchen smiled. "The very fact that assassination tactics are being employed indicates that the internal power struggle within your company has reached a boiling point. Should you lose this battle, your situation may not improve significantly." Zhu Jiang interjected, "Ms. Lin, we have confirmed that all 4 assassins hail from Han country, having first traveled to Huicheng and then arriving in Yunhai half a day before you." "Are you certain it was half a day?" Lin Shishu's gaze sharpened. "Absolutely certain. They made no efforts to conceal their arrival, boldly flying from Huizhou to Yunhai." "Ms. Lin, do you have any suspects?" Lin Shishu furrowed her brow, admitting, "I do. But I am not entirely certain." Zhou Yuchen queried, "Is it the assistant who was just rescued?" Lin Shishu's face reflected surprise as she exclaimed, "How did you come to that conclusion?" Zhou Yuchen chuckled, "You both spent half a day shopping, and your bodyguards were none the wiser. How could a group of unfamiliar assassins accurately locate you without inside information? Clearly, someone has tipped them off." Lin Shishu countered, "But Xiaoran nearly died saving me." "Are you certain she was injured to save you?" Zhou Yuchen pressed. "Could it be that she was also a target of the assassins?" Observing Lin Shishu's contemplative expression, Zhou Yuchen continued, "If I were one of your elder brothers wishing to eliminate you, I would ensure the informant was silenced, for that individual would know I was the culprit. If word got out, my fate would be sealed." Indeed, Shen Chenggang and Zhu Jiang both nodded in agreement. Finding merit in Zhou Yuchen's analysis, Lin Shishu stated, "If Xiaoran wished to kill me, she would have had ample opportunity." Zhou Yuchen replied with a smile, "If she were to kill you, her own demise would be inevitable. Thus, she merely relayed your whereabouts to the mastermind, who, unbeknownst to her, intended to eliminate her as well. Of course, this remains conjecture. To ascertain the truth, one could examine her phone for any deleted messages or calls." Zhu Jiang added, "Ms. Lin, Mr. Zhou is a top-tier cyber expert. If you consent, we can conduct the examination immediately." Lin Shishu responded without hesitation, "Proceed." Zhu Jiang acted swiftly, retrieving a laptop and Xiaoran's phone within 10 minutes. Zhou Yuchen connected the phone to the computer and, after a flurry of keystrokes, swiftly restored all deleted data from the past week. "It appears my hypothesis was correct," he stated, handing the phone back to Lin Shishu. Upon viewing several messages, Lin Shishu's expression soured, her face nearly dripping with disappointment. I never expected the person I trusted most would betray me. Shen Chenggang cleared his throat and remarked, Ms. Lin, given that the assassins are from Han country, this could involve diplomatic concerns. Lin Shishu, gritting her teeth, declared, I demand their extradition back to my country. Is that possible? Shen Chenggang affirmed, absolutely. However, I believe it would be prudent to handle this matter discreetly. What is your opinion? Lin Shishu nodded in agreement, stating, I concur. Gentlemen, my bodyguards have arrived. If there are no further matters, I shall return to my hotel. Zhu Jiang added, Ms. Lin, in light of the unexpected events this evening, our police will assign personnel to protect you discreetly, and we hope you will not mind. Lin Shishu assured, I certainly do not mind. I am truly grateful to all of you. Tomorrow morning, I shall return to Han country to address some matters. Regarding the matter of the substantial investment and the collaboration with the Kunping Group, I will leave the negotiations to my team. Shen Chenggang remarked, we welcome Ms. Lin's investment in Yunhai City, and I believe our cooperation will undoubtedly yield a mutually beneficial outcome. Lin Shishu turned to Zhou Yuchen, extending her hand, and said, Mr. Zhou, I look forward to our next meeting. Zhou Yuchen briefly grasped her delicate, fair hand before withdrawing it quickly, stating, I hope our next encounter is not like this morning. Lin Shishu couldn't help but smile. Initially, she had a rather unfavorable impression of Zhou Yuchen, but now she found him less disagreeable than she had thought. Shen Chenggang, Zhu Jiang, and Zhou Yuchen escorted Lin Shishu to her vehicle. As they watched the car slowly depart, Zhu Jiang let out a sigh of relief, saying, At least we got through this without any mishaps. Little Zhou, you were a great help tonight. If anything had happened to Lin Shishu in Yunhai, I would have been in serious trouble. Zhou Yuchen responded with a wry smile. I don't know whether to consider myself unfortunate or fortunate. My mother sent me to the market for some shopping, and by sheer coincidence, I ran into Lin Shishu being pursued. Looking back, it seems more dramatic than any movie plot. If it weren't so late, I might have bought a lottery ticket. Who knows, I could have won a grand prize. Zhu Jiang chuckled, patting his shoulder. You're already a billionaire. What would you do with a mere few million from a lottery? It's better to leave that opportunity for someone else. Shen Chenggang inquired, what is the status of that SUV? Zhu Jiang's demeanor turned serious as he replied. There were 3 individuals in the SUV. They abandoned the vehicle on the outskirts of the 3rd Ring Road and fled. Shen Chenggang remarked, I don't believe they are working together. Zhu Jiang nodded, I share that sentiment. In the struggle for dominance, the contenders may not be limited to just one faction. Shen Chenggang stated, infighting can lead to disastrous consequences. It seems having too much money is not always a blessing. After saying this, he glanced at Zhou Yuchen. Zhou Yuchen rubbed his nose and said, Uncle Shun, it would be better to discuss this once my company reaches the same market value as the Jiuxin Group. Zhu Jiang raised his thumb, exclaiming, now that's ambition. Old Shun, I'll handle the remaining matters. You two should head back and rest. Shen Chenggang nodded. Thank you for your hard work. After Zhu Jiang left, Shen Chenggang inquired about Su Binglin's health. Zhou Yuchen replied, my grandfather is fortunate. He is in the early stages of stomach cancer, and there is not much to worry about. He can undergo surgery tomorrow. Uncle Shun, I owe you for this. Otherwise, we would have been scrambling for a hospital bed. Shen Chenggang waved his hand dismissively. It's nothing major. Are your grandparents satisfied with Jingyan? Zhou Yuchen smiled. Absolutely. They're 100% satisfied. This afternoon, they even held a meeting to urge me to marry Jingyan soon. Shen Chenggang felt a stir in his heart, asking, what are your thoughts on that? Zhou Yuchen, understanding that Shen Chenggang wanted him to express his stance, replied, in a while. I need to accompany Jingyun to the lighthouse country to find a reliable publisher for her new book. After returning, it will be Jingyun's birthday, and I plan to host a birthday banquet, inviting some relatives and friends. During the banquet, I will propose to her. Uncle Shun, I trust you won't object? Shen Chenggang stated, I won't interfere in the affairs of young people. I only hope you will not let her and her mother down. Zhou Yuchen chuckled. You can rest assured, aside from Jingyun, no other woman holds my interest. Shen Chenggang warned, remember your words. It's getting late. You should head back. Zhou Yuchen asked, Uncle Shen, how did you come here? Do you need a ride? Shen Chenggang waved his hand. No need. I came with my driver. Zhou Yuchen then recalled that Shen Chenggang ranked 6th in the municipal government and had his own dedicated driver and secretary. By the time Zhou Yuchen returned home, it was already past 1 in the morning. Hearing the noise, Shen Jingyun emerged from the bedroom. Darling, are you hurt? What happened? That evening, Shen Jingyun had tried to call Zhou Yuchen 2 or 3 times. Due to the presence of police officers, Zhou Yuchen hadn't disclosed the specifics, merely stating he would be late. However, Shen Jingyun had overheard police sirens through her phone, realizing something serious had occurred, and called Shen Chenggang. Shen Chenggang was tight-lipped, only assuring her that Zhou Yuchen was safe and urging her to get some rest. Yet, a restless Shin Jingyun found it impossible to sleep. Chapter 277. The surgery begins. Zhou Yuqin explained, I'm unscathed. It was Lin Shishu, the heiress of Jiuxing Group, who was targeted by several assassins. Shin Jingyun was taken aback. Who would want to assassinate her? Zhou Yuqin shrugged. Who else but her 3 brothers vying for the position of president of Jiuxing Group? Shin Jingyun asked, perplexed, what does this have to do with you? Zhou Yuqin chuckled bitterly. The assassination attempt occurred in the underground parking lot of the mall. Shin Jingyun raised an eyebrow. What a coincidence that you were there. Zhou Yuqin sighed. Indeed. I dealt with those 4 assassins and saved Lin Shishu. Shin Jingyun remarked. That is quite a stroke of luck. Zhou Yuqin replied. Indeed. Fortunately for me, Lin Shishu is a globally recognized business mogul. Had she been assassinated in Yunhai, the media would have gone into a frenzy. Shin Jingyun nodded. As the chief of social security in Yunhai, my father would surely face repercussions. Zhou Yuqin laughed. It's now apparent that the infighting is within Jiuxing Group, with no connection to Yunhai, which actually benefits me. At the very least, our collaboration with Kunpeng Group is secure. Once this deal is finalized, every smartphone manufacturer worldwide will be clamoring to partner with us. At that point, it will be difficult not to make a fortune. Shin Jingyun queried. Are you suggesting that Kunpeng's smartphone batteries could dominate the global market? Zhou Yuqin clarified. More accurately, we can monopolize the global smartphone market, as older phones are incompatible with our batteries. But enough of business talk, my dear. It's past 1 o'clock. We should get some sleep. Shin Jingyun wrapped her arms around Zhou Yuqin's neck, her eyes holding a hint of allure, softly saying, I'm not ready for sleep yet. If Zhou Yuqin failed to understand her implication, he would be akin to a fool. Without further ado, he lifted Shin Jingyun and carried her into his bedroom, locking the door behind them. Soon, unique sounds emanated from the bedroom. The following morning at 6, Zhou Qing rose promptly and stepped onto the balcony. Noticing Zhou Yuqin returning from his workout, she asked, Brother, should I call sister-in-law to join us for some exercises? Zhou Yuqin waved his hand. No need. She is too tired and needs her rest. Tired? Zhou Qing questioned, confused. What did sister-in-law do last night? Zhou Yuqin shot her a glare. What do you think? Zhou Qing suddenly understood, grinning as she inquired, Brother, is Xiao Yeye about to have a brother or sister? Zhou Yuqin retorted, Mind your own business and get back to your exercises. Zhou Qing huffed, but obediently stood up for her Tai Chi practice. After about 10 minutes, Shin Jingyun, dressed in athletic wear, appeared. Zhou Yuqin frowned slightly. After such a tiring night, why didn't you sleep a bit longer? Shin Jingyun's face flushed. She quickly glanced at Zhou Qing to ensure she hadn't overheard, then playfully nudged Zhou Yuqin, exclaiming, Stop talking nonsense. I'm not at the point of being unable to get out of bed. Zhou Yuqin shrugged and said, All right. You should go have a glass of water before practicing your stance. Shin Jingyun replied, walking into the kitchen to drink a cup of warm water. Then proceeded to the other side of the balcony to set up her stance. Zhou Yuqin observed that both Shin Jingyun and Zhou Qing were in proper form, so he slipped into the kitchen to prepare breakfast. Half an hour later, Shin Jingyun concluded her practice and opened her eyes, only to find Zhou Qing looking at her with a peculiar gaze. What's wrong? Is there something inappropriate about me? No, I just feel that you seem different today. In what way? Your complexion appears more radiant than yesterday, giving off a glow. Shin Jingyun was, of course, aware of the reason and feigned calmness, saying, Perhaps it's just from finishing my practice. Zhou Qing, your brother's breakfast is almost ready. Hurry and freshen up. With that, Shin Jingyun quickened her pace, almost fleeing the scene. Zhou Qing covered her mouth, laughing uncontrollably. After a while, Shin Jingyun called Xiao Yeye to wake up. At 10 o'clock this morning, Su Binglin was scheduled for surgery. Although it was merely a minimally invasive procedure with low risk, as Zhou Yuqin's girlfriend, Shin Jingyun felt obliged to be there. Thus, she planned to drop Xiao Yeye at Shun Chunggang's house, asking her parents to look after her for the day while she went to the hospital. After breakfast, Zhou Yuqin took the 3 women to the municipal government compound, dropped off Xiao Yeye, and headed straight for Yunhai First People's Hospital. By this time, the Su family had already arrived. Su Binglin was preparing for the surgery. At 10 o'clock sharp, 2 nurses wheeled him into the operating room. Noticing Su Xiaowan's evident anxiety, Shin Jingyun grasped her hand, offering reassurance. Annie, don't worry. The doctor performing the surgery is one of the best in Yunhai City. If not the entire country, everything will be fine. Su Xiaowan patted the back of Shin Jingyun's hand, saying, I know, but I can't help feeling nervous. Sigh. I haven't been a good daughter, not being by your grandparents' side for over 20 years, and often making them worry. With that, Su Xiaowan's eyes began to glisten with tears. Zhou Qingjian stood awkwardly nearby, unsure of what to say. Su Xiaowan had always been the cherished daughter of the Su family. When they learned she was to marry someone from thousands of miles away in Shenzhen province, their reaction was predictable. Yet, They ultimately could not dissuade her from her decision to wed Zhou Qingjian. Since then, Su Xiaowan could only return home once a year during the Spring Festival. Xiaowan, don't say that. You will always be a good daughter to your parents. Grandma Su said. Su Hongliang and Su Hongguang nodded in agreement, affirming, exactly. Over the years, Su Xiaowan had sent her parents 1,500 yuan every month, which both her brothers had noticed. Recently, she even transferred 1 million, astonishing the Su family. If this does not qualify as filial piety, then surely most children would bear the label of unfilial. Observing his mother's emotional turmoil, Zhou Yuqin immediately said, Mom, please don't feel this way. Next year, I will buy a private jet, and whenever you miss your grandparents, you can take the plane over. Su Xiaowan shot him a look, replying, forget it. I can't afford such luxury. Before coming to Yanhai, I had already applied for early retirement at my school, so I can go wherever I wish. Zhou Yuqin suggested. Then let us buy your grandparents a large villa, so it's not too cramped when you visit. Su Xiaowan nodded. That's a good idea. Once your grandfather fully recovers, I will return home to handle this matter. Grandma Su interjected. At our age, who needs a villa? Su Xiaowan replied, Mom. Let us discuss it when we get back. Chapter 278. A day of humiliation seeing her brother effortlessly pull their mother from her guilt-ridden state. Zhou Qing discreetly gave him a thumbs up. The surgery for Su Binglin was remarkably straightforward, completed in just half an hour. Dr. Liu, what is the current situation of my grandfather? The lead surgeon, Liu Yang, removed his mask, revealing a handsome face. At just 32, he was exceptionally skilled, having published over 30 influential papers, earning the reputation of a genius in internal medicine among many senior experts. Prior to the surgery, Zhou Yuqin had discreetly slipped him a red envelope containing a hefty sum. Without hesitation, Liu Yang placed it into his drawer, which did not leave Zhou Yuqin with a favorable impression of him. The cancerous tissue has been completely excised. The anesthesia has yet to wear off, so we will need to wait a while longer. I will prescribe 2 months' worth of medication, and you must ensure your grandfather takes it on schedule. After 2 months, he should return for a checkup. If there is no recurrence, we can be fairly certain there will be no further issues. Of course, for safety's sake, it is advisable to have a CT scan every 3 to 4 months for the next 2 years. All right, thank you, doctor. By the way, Mr. Zhou, I need to inform you that the money from your red envelope has already been applied to your grandfather's hospital fees. I do not require money and do not accept red envelopes. After saying this, Liu Yang walked away. Zhou Yuqin was momentarily taken aback, watching his retreating figure with a glimmer of admiration. That Dr. Liu is quite the charmer, Zhou Qing commented. Brother, don't you feel awkward? Zhou Yuqin shot her a glance, saying, you talk too much. After waiting for nearly 40 minutes, Su Binglin was wheeled out by 2 nurses. One of the nurses said, the old gentleman will need to rest for a while in his room. Wait until he wakes up before offering him food. If you need anything, please go to the nurse's station. Su Hongliang took over the gurney, nodding, thank you. On the way back to the ward, Zhou Yuqin received a call from Wang Guangzhou. Mr. Zhou, the 9-star group has reached a verbal agreement with us to order 80 million mobile phone batteries and chargers. Their investment negotiations with the government are also underway. As per your instructions, we will sign the contract together when the time comes. Very good. Are we running short on production capacity? Yes. Just now, several other international mobile phone manufacturers called, and they will come for discussions on Tuesday. If their required quantities match what 9-star group needs, our production capacity will undoubtedly fall short. Zhou Yuqin felt a headache coming on. What are you planning to do? Are we continuing to purchase factories? Wang Guangzhou sighed. Mr. Zhou, we have already acquired 2 large factories and owe the bank 50 billion. If we buy more, the bank might not even grant us a loan. We are considering outsourcing the production. Zhou Yuqin acknowledged. I emphasize 2 aspects, safety and quality. Wang Guangzhou replied, understood. Just after finishing his call with Wang Guangzhou, Zhou Yuqin's phone rang again, this time from Wei Nanbei. Hey, Brother Chun. We found 12 capable chip research and development experts through a headhunting firm. They will be interviewed tomorrow afternoon at 2. Do you have time to assess their practical skills? Send their information to my email. I will be there on time tomorrow. Got it. Putting away his phone, Zhou Yuqin noticed everyone was looking at him, making him feel slightly embarrassed. It seems there are quite a few matters at hand. Grandma Su remarked, Xiao Chun, you are now a big boss, so it's normal to have many things to attend to. Now that your grandfather has finished his surgery, you should go handle your affairs. Zhou Yuqing said, Grandma, these matters will unfold in the next couple of days, so there is no need for me to go to the company right now. However, fate had other plans, and Zhou Yuqing was destined to be caught off guard. No sooner had his words left his lips than his phone rang for the 3rd time. It was a call from Zheng Tong. Brother Chen, there's a crisis. Our server for Leisure Puzzle is under considerable attack from hackers. You should come right away. Can it hold up? They are employing an unprecedented Trojan program, aiming to overload the server. If we cannot eliminate these Trojans, Our server will be incapacitated within 3 hours. I'll head over immediately. After hanging up, Zhou Yuqing felt a wave of embarrassment wash over him. I'm sorry, Grandma, Uncle, and Second Uncle, but I must rush to the company due to an issue. Grandma Su chuckled. Go on, take care of it. Zhou Qing chimed in. Brother, I want to go with you. Su Xiaowan frowned slightly, saying, your brother is attending to serious business. What purpose do you have in going? Zhou Qing replied, Mom, I'm studying computer science. I want to witness the battle against hacking and counter-hacking. It would be immensely beneficial for me. Su Xiaowan looked at Zhou Yuqing, who nodded. Let Zhou Qing experience the world as well. Su Xiaowan relented. All right, Zhou Qing, do not disturb your brother while he works, understood? Zhou Qing eagerly nodded, understood. At that moment, the elevator arrived at the 16th floor. The two uncles escorted the elderly gentleman into the hospital room. Zhou Yuqing and Zhou Qing hastened to the Yuechen Game Company. Upon arriving, they entered the cybersecurity department, which was already bustling with personnel. Almost all the team leaders from various departments were present, not to mention the company's upper management. The head of the cybersecurity department, Ma Jun, shared the name of a protagonist from a famous Hong Kong movie. However, he differed in stature and appearance, being of short stature, unremarkable looks, and wearing large black-rimmed glasses due to severe myopia. On the surface, Ma Jun appeared to be an underachiever, yet he possessed exceptional hacking and network defense skills, achieving at least a mastery level of 50 according to system standards. Zhou Yuqing had assigned him a salary level just below Zheng Tong's, higher than that of other department heads. Since the launch of Leisure Puzzle, Ma Jun had successfully thwarted dozens of cyber attacks without requiring Zhou Yuqing's intervention. It seemed this time, however, they were at their limit and had to report to Zhou Yuqing. Ma Jun, what is the situation? Ma Jun's expression was grave as he replied. The attackers are using a new type of Trojan virus that is aggressively assaulting our firewall. We have tried various methods to fend off the attacks, but none have proven effective against it. All antivirus software has been tested, yielding no results. Currently, this virus has breached 36% of our defenses, and the assault is intensifying. Zheng Tong interjected, President Zhou, I have inquired, and this new type of network virus appears to originate from abroad. At this moment, several other gaming companies are also under attack. Zhou Yuqing assessed the ongoing battle and, after a moment of contemplation, declared, I will take charge. Chapter 279. The virus defense battle. Seated before a computer, Zhou Yuqing commenced his extraordinary operations. His fingers danced across the keyboard, producing a symphony of rapid movements that surpassed the speed of the programmers present by nearly double. Lines of code cascaded forth like bamboo shoots after a rain. Equipped with master-level hacking skills, Zhou Yuqing stood unparalleled in both the realms of network attack and defense. After his observations, he discerned the formidable power of this new virus. If one were to liken the network defense of Yuechen Game Company to a fortress, this virus was akin to a power drill targeting a weak point in the wall. Should it penetrate, a swarm of viruses would surge in, overwhelming the inner sanctum. Zhou Yuqing's strategy involved identifying the virus's weak points and feverishly patching them to prevent any infiltration. Witnessing Zhou Yuqing's approach, Ma Jun's eyes brightened, and he promptly instructed everyone to reinforce the identified vulnerabilities. The virus's offensive momentum abruptly ceased, and for half an hour, there was no further progress. Ma Jun triumphantly exclaimed, We have successfully held them off. Zhou Yuqing responded soberly, Merely holding them off is insufficient. We must find a way to eradicate it. Zheng Tong added, Brother Chun, 5 or 6 online games have already succumbed to the virus's invasion and ceased operations. Pengpai Network Company has issued a statement on their homepage, claiming they are researching this new virus and have devised a solution, promising an update to their antivirus software within 24 hours. Pengpai Network Company is renowned in Xia country for its antivirus software, which boasts exceptional protective and malware removal capabilities, far surpassing competitors in client numbers. Zhou Yuqing places utmost importance on network security, and the Yuechen Game Company utilizes Pengpai's antivirus software, which is prohibitively expensive. Old Zheng, contact Pengpai Network Company immediately to verify the authenticity of their announcement. Understood. Zheng Tong swiftly dialed the phone of a deputy manager at Pengpai Network Company. After receiving a definitive response, he relayed the information to Zhou Yuqing. Ma Jun, have the team work in 3 shifts to maintain a 24-hour defense. Under no circumstances must we allow the virus to breach our defenses. Roger that. Old Zheng, instruct all personnel outside the security department to return home and rest. They are to return only when the virus is neutralized. All right. Following the deployment of these measures, Zhou Yuqing remained in the cybersecurity department to oversee operations and prevent any unforeseen occurrences. Zhou Qing, whose computer skills were commendable and whose learning ability was exceptional, took the opportunity to learn from Zhou Yuqing how to patch the system. In just half an hour, she grasped the concepts and eagerly joined the fray. It was only at 4 in the afternoon that she reluctantly departed, as it was the opening day of Xinjiang University, and she had a class meeting to attend that evening. As time passed, more and more gaming company servers fell victim to the assault, leading to the suspension of numerous online games. By 11 o'clock at night, only 5 gaming companies in Xia country were still operating normally. Hello Game Company, IQ Game Company, Luali Game Company, Legend Game Company, and Yuechen Game Company. All 4, apart from Yuechen, had been in operation for at least 6 years. Observing this situation, many gamers took to various forums to voice their thoughts. Given the unprecedented nature of this virus, I am not surprised that the other 4 gaming companies have held out this long. However, Yuechen Game Company's performance is truly remarkable. It is evident that they excel in security measures, which is commendable. I would wager that Yuechen must have a top-tier expert overseeing their defense, as it is inconceivable that they could withstand this onslaught for so long. Today, I had to play Leisure Puzzle for the first time due to my usual games being shut down, and I found it quite enjoyable. One cannot deny the formidable strength of Pengpai Network Company. They claimed they would resolve the virus issue within 24 hours, yet astonishingly, they accomplished it in just 14 hours, completing the update of the Surge virus software by 3 in the morning. Soon, the novel network virus that had stalled for over 10 hours was eradicated. Hooray, we succeeded. The office of the cybersecurity department at Moonlight Game Company erupted in cheers. Zhou Yuchen's face beamed with a radiant smile as he stood up and clapped his hands, prompting everyone to cease their rejoicing and turn their attention to him. Zhou Yuchen proclaimed, I know that you all are not fond of flattery, so I shall refrain from praising you. Ma Jun, compile a list. All personnel involved in this network server security defense will receive double bonuses this month. Cheers erupted even louder upon hearing Zhou Yuchen's words. By the time Zhou Yuchen returned home, it was already 4 in the morning. After a brief freshening up, he entered his bedroom, seated himself cross-legged on the bed, and began practicing his Tai Chi visualization technique. Within 5 minutes, he attained a state of oblivion, losing himself in the experience. No one anticipated that the attack of this new network virus would not only fail to inflict severe damage on Moonlight Game Company, but would, in fact, yield substantial benefits. In a mere span of hours, an additional 13 million players in Xia country downloaded the game Leisure Elimination, with profits soaring to a new high, surpassing 20 million. The reason being that those engrossed in online gaming, faced with the collapse of their favorite games, opted for casual minigames instead of turning to other online games. Naturally, Zhou Yuchen's Leisure Elimination became the focus of their attention. Upon awakening from his meditation, Zhou Yuchen glanced at his phone and realized it was nearly 7 o'clock. He hurried to the kitchen, where he found Xin Jingyun preparing breakfast. Approaching her quietly from behind, he enveloped her in an embrace. Xin Jingyun paused her work and softly inquired, Darling, when did you return? Zhou Yuchen gently pressed his face against hers, replying, Around 4. Xin Jingyun caressed his face tenderly. Asking, Are you tired? Zhou Yuchen replied, Compared to those programmers who often work late into the night, I find this to be nothing. He then added, Dear my parents, grandparents, and uncles have all been urging me to get married. What are your thoughts? Turning to face him, Xin Jingyun gazed into Zhou Yuchen's eyes, shining like stars, and earnestly said, Let us get married. Zhou Yuchen chuckled, My love, you must grant me some time to prepare for the proposal ceremony. Xin Jingyun responded, You know I do not place much importance on such formalities. Zhou Yuchen insisted, However, I cannot simply overlook this. You must possess what other women have, but also what they do not. In short, having chosen me, I cannot allow you to feel even the slightest bit wronged. Chapter 280. Meeting the in-laws. Xin Jingyun was profoundly touched and, rising on her toes, shared a kiss with Zhou Yuchen. After a long moment, sensing something amiss, she finally pulled away. Zhou Yuchen looked down and, with a hint of resignation, remarked, My dear, you are quite adept at managing the aftermath without concern for the consequences. Xin Jingyun laughed. Your task now is to promptly attend to our little princess so she can wake up and prepare for school. Understood, my leader, Zhou Yuchen replied, planting a kiss on her lips before turning to leave the kitchen. A smile of happiness graced Xin Jingyun's lips. Entering the bedroom, Zhou Yuchen noticed their daughter still asleep. He leaned close to her ear and softly called, Sweetheart, it's time to wake up. The little girl merely pouted and turned over, falling back asleep. Employing the same tactic, he called out again and gently tapped her bottom. This time, she finally woke up, blinking her sleepy eyes at Zhou Yuchen, her lips forming a pout. Oh dear, who has upset our little princess? She exclaimed. It's my dreadful daddy. He didn't come home last night to tell me a story, she added in a babyish voice. Zhou Yuchen feigned sadness, saying, That is because daddy was working all night. Now, daddy is both tired and sleepy, yet still has to endure complaints from the little princess. Truly, a most pitiable situation. Upon hearing this, the little girl immediately asked, Daddy, are you very sleepy? Zhou Yuchen affirmed, extremely sleepy. Then let us sleep together, she suggested. Zhou Yuchen had not expected his daughter to wait for him, replying, that one tea do. Daddy must go to work, otherwise. We want tea have money to buy delicious food. But doesn't tea mommy also have a job? She countered. Zhou Yuchen laughed. I cannot let mommy work while I sleep at home. Now, sweetheart, it's time to get up. We cannot be children who enjoy being late. After much effort, Zhou Yuchen finally managed to rouse her. At breakfast, Shen Jingyan asked, are you going to Sioux City today? Zhou Yuchen nodded. Yes. It is my intention to recruit chip development personnel. I must go to sift through the 12 candidates and identify a few reliable individuals. Shen Jingyan responded with an O and said no more. Sensing that she had something on her mind, Zhou Yuchen inquired further. Shen Jingyan replied, it's nothing significant. My parents wish to visit my grandfather in the hospital at 10 this morning. Since you are going to Sioux City, I will take a leave of absence to accompany them. Zhou Yuchen's expression shifted slightly as he asked, have you informed my parents about this? Shen Jingyan shook her head. Not yet. Zhou Yuchen set down his chopsticks, saying, this is not a trivial matter. It is the first meeting between our parents. I must inform them immediately. You need not take leave. I will simply go with you, as the recruitment at Tianjiang is scheduled for 2 this afternoon. Shen Jingyan replied, all right then. You have my gratitude. Zhou Yuchen promptly dialed his father, Zhou Qingjian, to inform him that Shen Chenggang and Dai Wan intended to visit his grandfather. Zhou Qingjian had taken a week off from work to accompany his father-in-law, Su Binglin, during his hospitalization. Upon learning that his future in-laws were coming, Zhou Qingjian placed great importance on the occasion and quickly informed Su Xiaowan. The couple had already arrived at the hospital but returned home to change into suitable attire for the visit. At 10 o'clock in the morning, Zhou Yuchen spotted Shen Chenggang's car in the hospital parking lot and waved. Once the car was parked, Shen Chenggang and Dai Wan emerged. Xiao Zhou, you weren't waiting for us the entire time, were you? Dai Wan asked. Zhou Yuchen smiled. I was sent by my mother to welcome you and Uncle Shen. And I have only waited for 10 minutes. Shen Chenggang retrieved a basket filled with premium fruits and nutritional supplements from the trunk without any hesitation towards Zhou Yuchen, saying, since you are here, please carry this for me. Of course, Zhou Yuchen replied, promptly taking the basket. As they entered Su Binglin's hospital room, Zhou Qingjian and the Su family members, who had been waiting, rose to their feet. Zhou Yuchen introduced both parties, and Shen Chenggang, displaying no airs of authority, smiled and said, Brother Zhou, sister-in-law, we are a few years older than you, so please let us assume the roles of elder brother and sister-in-law. Seeing Shen Chenggang's affability, Zhou Qingjian felt a sense of relief and responded, it is only right. Brother Shen, sister, please have a seat. Certainly. Shen Chenggang and Dai Wan took their seats. Old sir, how are you feeling? Shen Chenggang inquired, looking at the elderly Su Binglin seated on the bed. With a sweeping gesture, Su Binglin remarked, these minor injuries are of no great concern. Shen Chenggang chuckled, old man, just based on your words, I can confidently assert that you must have served in the military. Su Binglin nodded, proudly declaring, Northeast Military District, 32 years of service. Impressive, Shen Chenggang praised, giving a thumbs up before turning to Su Hongliang and Su Hongguang, inquiring, I presume both of you have also served in the military? In unison, Su Hongliang and Su Hongguang affirmed, indeed. Shen Chenggang added, I too served for 4 years. Though while you were in the northeast, I was stationed in the southeast, quite the contrast. Zhou Qingjian laughed, so, it seems I am the only one here who hasn't served. Zhou Yuchen rolled his eyes, retorting, Dad, I am also a person. Laughter erupted among the group. One cannot deny that Shen Chenggang, being a leader, possessed remarkable eloquence. In merely 5 minutes, he successfully established a connection with Zhou Yucheng's family through their shared military background. Meanwhile, Su Laotai, Su Xiaowan, and Dai Wan engaged in lively conversation, primarily focusing on Zhou Yucheng and Shen Jingyan. Su Xiaowan grasped Dai Wan's hand, stating, sister-in-law, to speak candidly, my husband and I are thoroughly satisfied with Jingyan. At times, I find it hard to believe that such an exceptional girl would take a liking to Xiao Chun. As my mother would say, Xiao Chun must have done many good deeds in his past life to earn Jingyun's affection in this one. Dai Wan smiled, you're exaggerating. She is not as remarkable as you claim. Compared to Xiao Zhou, she falls short in many aspects. Within less than 6 months, he transformed from a penniless youth into someone with assets in the hundreds of billions. It's truly a commercial miracle. What is even more commendable is that his first act after earning money was to establish a trust fund for his child, demonstrating his sense of responsibility towards his family. Su Xiaowan glanced at Zhou Yucheng, asking, are you referring to him? Zhou Yucheng immediately responded, who else could it be? I have nothing to say regarding my wife and child. I have always been devoted to them. I am now, and I will continue to be in the future. Chapter 281. Zhou Yucheng's assurance. Su Xiaowan remarked, since you have made a promise in front of us, you must uphold it. If you fail to do so, Su Binglin interjected, we shall break his legs. Zhou Yuqing sighed. Grandfather, at your age, you are still as fierce as ever. Laughter filled the hospital room once more. Zhou Qingjian spoke earnestly, Brother Shun, sister-in-law. What we hope most is for Xiao Chun and Jing Yun to marry soon and establish their own family. Do you have any objections? Shen Qinggang smiled. We certainly support the union of the two children. Zhou Qingjian rejoiced. That's wonderful. Brother, sister-in-law, you can rest assured that once Jing Yun marries into the Zhou family, we will treat her as our own daughter. If Xiao Chun ever mistreats Jing Yun, we will not let him off easily. Shen Qinggang nodded. I trust you and your wife. Su Xiaowan turned to Zhou Yuqing, saying, Xiao Chun, please share your plans in front of the elders. Zhou Yuqing replied, I will accompany Jing Yun to the lighthouse country to publish a fantasy novel. After returning, I intend to propose to her on her birthday. Su Xiaowan probed further. And the wedding? Zhou Yuqing answered, our wedding house is currently undergoing renovations. Once the renovations are complete and it is ready for habitation, we will hold the ceremony there. Shen Chenggang and Dai Wan exchanged glances, each seeing the other's confusion. Zhou Qingjian, not comprehending Zhou Yuqing's meaning, asked, isn't the large flat in Lijiang Garden your wedding house? Have you bought another property? Zhou Yuqing paused. Hasn't Zhou Qing mentioned my purchase of the villa? Villa? Zhou Qingjian looked at Su Xiaowan, who shrugged, don't look at me. I am unaware. Zhou Yuqing, slightly bewildered, said, Uncle Shun, Aunt Dai, Jing Yun must have informed you? Dai Wan shook her head, we also do not know. Zhou Yuqing slapped his forehead, I always thought you were all aware. Su Xiaowan pressed, please clarify, what exactly is going on? Zhou Yuqing explained, not long ago, I took advantage of the low housing prices and bought 3 villas in one go. Jing Yun found Villa No. 15 in Fengsong Villa District appealing due to its proximity to several good schools, making it convenient for the children's education. So we designated it as our future wedding house. Currently, this villa is being renovated according to Jing Yun's design. And my preliminary idea is to hold the wedding on the lawn within the villa. After Zhou Yuqing's revelation, silence enveloped the hospital room. Everyone was acutely aware of the exorbitant property prices in Yunhai, let alone for villas. Su Xiaowan inquired, what is the area of the villa number 15 you mentioned? Is it suitable for holding a wedding? Zhou Yuqing replied, the property deed states an area of 54 acres, with a lawn exceeding 1,000 square meters. It should be more than adequate. The group collectively inhaled sharply. Su Xiaowan could not help but ask, how much did this villa cost? Zhou Yuqing replied, after completing the paperwork, it was approximately around 200 million. Su Xiaowan continued her inquiries, what about the other 2 villas? Zhou Yuqing responded, the other 2 were around 40 to 50 million cheaper. Su Xiaowan was rendered speechless. This was simply too extravagant. Su Laotai remarked, Xiao Chun, I can understand buying 1 villa as a wedding house, but why purchase 3? Zhou Yuqing explained with a smile, grandmother, the other 2 villas are not for living. They are for resale. I have great faith in the real estate market in Xia country and plan to acquire properties in first-tier cities like Yindu, Yinhai, and Pengcheng. After property prices appreciate, I will sell them for a profit. This is business, not merely acquiring residences. Zhou Qingjian furrowed his brow, asking, how many properties do you intend to purchase? Zhou Yuqing replied, at least 100. Zhou Qingjian's eyes nearly bulged out, exclaiming, wouldn't that cost over 100 billion? What if your judgment is wrong? Zhou Yuqing rubbed his nose, exasperated. Dad, it seems today is not the right time to discuss this. Shen Chenggang interjected, it's all right. I would like to hear your insights. Zhou Yuqing contemplated for a moment, stating, the rise in property prices is an inevitable consequence of national development, entangled with numerous economic issues that could take days to discuss. I will share only my personal plan. With the economic growth of Xia country, there will be an increasing number of wealthy individuals worth tens or hundreds of billions, whose demands for quality of life will naturally rise. I aim to purchase as many premium properties as possible in Yindu, Yinhai, and Pengcheng before purchase restrictions are enacted and before speculators react. Once property prices soar, I can sell these to super-rich individuals, all within a time frame not exceeding 3 years. If my predictions hold true, I could earn at least 70% or even more than double on each property. If I misjudge, I would incur a loss of about 20%. Using 150 billion as a baseline, if I succeed, I could earn between 100 to 150 billion, but if I fail, I would lose 20 to 30 billion. So, I ask you, why would I not pursue such a lucrative endeavor? These words left the hospital room once again enveloped in silence. To Zhou Yuqing, the figures of 20 or 30 billion, which would leave others in awe, seemed trivial. The disparity envisioned between Zhou Yuqing and the others was too vast to continue the conversation. Zhou Qingjian sighed, stating, your enterprise has grown beyond our comprehension. The path ahead is one you must navigate alone. I only hope you do not forget that there are those at home who require protection. Zhou Yuqing smiled and said, Dad, This is precisely the reason I purchased a trust fund for Xiaoya. Even if I were to fail in my entrepreneurial endeavors and bear countless debts, this trust fund would remain untouched. It serves as the last bastion I leave for her and her mother. Haha. I am confident that this bastion will never be needed in my lifetime. Zhou Qingjin remarked, let us hope so. Brother Shun, sister-in-law, are you satisfied with Xiaoqing's plans? Shun Qinggang chuckled. With our daughter about to reside in a 200 million mansion, how could we possibly be dissatisfied? Zhou Yuchen added, Uncle Shun, Aunt Dai, please do not divulge my proposal plans to Jingyun before her birthday. Otherwise, there will be no surprise. Shun Qinggang and Dai Wan exchanged glances and replied in unison, all right. The couple came to the hospital not only to visit Su Binglin, but primarily to ascertain the Zhou family's attitude towards their daughter. After the exchanges this morning, they finally felt completely at ease. Chapter 282. All at ease on their way back, Zhou Qingjin, Su Xiuwan, and Zhou Yuchen personally escorted them to the parking lot. Just before they got into the car, Su Xiuwan and Dai Wan held hands and chatted for over 10 minutes before reluctantly parting. On the road, a smile remained on Dai Wan's face. Shin Qinggang glanced at her and asked, are you at ease? Dai Wan nodded, yes, I am. Shin Qinggang continued, what do you think of our two families? Dai Wan adjusted her glasses and replied, the male relative is not very articulate, yet he is upright, speaking and acting with precision, much like your character. The female relative appears to be influenced by a military upbringing, exuding a grand demeanor, being unperturbed by trifles, yet not irritable, and is eloquent with clear logical reasoning. I thoroughly enjoy conversing with her. As for Xiaozhou's grandfather and two uncles, they are the epitome of military demeanor. I am truly reassured that Jingyun is marrying into such a family. What about you? What is your perspective? Shin Qinggang laughed. From the moment I stepped in, I knew there would be no issues. Dai Wan inquired, intuition? Shin Qinggang nodded. The appearance reflects the heart. Having been a police officer for a lifetime, I can discern a person's character from their visage, gaze, and aura. Xiaozhou's family, every single one of them, possesses a righteous spirit, especially old Master Su. He is certainly a person who does not tolerate any nonsense. Haha, I now understand why Xiaozhou's relatives would set aside everything to help him during his most trying times. Having such loyal and righteous relatives is indeed Xiaozhou's fortune. Dai Wan cautioned, let us not forget, they all share the surname Su. Xiaozhou's blood relatives may prove to be more challenging to engage with. Engage? A glint flashed in Shun Qinggang's eyes as he remarked, having known Xiaozhou for this long. Do you still not see his character? He is exceptionally good to his family. However, when it comes to others, he can be described as domineering. Lin Shishu, the heiress of the Jiuxing group, is already a globally renowned female tycoon, yet she was so provoked by Xiaozhou during negotiations that she left without even having a meal. Even so, she still had to choose to collaborate with the Kunping group. That scene startled even me. 5 years ago, when the Zhou family dealt him a fatal blow in court, do you think Xiaozhou would still be willing to associate with them? Do not dream. If it weren't for his father, I suspect Xiaozhou would have taken action against his own family. Is Zhou Yuchen a virtuous and benevolent man? The answer is no. Based on his previous actions, Zhou Yuchen can be aptly described as audacious. Yet, he is remarkably clever, always managing to achieve his objectives within reasonable and legal bounds. Even the police have no means to handle him. Dai Wan nodded. If that is the case, then that is splendid. Betraying one's family is too despicable. I do not wish for my daughter to associate with such a person. On the other side, after sending off Shin Qinggang and Dai Wan, Zhou Yuchen checked the time and asked, Dad, do you know the way to Xiaoya's kindergarten? Zhou Qingjin replied, of course. Do you have something to attend to this afternoon? Zhou Yuchen nodded. I need to make a trip to Sioux City. I am unsure when I will return. Without hesitation, Zhou Qingjin declared, during this time, just leave the child to me. I shall handle the pickup and drop off. Su Xiuwan chimed in, I will accompany you. Zhou Yuchen agreed, all right. I will pick her up when I can. If I truly cannot make it, then you may take her. Su Xiuwan curiously inquired, Xiaoqing, what are you going to Sioux City for? Zhou Yuchen replied, I have invested in a drone company in Sioux City, and this trip is to recruit talents in chip technology. Su Xiuwan pressed, how many companies do you actually have? Zhou Yuchen held up 3 fingers, just 3. No more time for discussion. I must be off. Su Xiuwan cautioned, drive carefully. Watching Zhou Yuchen's car slowly depart, Zhou Qingjin remarked, this lad is truly becoming more formidable by the day. Su Xiuwan, with pride, responded, indeed. Old Zhou, what do you think of our two families? Zhou Qingjin remarked, they are better than I had imagined. They neither look down upon us nor act superior. They have their own way of speaking and acting. I must admit, high-ranking officials truly command the atmosphere. They took control of the conversation the moment they entered. In comparison, we seem far behind. Su Xiuwan nodded. How the Shun family treats us is inconsequential. The key is that we must not let Xiaoqing feel wronged. Zhou Qingjin raised an eyebrow. Do you think your son is the type to suffer in silence? His presence now is no less formidable than Brother Shun's. Su Xiaowan was taken aback. Is that so? I did not notice. Zhou Qingjin replied. You are his mother, so of course, you would not perceive it. Go home and ask your two brothers. They will surely sense it. Su Xiaowan waved her hand. That is not important. No matter how impressive Xiaoqing becomes, he is still my son. If he misbehaves, I shall discipline him. Zhou Qingjian gave a thumbs up. Wife, you are magnificent. Upon arriving in Su City, Zhou Yuqin casually found a restaurant for lunch before heading to the Tianjiang drone group to meet Wei Nanbei. At that moment, Wei Nanbei and the other three founders, Yu Bo, Zhang Jiani, and Geng Yinyang, were discussing the recruitment process for the afternoon. Brother Chun, do you have any methods to ascertain their competency level? Wei Nanbei inquired. Zhou Yuqin replied, my method is quite simple. We will administer 3 written tests. The first 2 will consist of problems that Cheng Zhong and the others found difficult to solve. And the final one will be an advanced question. If anyone can answer all 3, I can be 100% certain they are a genius in chip development. If they get 1 or 2 correct, they can still be considered exceptionally talented. If none are correct, then there is no need for further discussion. Wei Nanbei's eyes lit up, joyfully exclaiming, that is excellent. Brother Chun, such an assessment method could only be devised by a chip master like yourself. The other 3 nodded in agreement. Zhou Yuqin smiled. Please do not flatter me. Quickly find a computer. I will strive to complete the questions within 40 minutes. All right. Wei Nanbei responded, procuring a laptop for Zhou Yuqin. Zhou Yuqin's fingers flew across the keyboard, and after about half an hour, he had completed the 3 questions. Wei Nanbei, having just begun to delve into chip development, was left bewildered after reading Zhou Yuqin's questions, particularly the 3rd one, which he could not even comprehend. Several terms were completely unfamiliar to him. Wei Nanbei smiled wryly and said, Brother Chun, could this be too challenging? Zhou Yuqin patted his shoulder and replied, we are seeking individuals whose capabilities surpass those of Cheng Zhong and his associates. If we only find those of similar or lesser skills, what significance would this recruitment hold? Wei Nanbei nodded in agreement, acknowledging the point. Chapter 283. 3 questions Zhou Yuqin inquired. With 10 minutes remaining until the scheduled time, have all the candidates arrived? Wei Nanbei responded, they are all here, waiting in the conference room. Zhou Yuqin declared, then let us not waste any time. We shall commence immediately. Understood, Wei Nanbei replied. And together with Zhou Yuqin, they entered the conference room with the examination papers. The 12 candidates stood in unison. Zhou Yuqin utilized his loyalty assessment on each of them, discovering that their loyalty levels hovered around 10%. This indicated that, should a financial incentive arise, they would readily betray their current affiliation. However, this was somewhat expected. After all, this was their first meeting, and they were strangers to one another. If their loyalty levels were exceedingly high, it would indeed be peculiar. Zhou Yuqin's inquiry was primarily to safeguard against individuals with negative loyalty scores. Those harboring ulterior motives would infiltrate the Tianjiang drone group with sinister intentions, necessitating vigilance. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Wei Nanbei, the CEO of Tianjiang drone group. This is Mr. Zhou Yuqin, our principal investor. Today, we shall oversee your assessment. He gestured to the pile of examination papers in his hand. You will notice that I possess several test papers, all crafted by Mr. Zhou himself. There are only 3 questions, each with a high level of difficulty. You need only outline a solution approach. If you manage to solve 1 or 2, we can discuss compensation. Should anyone solve all 3, they will immediately become the head of our chip development department, with an annual salary exceeding 500,000. Enough with the preamble. Let us begin, he concluded. One candidate asked, Mr. Wei, is there a time limit? Wei Nanbei held up 2 fingers, 2 hours. If you find it impossible, you may submit your paper and leave. Is that clear? The 12 candidates nodded in agreement. Wei Nanbei instructed them to sit, ensuring they were spaced apart by a chair, and distributed pens and examination papers. Zhou Yuqin spent 20 minutes playing a game in the conference room, then glanced up to observe the candidates deep in thought, all except for one man in his 30s, with dark skin and unremarkable features, who was furiously writing. Surely he is not scribbling aimlessly? Zhou Yuqin mused as he approached to take a closer look. The man had completed the first question and was now working on the second. Unable to contain his curiosity, Zhou Yuqin asked, May I see your answers? The man, seemingly interrupted, displayed a hint of annoyance in his eyes but handed over the answer sheet. After merely a minute of examination, Zhou Yuqin recognized the man as a prodigy in chip development. The solution approach for the first question mirrored Zhou Yuqin's own entirely. And although the answer for the second question was succinctly penned in just 3 lines, the overall thought process was evident. Impressive, Zhou Yuqin thought. In less than half an hour, he had resolved 2 problems that Cheng Zhong and his team had struggled with for days. Such ability undoubtedly reached a mastery level. Zhou Yuqin glanced at the name on the paper, Huang Xiaowei. He softly remarked, I understand your approach to the second question now. You need not continue writing. Proceed directly to the third. Huang Xiaohui paused, nodded, and replied, understood. Zhou Yuchan returned to his seat and remarked to Wei Nanbei, Huang Xiaohui is a genius among geniuses. Wei Nanbei's face lit up with surprise as he exclaimed, that's wonderful. Zhou Yuchan continued, keep an eye on him. I'll check on the chip development department. Wei Nanbei nodded in agreement. Upon arriving at the chip development department, Zhou Yuchan discovered that Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching were not working, but rather sitting together, sipping tea. Upon noticing Zhou Yuchan's arrival, they ignored him completely, not even offering a greeting. Zhou Yuchan, understanding their sentiments all too well, took a seat before them, pouring himself a cup of tea. The recruitment of a head for the chip development team was my decision. Do you harbor significant objections? Cheng Zhong responded without hesitation, indeed. We do. Zhou Yuchan probed, what is your reasoning? Cheng Zhong replied, Old Yuan and I have diligently served this company for 5 years. Why should it be so? Zhou Yuchan took a sip of tea and posed another question. In your opinion, is experience more crucial than ability in a company's research and development department? Cheng Zhong, taken aback, found himself at a loss for words. Zhou Yuchan continued, when a company's technology R&D department prioritizes experience over capability, it is perilously close to bankruptcy. Today, I presented 3 questions to the candidates. The first 2 were challenges you and Old Yuan previously encountered, while the final question was devised by me on the spot. And it is immensely difficult. There are extra papers with Nanbei. If you are dissatisfied, you may attempt them. Solve the third question, and your annual salary will be raised to 500,000. Cheng Zhong asked, will Mr. Wei agree to this? Zhou Yuchan assured him, this matter is within my purview. Cheng Zhong then stood, declaring, very well, I shall proceed. Yuan Taiching added, I will join you. The two strode into the conference room and relayed Zhou Yuchan's words. Wei Nanbei had already sensed their discontent and had spoken with them previously, albeit with limited success. Zhou Yuchan's method of using this assessment to illustrate their disparity from top-tier chip development talent proved to be an astute strategy. Consequently, without further ado, Wei Nanbei handed the papers and pens to the 2 men. Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching each found a seat and diligently began their examination. Wei Nanbei observed them quietly, noting that they sat for a full half-hour without writing a single word, while Huang Xiaohui had begun his work 10 minutes earlier. At that moment, one candidate rose and stated, I apologize, I cannot solve any of these 3 questions. Mr. Wei, I regret the interruption. Wei Nanbei replied, I am sorry for having wasted your time. The first candidate's withdrawal seemed to herald a wave of resignations, as soon after, 7 more candidates departed in succession. Thus, the original 12 candidates dwindled to just 4. As the examination concluded, Wei Nanbei inquired, have you all completed the final question? Although he addressed all 4, his gaze was fixed on Huang Xiaohui. As anticipated, the other 3 shook their heads. Only Huang Xiaohui frowned and responded, I have only completed half. There is one issue I am stuck on, but it seems I might have a solution. Without hesitation, Wei Nanbei returned the paper to him, stating, then continue. Huang Xiaohui responded, all right. Wei Nanbei smiled and added, if any of you 3 experience a surge of inspiration, you too may continue. The 3 candidates exchanged glances and shook their heads once more, revealing faint smiles of resignation. Chapter 284. Only 2 remain. Wei Nanbei took out his phone and called Zhou Yuchan. Shortly thereafter, Zhou Yuchan arrived. Wei Nanbei briefed him on the situation, and Zhou Yuchan glanced at Huang Xiaohui, who was wholly engrossed in answering the questions, silently commending his focus. Nanbei, please pass me the other 3 papers, he requested. Wei Nanbei handed over the papers. Zhou Yuchan lowered his gaze and instantly assessed the capabilities of the 3 individuals before him. Mr. Zhu Yongchun, I regret to inform you that you do not meet our company's requirements. At 40 years of age, Zhu Yongchun was a distinguished figure, having held a significant position in a major chip corporation. Wei Nanbei had high hopes for him, yet Zhou Yuchan dismissed him outright. I believe it is unscientific to present only these 3 questions. Zhou Yuchan smiled and replied, without rules, there can be no order. The approaches taken by the other 2 candidates for the first 2 questions were correct. However, your submission bears no relation to the prompt. Mr. Zhu, the chip research and development department is the most technically demanding sector, allowing no room for deception. This middle-aged veteran seemed to have played a trick, persevering until the last moment in hopes of entering the Tianjiang drone group through an alternative route. His answers, though lengthy and well-written, were utterly irrelevant. Such a person may excel in office politics, but when it comes to technical research, he should reconsider. Zhu Yongchun, visibly displeased, retorted, I have worked in the chip industry for 20 years, and this is the first time anyone has accused me of dishonesty. How dare you? Zhou Yuchan's expression darkened at once. Grasping Zhu's paper, he coldly stated, you filled out the answers to 3 questions, yet they have no connection to what I posed. Tell me, if this is not deceit, then what is? Your conduct reflects not a lack of capability, but a deficiency in ethics. Should you join the Tianjiang Drone R&D department, I fear you would only incite internal strife, preventing anyone from focusing on genuine research. The other attendees cast altered glances at Zhu Yongchun upon hearing this. He had not anticipated Zhou Yuqin would show him such disdain, and anger surged within him. Zhou, you will regret this. I will ensure the entire chip industry hears of the insult you have cast upon me today, and Tianjiang will gain a notorious reputation. Zhou Yuqin replied, Insult? Mr. Zhu, do you enjoy labeling others? I merely stated facts regarding your dishonesty and moral failings. This was not an intentional affront. Have you considered the repercussions should I share your test paper on forums? Wei Nanbei interjected solemnly. Mr. Zhu, your intentions are clear to us all. It would be wise to part on amicable terms. Zhu Yongchun scoffed. You will rue this decision. Zhou Yuqin replied coolly. If we were to hire you, then we would indeed regret it. Zhu shot him a furious glare before storming out. Zhou Yuqin addressed Gu Wenhao and Luo Jia. You both answered the first two questions correctly, demonstrating extraordinary capability. If you are interested, you may discuss matters further with Mr. Wei. Gu Wenhao shook his head. I am only interested in the position of our D department head. Zhou Yuqin raised an eyebrow. Mr. Gu, to be frank, while your technical skills are commendable, you are still quite distant from qualifying for a supervisory role in a technology company's chip or D division. Continued diligent study and research are necessary. A flicker of anger crossed Gu Wenhao's eyes, yet he did not react as Zhu Yongchun had. Instead, he said, I do not believe these three questions can accurately assess my true abilities. My apologies, farewell. Prideful, yet lacking in substance. Zhou Yuqin internally critiqued him with this phrase, but did not attempt to retain him. With only 2 candidates remaining from a dozen, Wei Nanbei grew anxious. Mr. Luo, will you remain with our company? Luo Jia, aged 33, a graduate student from Xiaohui University of Science and Technology, had worked for 5 years at the Ziguang Chip Division in Yunhai. After offending his superior and being wrongfully dismissed, he faced rejection from various tech firms due to blemishes on his record, pressured by housing loans, children's education, and daily life. Luo Jia was compelled to consider opportunities in nearby cities. What will my salary be? Luo Jia asked directly. Wei Nanbei glanced at Zhou Yuqin, the only one aware of Luo Jia's true capabilities. Reviewing Luo Jia's test paper once more, Zhou Yuqin inquired, I noticed you partially answered the third question. Why did you not continue? Luo Jia replied, I could not ascertain whether my conception was accurate. Zhou Yuqin nodded. Once Mr. Huang completes his answers, would you present your thoughts to everyone? Luo Jia questioned, will this affect my salary? Zhou Yuqin responded, it pertains to your salary for the first month. To become a formal employee, a probationary period of 1 month is required. Luo Jia agreed. All right, I accept. At that moment, Huang Xiaohui stood up, excitement evident in his demeanor. I've got it. Wei Nanbei instructed, Mr. Huang, please submit your paper. Huang Xiaohui raised an eyebrow. Can you comprehend it? Wei Nanbei internally labeled him as lacking emotional intelligence, but smiled. I certainly cannot, but Brother Chen surely can. Upon hearing this, Huang Xiaohui submitted his paper to Zhou Yuqin. Zhou Yuqin smiled at him, took the paper, and examined it for about 3 minutes before remarking, the method is rather clumsy. Even if dozens of our D personnel worked around the clock, it would take at least a month to resolve. Huang Xiaohui's expression shifted. Is there a simpler method? I refuse to believe it. Zhou Yuqin replied, you will soon find out. Old Cheng, Old Yuan, have you finished? Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching exchanged glances, both shaking their heads, a hint of bitterness on their faces. After over an hour of contemplation, they had not conceived a single idea. Witnessing Huang Xiaohui complete the 3 questions in just 2 hours, 2 of which they had struggled with, they immediately felt the vast gap in abilities. Even if they were offered supervisory positions now, Cheng Zhong and Yuan Taiching would likely feel embarrassed to accept. Research work differs fundamentally from other tasks. It frequently presents a myriad of challenges, and a supervisor must devise solutions. Without the necessary skills, one would only find themselves humiliated before their subordinates. Chapter 285. Conviction in Words and Deeds. Zhou Yuqin turned to Luo Jia. Mr. Luo, please elucidate your thought process. Certainly, Luo Jia replied, rising and approaching a small blackboard to share his ideas. Huang Xiaohui, listening intently, displayed surprise on his face. He realized that the method utilized by Luo Jia was entirely in line with his own. The distinction lay in the fact that Huang had resolved 2 major problems that Luo Jia had failed to address. Speaking fluently for 15 minutes, Luo Jia initially kept Wei Nanbei engaged, but 5 minutes in, his thoughts became increasingly difficult to follow, culminating in what felt like an incomprehensible text. Once Luo Jia concluded, Zhou Yuqin asked, Old Cheng, Old Yuan, what are your thoughts? Cheng Zhong sighed, I am convinced. Yuan Taiching smiled wryly, I too am convinced. They understood only 70% of Luo Jia's solution, and any notions of competing for the supervisory position evaporated. Zhou Yuqin remarked, Mr. Luo's approach aligns perfectly with Mr. Huang's. Mr. Huang, would you address the two significant issues presented by Mr. Luo? Huang Xiaohui nodded and stepped up to the small blackboard to speak. As the captivating discourse unfolded, Luo Jia could not help but express his admiration with a resounding clap. Upon Huang Xiaohui's conclusion, Zhou Yuqin pointed at the two, proclaiming, Nanbei, we have identified the candidates for the supervisor and deputy supervisor positions. They are Mr. Huang and Mr. Luo. Wei Nanbei joyfully remarked, excellent. Mr. Huang, Mr. Luo, let us discuss the matter of remuneration. No rush, Huang Xiaohui interjected, his gaze fervently fixed on Zhou Yuqin. President Zhou, you previously mentioned that my problem-solving approach was rather simplistic. May I now be enlightened with your more refined methodology? Zhou Yuqin replied, very well, allow me to explain. In a mere 3 minutes, Zhou Yuqin captivated Huang Xiaohui and Luo Jia, rendering them utterly speechless. The two sat motionless, their eyes glued to the 3 lines of reasoning inscribed on the blackboard. Though only 3 lines, they were sufficient to win the unwavering respect of Huang and Luo. A hint of bitterness crossed Huang Xiaohui's face as he remarked, astounding and exquisitely clever. President Zhou, you are undoubtedly the prime candidate for the head of the chip development department. Luo Jia could not restrain his curiosity, asking, President Zhou, did you conceive this solution? Zhou Yuqin chuckled, the problems were of my own design, hence the solutions naturally stem from my mind. Wei Nanbei added, the development strategy for the drone's core chip has been laid out by President Zhou. If both of you can adhere to his vision, our first Tianjiang drone will soon grace the market. He continued, Mr. Huang, Mr. Luo, would you be inclined to join us in this grand endeavor to elevate the Tianjiang drone group to the status of the world's foremost? After a moment of contemplation, Luo Jia replied, I have been wronged, and my past is less than stellar. Wei Nanbei laughed. We shall not dwell on the past. We focus on the present and the future. Luo Jia inquired, what about compensation? Wei Nanbei had already determined the salaries, stating, the head of chip development will receive 500,000, while the deputy will earn 350,000, with year-end bonuses tied to company profits. Without hesitation, Luo Jia declared, I will join. An annual income exceeding 30,000 was considerably better than his previous positions. Thus, he could not let such a splendid opportunity slip away. Wei Nanbei expressed his delight. Mr. Luo, we warmly welcome your participation. And what of you, Mr. Huang? Huang Xiaohui shrugged. I have no objections. Wei Nanbei replied, wonderful. With both of your additions, our Tianjiang drone group is poised for remarkable advancement. Zhou Yuqin clapped his hands, stating, Nanbei, my mission here is complete. You may proceed to negotiate the contracts. I shall take my leave. Wei Nanbei promptly suggested, Brother Chun, let us share a meal. Zhou Yuqin sighed. I have numerous matters to attend to. We shall dine another day. Declining Wei Nanbei's invitation, Zhou Yuqin drove homeward. Upon reaching Yanhai, he did not head straight home, but instead visited the Kunpeng battery manufacturing plant. Tomorrow, representatives from the 3 major smartphone manufacturers, Noah, Excellence, and Haiyan, would arrive for an inspection, and as president, he must personally oversee their reception. After a brief tour of the production line, Zhou Yuqin entered the office building, noticing the light in Wang Guangzhong's office. He knocked and entered. Old Wang, it's past 7. Why are you still here? Wang Guangzhong rose with a smile. I'll be leaving shortly. President Zhou, what brings you here at this hour? Zhou Yuqin replied, I visited Sioux City this afternoon and thought to stop by the factory. Have you eaten? Wang Guangzhong shook his head. Zhou Yuqin suggested, let us dine together. Wang Guangzhong agreed. After gathering some documents, the two drove to a renowned Bianzhou noodle shop, each ordering a bowl of noodles accompanied by garlic, and began to eat. Old Wang, how are the outsourcing arrangements progressing? We have over 20 factories vying to produce batteries and chargers for us. I have organized a team to conduct on-site assessments, and we will compile all findings by the day after tomorrow at the latest. That is good to hear. Old Wang, we can sacrifice some profit, but the quality must be assured. Lithium batteries pose certain risks. Any mishaps could spell disaster for us. Rest assured, our battery safety inspections are far more stringent than those of comparable products. There will be no issues. Then I am at ease. After finishing their noodles, they parted ways. Daddy, are you back? Upon entering his home, the voice of little Yaya echoed from the bedroom. Zhou Yuqin replied while removing his slippers, Yes, Daddy's home. My dear, are you still awake? I can't sleep. Daddy, will you tell me a story? Certainly, I'll be right there. Zhou Yuqin entered the bedroom, where Shen Jingyun had just descended from the bed, exclaiming in exasperation, I've tried to lull her for half an hour, but she has only become more spirited. I'm at my wit's end. Honey, I have work to catch up on. You're in charge of our little one. Zhou Yuqin kissed her and said, Go ahead. After Shen Jingyun left, Zhou Yuqin climbed into bed, wrapping little Yaya in his arms, playfully tapping her bottom. This is what happens when you refuse to sleep. Little Yaya wriggled like a little piglet in her father's embrace, saying, "Daddy, I want to hear a story." Zhou Yuqin instructed, "Now close your eyes." Little Yaya obediently complied. Shutting her eyes promptly, Zhou Yuqin chose a tale from his past life, 1001 Nights, and began to narrate. In just 10 minutes, little Yaya had drifted off to sleep. Chapter 286. Sowing discord. Zhou Yuqin planted a kiss on her small face and quietly exited the bedroom, proceeding to Shun Jingyun's study. Shun Jingyun turned around, astonished. "Has the little one fallen asleep?" Zhou Yuqin nodded. "You've made it 90 steps. Only 10 remain." Shun Jingyun sighed, a wry smile gracing her lips. "The problem is, I cannot manage those final 10 steps." Zhou Yuqin offered, "Then leave it to me. I will strive to return home earlier in the future." Shun Jingyun shook her head. "Little Yaya is nearly 4. I plan to let her sleep alone. Is that not a bit too soon? Many children have begun sleeping separately from their parents by the age of 3. Very well, you are the boss. Your word is law." Your tone suggests you may not entirely agree. "I consent, but with one condition. After we separate rooms, you must move into mine. Then I shall not separate from little Yaya." Words, once spoken, are like water spilled. It is too late to retract them. Zhou Yuqin stepped closer, enveloping Shun Jingyun in his arms, teasingly stating. Shun Jingyun seized Zhou Yuqin's mischievous hand. "Darling, do not be like this. I still have work to finish." "What can you possibly finish?" Half an hour later, Zhou Yuqin said, "I shall wait for you." Shun Jingyun was well aware of Zhou Yuqin's intentions, and a blush blossomed on her exquisite face. The spring air was filled with infinite promise. As the night unfolded in a dance of passion between Zhou Yuqin and Shun Jingyun, culminating in her surrender. The following day, Zhou Yuqin dropped little Yaya off at school before heading straight to the Kunpeng battery manufacturing plant. Unbeknownst to him, the representatives from the 3 international smartphone brands had evidently conferred in advance, for they arrived together. After confirming the performance of Kunpeng batteries, Zhou Yuqin and his team entered negotiations with them. It was at this juncture that Zhou Yuqin realized their joint arrival was a strategic move to apply collective pressure on Kunpeng Group, compelling him to lower prices. Zhou Yuqin did not indulge their tactics, stating candidly, "Ladies and gentlemen, our supply capacity is severely limited. Even if all production lines operate around the clock, they cannot satisfy the current market demand. Thus, I shall only collaborate with one of your 3 conglomerates, while the other 2 may have to wait 6 months. We have already established the pricing. Whoever among you signs the cooperation agreement with us first will gain priority access to our large-capacity batteries and chargers. I trust my words are clear to all. Let us conclude today's negotiations." Upon uttering these words, a profound silence enveloped the conference room. Everyone recognized that Zhou Yuqin was brazenly employing a strategy of sowing discord, yet its effectiveness was surprisingly potent. The 3 major smartphone manufacturers were already fierce competitors, each wishing ill upon the others, making any semblance of trust or close collaboration utterly implausible. Indeed, during the lunch break, the 3 brands discreetly contacted their marketing departments and swiftly reached agreements with Kunpeng Group. When they departed, they discovered that the other 2 had done precisely the same. The ultimate victor, of course, was Kunpeng Group. Congratulations to the player for developing large-capacity lithium batteries and super-fast charging technology, aiding Kunpeng Group in becoming a dominant force in the summer nation's smartphone battery industry, rewarding the player with 100 attribute points and 1 lottery opportunity. Congratulations to the player for developing large-capacity lithium batteries and super-fast charging technology, assisting Kunpeng Group in becoming a global leader in the smartphone battery industry, rewarding the player with 500 attribute points and 3 lottery opportunities. Upon hearing the system's announcement, Zhou Yuqin was elated. 600 attribute points along with 4 lottery opportunities marked the most substantial reward he had received since acquiring the system. With a mere thought, the system's attribute panel appeared before Zhou Yuqin's eyes. Player: Zhou Yuqin. Constitution: 143, average person 10, spirit: 112, average person 10, popularity: 8. 78 million attribute points, 633 skills, national martial arts, mastery level 8, hacking skills, mastery level 3, chip development skills, mastery level 3, investment skills, mastery level 4. Taiji visualization method, spiritual technique, loyalty monitoring skills, special skill, culinary arts, proficient level 99, singing skills, proficient level 99, items, lottery scrolls, 4. Recently, Zhou Yuqin, under the guise of Wujia, released a song titled East Wind Breaks, achieving a staggering download count of 42 million, second only to Unrelated to Wind and Moon, which garnered 56 million downloads. These 2 songs dominated the top ranks on 3 major music platforms, earning Zhou Yuqin over 8 million in popularity points. Notably, The third-ranked song was Possible, released under the artistic name Huayu by Shin Jingyan. Like Zhou Yuqin, she also chose to use her song's earnings for charity. Having accumulated 34 million downloads, I wish to draw from the lottery. With a mere thought, the long-absent golden wheel of fortune began to spin. Stop. A flash of light revealed a calligraphy skill scroll in Zhou Yuqin's item panel. Regarding this skill, one could only say it was marginally useful. At most, during idle moments, Zhou Yuqin could practice calligraphy to cultivate his artistic sensibilities. I wish to draw again. Stop. This time, it was yet another book. However, Zhou Yuqin found himself at a loss for words as the title read Postpartum Care for Sows. Destroy it. The book Postpartum Care for Sows vanished without a trace. The third lottery draw yielded a web novel titled Flower City Youth. Without a moment's hesitation, Zhou Yuqin opted for destruction once more. I wish for one final lottery draw. Stop. The wheel of fortune halted. A scroll appeared in Zhou Yuqin's item panel, inscribed with the words misfortune. How could it be this? In the game, two notorious scrolls existed, one known as the Lucky Scroll and the other as the Misfortune Scroll. As the name suggests, the former brings luck, while the latter only brings misfortune. Consequently, most players employ the Lucky Scroll on themselves and the Misfortune Scroll against their foes. With a thought, Zhou Yuqin activated the calligraphy skill scroll. Instantly, streams of knowledge regarding calligraphy flowed into his mind like a gentle stream, causing his fingers to tremble slightly. In a mere 15 seconds, Zhou Yuqin felt himself transform into a master of calligraphy. Knock, knock, knock. A series of knocks jolted Zhou Yuqin from his reverie. Come in. Wang Guangzhong pushed the door open and entered. Mr. Zhou, here are the related findings from our research on various battery manufacturers. Please take a look. Chapter 287. Unworthy descendants. Zhou Yuqin took the documents and inquired, Old Wang, wasn't it stated that the research would be completed tomorrow? How did you finish so quickly? Wang Guangzhong explained. They divided into two groups during the later stages and visited 6 factories, thus completing the research ahead of schedule. Zhou Yuqin nodded and began to examine the materials seriously. The research team performed admirably. They scored each battery manufacturer and arranged them from highest to lowest, accompanied by numerous supporting images. After reviewing, Zhou Yuqin returned the documents to Wang Guangzhong, saying, discuss amongst yourselves and inform me of the results by noon tomorrow. Understood. Wang Guangzhong replied. At 6:30 in the evening, Zhou Yuqin purchased some premium fruits and made his way to his parents' home. Due to Zhou Qingjian taking over the task of picking up Xiaoya in the afternoon and the need to prepare dinner for Su Binglin in advance, the family decided to have dinner at Zhou Qingjian and Su Xiaowan's home. Dad. Upon seeing Zhou Yuqin, Xiaoya immediately dashed towards him with her little short legs. Darling. Zhou Yuqin bent down, opened his arms, and embraced Xiaoya. He then pretended to fall backward, landing on the floor. Ouch. Darling, when did your strength become so great? My bottom is about to split in two. Ha. The little one burst into laughter at Zhou Yuqin's antics. The father and daughter began to play on the floor. Shen Jingyun emerged from the kitchen with dishes in hand. Seeing them rolling around, she couldn't help but feel speechless. Su Laotai chuckled, Xiaoqin, Xiaoya. Thank you for helping to mop the floor. Zhou Yuqin and Xiaoya exchanged glances and burst into laughter once more. That evening, Su Hongwang was at the hospital keeping watch, while Su Hongliang rested at home, with the meals already sent to the hospital. As everyone took their seats, Zhou Yuqin retrieved 2 bottles of Wuliangye from the cabinet and said, Uncle, you've been in Yunhai with Grandpa and Grandma for several days. I've been quite busy and haven't had the chance to host you properly. Now that I have some free time, shall we share a drink? Su Hongliang replied. I still need to take your grandma to the hospital later. Su Xiaowan interjected, Big brother, I can accompany Mom. It's rare for Xiaoqin to have time. So you two should enjoy a good drink. Mom, what do you think? Su Laotai responded affirmatively. Drinking is fine, but not too much. We must maintain some decorum. Su Hongliang nodded. All right. Merely 20 minutes later, Zhou Yuqin understood his grandmother's meaning. His uncle, who typically spoke little, transformed into a veritable fountain of words after just 2 cups of wine, engaging in a continuous stream of chatter. He and his father, Zhou Qingjian, found it impossible to interject. Su Hongliang extolled Zhou Yuqin fervently, praising his ambition and capability, claiming he surpassed Su Xiangxiu by leaps and bounds. Su Xiangxiu, Zhou Yuqing's cousin, had squandered his academic opportunities due to his excessive indulgence in leisure, ultimately failing to gain university admission. Zhou Yuqing intended to inquire about Su Xiangxiu's situation. However, he was taken aback when Su Hongliang, having barely finished his 3rd drink, succumbed to slumber at the table. The entire drinking session lasted less than 40 minutes, and they barely consumed half a gin of liquor. Zhou Yuqing rubbed his nose and remarked helplessly, Grandma, when did Uncle's drinking capacity decline so drastically? The elderly lady replied, Your uncle has always been inept at drinking and loves it too much. His tolerance diminishes with each passing year, and now even your grandfather can outdrink him. Zhou Yuqing chuckled. Indeed, his drinking ability leaves much to be desired. With the host already down, drinking further is simply out of the question. After finishing his meal, Zhou Yuqing sent Xin Jingyun and Xiaoye home while he and his grandmother, along with his mother, proceeded to the hospital. The car had been waiting downstairs for quite some time. Along the way, Zhou Yuqing inquired about his two uncles. Su Hongliang had a son and a daughter. His son, Su Xiangxiu, 5 years his senior, lacked stable employment and spent his days idling, much to Su Hongliang's distress. His daughter, Su Yang, 6 years younger than Zhou Yuqing, was the complete antithesis of her brother, a prodigy who secured admission to Yindu University in the Electronic Information Program with the highest scores in Jixing Province 2 years prior, making her the most promising child in the Su family. Su Hongguang, on the other hand, had no sons, only 2 daughters. His eldest daughter, Su Yan, was married and worked in a government department, comfortably situated. His younger daughter, Su Yu, was currently in high school and would take the college entrance exam next year. While her grades did not match Su Yang's, gaining admission to a prestigious university posed no challenge. Thus, within the Su family, the 3 daughters flourished, leaving Su Xiangxiu as the only disappointment. The elderly lady sighed and said, "Your cousin works as a security guard in a bar, and fighting has become second nature to him. Your sister-in-law, who works in law enforcement, has had to retrieve him from the detention center over 20 times in recent years, frustrating your uncle to the point of considering severing ties with him." Zhou Yuqing asked, "Isn't my cousin married?" The elderly lady replied, "Who would marry their precious daughter to such a ne'er-do-well? That would be akin to pushing her into a fire pit. Your grandfather once hoped your cousin would carry on the Su family legacy, but now he merely wishes for him not to be beaten to death on the streets." Su Xiaowan suggested, "Xiaoqing, does your company need employees? Perhaps you could have your cousin work for you. Removed from his current environment, he might improve." Zhou Yuqing shook his head, saying, "Mother, do you truly believe he would leave northeast China and travel thousands of miles to seek my aid? Even if he were willing, how could I manage him? Remember, he is my cousin, not my younger brother." Su Xiaowan conceded, "That is indeed a valid point." Before long, they arrived at the hospital. Upon entering the ward, they found Su Binglin's expression darkened to an extreme, akin to the calm before a storm. Su Hongguang wore a troubled look. Seated in a chair with a heavy sigh, Su Xiaowan inquired in astonishment, "Father, second brother, what has happened?" Su Binglin's pent-up anger finally erupted. 10 minutes ago, Changliang called, stating that Xiangxiu had a dispute with a wealthy heir and smashed his luxury vehicle. The police were called, and he was arrested. Changliang was Su Hongguang's son-in-law. Full name Zhang Changliang. Su Xiaowan asked, "What kind of car?" Su Hongguang replied, "A Rolls-Royce valued at 10 million. The other party demands that Xiangxiu compensate for a new vehicle, or else he faces imprisonment. By the way, where is your eldest brother? I can't reach him on the phone." Su Xiaowan explained, "Eldest brother drank too much and is sleeping it off." She reassured, "Father, don't worry, money is not an issue." Su Binglin replied gravely, 10 million is a sum your eldest brother could never repay in his lifetime." Although Su Hongliang's annual salary was decent, earning 10 million was an impossible feat, even with frugality. Chapter 288. Selling oneself to save a brother-father. I do not require eldest brother's repayment. Su Xiaowan then turned to Zhou Yuqing, saying, "Xiaoqing, lend me 10 million tomorrow." Zhou Yuqing nodded. "Money is not a problem. What comes next?" Su Xiaowan paused. "What do you mean by next?" Zhou Yuqing replied, "If I give this time, what about the next? Your cousin has been living recklessly for so long. I find it hard to believe he is unaware of the value of a $10 million luxury car. If he is aware and still dares to destroy it, there are only 2 possibilities. Either he possesses ample wealth and sees 10 million as trifling, or he is utterly reckless, indifferent to the consequences of his actions. If it's the former, then that is acceptable. If it's the latter, we must find a way to prevent him from continuing his reckless behavior." Su Binglin bitterly exclaimed, "Forget 10 million. It's a miracle if that scoundrel has even 1,000 on him. Xiaoqing, you are clever. Do you have any ideas on how to help him amend his ways?" Zhou Yuqing contemplated and asked, "Who is the most important person in your cousin's heart?" Su Binglin replied without hesitation, "Su Yang. He may not be a good child, but he is a good brother." Zhou Yuqing pondered for a moment, then suggested, "What if we stage a scenario where a brother sells himself to save another? We could say Su Yang had to sell herself to a middle-aged, greasy magnate to rescue him. If your cousin truly is a good brother, he will be devastated. Only through experiencing pain can one hope for change." As he spoke, Zhou Yuqing seemed to recall memories of his prior life in prison, his eyes reflecting a profound weariness. Even though he occupied the body of his predecessor, their thoughts intertwined. Zhou Yuqing could genuinely empathize with the memories and feelings of the previous occupant. The bond between mother and child was palpable. Su Xiaowan felt a tremor in her heart upon seeing Zhou Yuqing's gaze and gently patted his hand. Regaining his focus, Zhou Yuqing offered Su Xiaowan a reassuring look and continued, "If your cousin remains indifferent to Su Yang's sacrifices, persisting in his ways, then," Su Binglin interjected, "then he is unworthy of being human and shall have no further ties to our Su family. I will consider him non-existent." Zhou Yuqing nodded. "Then it is settled. Tomorrow, I will send the company's lawyer to accompany uncle." Su Binglin gratefully remarked, "Xiaoqing, thank you for your willingness to provide the funds to save Xiangxiu." Zhou Yuqing replied, "Grandfather, here, any issue solvable by money is not a problem. However, I will only assist this once. There shall be no next time." Su Binglin affirmed, "I will not grant him a second chance either." The following morning, Su Hongliang called Zhou Yuqing to express his gratitude. On the phone, the rugged northeastern man wept uncontrollably. A son is a reflection of a father. Su Hongliang felt immense regret for failing to raise his son properly, while he was deeply moved by his nephew's willingness to spend 10 million to rescue his son. Zhou Yuqing outlined the plan, and Su Hongliang wholeheartedly agreed. 3 days later, Wu Xiaohai, the lawyer from Yuechen Game Company, arrived at the detention center to meet Su Xiangxiu. Su Xiangxiu bore a striking resemblance to Su Hongliang, but was more imposing, embodying the quintessential image of a northeastern man. Yet, his demeanor was dismal, his eyes were bloodshot, and he appeared listless, clearly having endured a difficult few days. "Mr. Su, I am the lawyer appointed by your father, Su Hongliang. I have thoroughly investigated your case. Due to a disagreement with Mr. Zhang Qihong over a girl, in a fit of rage, you destroyed a luxury vehicle valued at 9,600,000. Is this statement consistent with the facts?" Su Xiangxiu quickly replied, "It was Zhang Qihong who assaulted my girlfriend." Wu Xiaohai remarked, "Legally, a girlfriend and a wife are entirely different concepts. Moreover, that lady, Chu Hong, does not acknowledge that Zhang Qihong assaulted her." Su Xiangxiu clenched his teeth and cursed, "Wretched woman." Wu Xiaohai raised an eyebrow and calmly said, "Mr. Su, you wouldn't truly develop feelings for a woman from a bar, would you?" Su Xiangxiu replied, "Of course not. Lawyer Wu, why haven't my parents come to see me?" Wu Xiaohai sighed and said, "Your parents are busy arranging to sell their car and house. They simply don't have the time to visit you. Mr. Su, you are being too impulsive. That Rolls-Royce has been completely wrecked by you. Even after deducting depreciation, you still owe 9,200,000. For your parents, this is undoubtedly an astronomical sum. Mr. Su Hongliang is even contemplating selling a kidney." Upon hearing this, Su Xiangxiu abruptly stood up and shouted, "I will not repay the money. I will serve my time instead." A police officer frowned and said, "Sit down." Su Xiangxiu hurriedly complied, stating, "Lawyer Wu, this is my business. It has nothing to do with my parents." Wu Xiaohai said, "You may not be a good son, but you have good parents and a good sister. Su Yang, in her quest to save you, has already compromised herself with a wealthy man in his 40s. Therefore, I must congratulate you. You will be released tomorrow. However, your sister's life is effectively over." Boom. Wu Xiaohai's words struck Su Xiangxiu like a thunderclap, leaving him stunned. "What did you just say?" Su Xiangxiu regained his senses, still unable to believe his ears. Wu Xiaohai, with a look of disdain, said, "Su Xiangxiu, I am not communicating with you as a lawyer, but as an ordinary person. You are not a good son. At 29, you have not fulfilled your duty to support your parents and are instead living off them. You are not a good brother either. Your sister Su Yang is exceptionally talented, even a top student at Yindu University. Upon graduation, she would have been one of the elite. Yet, because of your foolish actions, she has had to accept the pursuit of a middle-aged wealthy man and has ruined her life. I have handled many cases and encountered numerous scoundrels like you. The common thread among you is immaturity, impulsiveness, vanity, and an insatiable desire to stand out. Yet you refuse to work diligently, always seeking shortcuts, which generally leads to ruin. You are fortunate. You have only destroyed your sister. If you do not change, one day you will also ruin your parents." Having said that, Wu Xiaohai stood up and strode towards the exit. Su Xiangxiu sat expressionless in his chair, akin to a living corpse. After a while, 2 streams of regretful tears flowed from his eyes, and he let out a primal roar. "Ah, I am doomed. I am doomed." As he wept, he struck his face fiercely. His mind was filled with images of Su Yang. Chapter 289, Heart-wrenching Tears. Seeing Su Xiangxiu's mouth bleed from his own slaps, 2 police officers quickly restrained him. "What are you doing?" One officer shouted. Su Xiangxiu, as if possessed, muttered, "I am not human. I am a beast. I have harmed my sister." Each officer took one of his arms and led Su Xiangxiu away. Around the corner, Wu Xiaohai observed Su Xiangxiu's condition and said to the nearby Su Hongliang, "Mr. Su, your son can still be saved." Su Hongliang breathed a sigh of relief and replied, "Thank you, Lawyer Wu." Wu Xiaohai smiled. "This is the first task assigned to me by General Zhou. I must see it through. Mr. Su, he will be released tomorrow morning. Will you be there to pick him up?" Su Hongliang shook his head, saying no. Lawyer Wu, please take him back to me. Wu Xiaohai replied, no problem. The next day, Wu Xiaohai retrieved Su Xiangshu from the detention center. Compared to the previous day, Su Xiangshu's complexion was even paler. His eyes swollen like walnuts, and he appeared devoid of any vitality. Wu Xiaohai returned the belongings that the detention center had kept for Su Xiangshu. Upon seeing his phone, Su Xiangshu felt as if he had found a lifeline. He quickly powered it on and called his sister Su Yang. After 3 attempts, Su Yang finally answered. Yang, I'm sorry. Please, don't become that wealthy man's mistress. I can go to prison instead. Brother, that wealthy man is a good person. He hasn't made me his mistress. Really? Then why did he give you 10 million? I represented Yindu in a robotics competition and won first prize. That wealthy man believes I have great potential, so he gave me 10 million to join his company for research and development after I graduate. Until I repay the 10 million. This was a slight modification to the plan after Zhou Yuqing heard Wu Xiaohai's report, aimed at igniting Su Xiangshu's ambition to help Su Yang repay the 10 million quickly. Su Xiangshu was filled with mixed emotions. Really? Indeed. As soon as I repay this 10 million, I will be free. I will repay this 10 million. Brother, please do not take the wrong path. If you get caught, my sacrifice will be in vain. I swear I will take the right path, build a career, and make up for this 10 million debt. What can you do? I will open a repair shop. I am quite familiar with various car brands, and I can certainly manage repairs. As the number of private cars increases, opening a repair shop is indeed a good choice. Brother, I support you. Yang, just wait and see. I will earn that 10 million as quickly as possible. After hanging up, Su Xiangshu climbed into Wu Xiaohai's car. Outside the library of Yindu University, after finishing her conversation with Su Xiangshu, Su Yang immediately called Zhou Yuqing. As the top scorer in the college entrance examination in Jixing province, Su Yang not only possesses high intelligence and emotional intelligence, but is also renowned for her beauty at Yindu University. After receiving her father's call, she reached out to Zhou Yuqing. Cousin, my brother has decided to open a car repair shop, but he needs quite a bit of money. Could you lend me 1 million? Zhou Yuqing, who was at the hospital accompanying his grandmother for a checkup, chuckled. Yang, are you sure he can repay it? Su Yang confidently replied, at most 3 years, 1,100,000, I will certainly be able to repay it. Upon learning that Zhou Yuqing would cover the 10 million for Su Xiangshu, Su Yang felt grateful but did not wish to take such a large advantage. Thus, she wrote a promissory note for 10 million and sent it to Zhou Yuqing. Upon receiving the note, Zhou Yuqing laughed and, in front of his grandmother and mother, tore the note and tossed it into the trash. Zhou Yuqing greatly admired Su Yang's ambition and personally called her. They chatted for an hour, and Zhou Yuqing was profoundly impressed by her knowledge. Although she had just entered her junior year, Su Yang had already completed the curriculum for all 4 years of university and was involved in a national-level research project, making her a genius girl. Zhou Yuqing thought for a moment and said, Yang, I have a project that requires top talents. If you can complete it, the 10 million will be your reward. Su Yang inquired, what project? Zhou Yuqing replied, an instant messaging app for mobile phones. You are well-versed in the realm of electronic information. Thus, the development of mobile applications should be quite familiar to you. With the imminent arrival of the 4G communication network, Zhou Yuqing has resolved to replicate the highly successful Mixin app from his past life. The creation of the Mixin app itself is not particularly challenging. The true hurdles lie in the realms of innovation and promotion. Su Yang, a prodigy in her own right and a student at Yindu University, will undoubtedly manage the project with the assistance of her classmates. Cousin, do you possess the project proposal for Mixin? I shall send it to your email by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. As for the 1 million, I will transfer it to your father's account. I suggest that you instruct your uncle to present this sum as funds obtained from a mortgage, thus severing your brother's retreat. Very well. Thank you, cousin. No need for thanks. After hanging up, Zhou Yuqing turned to Su Xiaowan and Su Hongguang, who had been attentively listening to his conversation with Su Yang, and said, Mother, Uncle, just wait and see. Within 5 years, Yang will become the pride of the Su family. Su Xiaowan expressed her confidence, saying, I have always believed in Yang. However, considering she is still in school, is it not a bit premature to assign her a project? Zhou Yuqing smiled and replied, Mother, Yang has already completed her coursework for 4 years. Her theoretical foundation is solid, but she lacks practical experience. The project I am assigning to her is merely to create a prototype for a mobile instant messaging app, which is not overly complex. Coupled with the proposal I will provide, it should be completed by the end of the year. Su Xiaowan remarked, as long as it does not interfere with her studies. That is acceptable, Zhou Yuqing assured her. Being responsible for the development of a significant project is a rare opportunity for any student. It will only benefit her education, not hinder it, so you need not worry. Upon returning home, Su Xiangshu knelt before his parents, Su Hongliang and Sonya, bowing his head in apology. tears streaming down his face. The gravity of the situation had indeed shaken him. If it were truly his actions that forced his father to sell a kidney and his sister to sell herself, he could never forgive himself. Su Hongliang had already received a call from Su Yang, and as he looked at his son, who was weeping and repeatedly apologizing, a flicker of hope ignited within him. Xiangxiu, acknowledging your mistakes and seeking to amend them is truly commendable. Su Hongliang helped his son, whose forehead was now bruised from his penance, to his feet and said, Yang Yang just called me. She mentioned that you intend to open an auto repair shop. Su Xiangxiu wiped his tears and replied, yes. I have heard that auto repair shops can be quite profitable. I cannot let Yang Yang bear the burden of my mistakes. I will repay that 1 million. Su Hongliang inquired, how much do you require? Su Xiangxiu responded, approximately 200,000. Furrowing his brow, Su Hongliang remarked, a small auto repair shop? Su Xiangxiu affirmed, once I earn some money, I will seek a location for a larger facility. Su Hongliang shook his head and said, how could a small auto repair shop ever yield 1 million? I will provide you with 1 million to directly establish a larger shop. If you are to undertake this, do so earnestly. Surprised, Su Xiangxiu asked, Father, where will you acquire such funds? Sonia interjected, your father and I have decided to mortgage our house to the bank, which should yield around 600,000. We also have 400,000 on hand, perfectly summing to 1 million. Su Hongliang smiled and said, Xiangxiu, you have always been intelligent. As long as you commit yourself to diligent work, I am confident you will succeed. At that moment, Su Xiangxiu felt utterly speechless. He had never anticipated that even after causing such great distress, his parents were still willing to offer their life savings to support his entrepreneurial endeavors. Meanwhile, he had contributed nothing to the family apart from trouble. He felt like a veritable scoundrel. With a thud, Su Xiangxiu knelt once more, clinging to Su Hongliang's legs, weeping uncontrollably. I was wrong. I am a wretch. I have wronged you both, and I have wronged Yang Yang. Su Hongliang and Song Yu exchanged glances, each revealing a sense of relief. It seemed their son truly regretted his actions this time. A month later, a large auto beauty and repair shop named Baoqi grandly opened in Jishur, rapidly gaining a stellar reputation in the automotive circle due to its excellent service and reasonable prices. Zhou Yuqing's grandmother was in far better health than his grandfather, Su Binglin. Most of her health indicators were satisfactory, with only a few minor issues, which, given her age, were not alarming. After spending 6 days in the hospital, Zhou Yuqing had consulted an esteemed traditional Chinese medicine doctor recommended by the hospital director, obtaining herbal remedies for both his grandfather and grandmother, allowing them to return home. During dinner, Su Binglin remarked, Xiaowan, Xiaocheng, I wish to return to northeast China for recuperation. What do you think? Su Xiaowan bluntly replied, I do not think that is advisable. Did you not hear the doctor? You must return for monthly checkups for the first 3 months. Su Binglin countered, I can have my checkups done at the Jiqing hospital. Setting down her chopsticks, Su Xiaowan said, I am not at ease. Father, my request is simple. Please stay here with me for 3 months. After the 3rd checkup confirms your health, you may choose to remain here or return to northeast China. I assure you, I will not interfere. Zhou Yuqing added, Grandfather, my mother has completed her retirement procedures. Please allow her the opportunity to honor you both. Su Binglin sighed, recognizing his daughter's intentions were for his benefit, and acquiesced, very well. Zhou Yuqing turned to his uncle, Su Hongguang, and said, Uncle, upon your return to Jiqing, could you assist me with a favor? Su Hongguang inquired, what kind of favor? Zhou Yuqing replied, please help me select a villa for my mother, one that is move-in ready. It need not be excessively large, around 2,000 square feet will suffice. Given his employment in a construction company, Su Hongguang was well-versed in real estate, making him the ideal choice for this task. He chuckled, 2,000 square feet is not large? I must commend your ambitions. Lady Su asked, Xiaocheng, what do you intend to do with the villa? Su Xiaowan clarified, this is my intention. Father, mother, this villa is meant as a retirement home for you both. In due time, I will ask my elder and second brother to find 2 reliable caretakers to assist you. Now that I am retired, I shall also visit you in Jiqing regularly. Su Binglin's eyes widened. We are not so frail that we cannot manage on our own. Su Xiaowan replied, Father, you are already over 80. It is time to refrain from overexerting yourself. I lacked the means to honor you in the past, but now that Xiaocheng has become a successful entrepreneur, I wish to provide you with the finest twilight years possible. Second brother, do you not agree? Su Hongguang nodded in agreement. Indeed, if I had the means, I would do the same without hesitation. Mother, father, the decision to purchase the villa is settled. I have never lived in a villa myself. Whenever I am not working, I shall take my wife and children to enjoy this luxurious lifestyle. Su Xiaowan smiled. Second brother, the villa is entrusted to you. Ensure it meets with father and mother's satisfaction. Su Hongguang patted his chest. Leave it to me. Seeing their children decisively finalize the arrangements, The elderly couple could not refuse and accepted the plan with open hearts. After a lifetime of toil, it would be impossible for them not to harbor hopes for a brighter future in a villa. After dinner, Zhou Yuqing and Shen Jingyun took little Yeye to the villa to inspect the renovation progress. At the current pace, it appeared that everything would be completed within half a month. Upon returning home, Zhou Yuqing lulled little Yeye to sleep and then eagerly entered Shen Jingyun's study, lifting her into his arms and rushing into his bedroom. After a passionate encounter, Shen Jingyun lay in Zhou Yuqing's embrace and softly asked, "Darling, when shall we visit the land of the lighthouse?" Zhou Yuqing pondered for a moment and replied, "Please grant me another week." Recently, he had been preoccupied with the expansion of Kunpeng mobile phone battery production. They had already secured 4 major battery manufacturing partners, and the production lines were undergoing urgent renovations, expected to be completed by next Monday. Once finished, the daily output of Kunpeng mobile phone batteries and chargers would exceed 4 million, sufficiently meeting market demand. Zhou Yuqing placed great emphasis on the quality of the batteries and chargers. Thus, he intended to personally lead the technical team for thorough inspections after the renovations of the production lines were completed. Shen Jingyun remarked, "Dear, if you're too busy, you needn't accompany me." Without hesitation, Zhou Yuqing replied, "That's out of the question. The safety in the lighthouse country is quite chaotic. I cannot allow you to go alone." Then I wish to bring Xiao Yeye along. What prompted this sudden change of heart? Xiao Yeye is too young. When she is not by my side, I can't help but feel uneasy. Very well, let us have your father arrange a passport for Xiao Yeye, and the 3 of us will explore what this most powerful nation in the world is truly like. That sounds wonderful. Thank you, dear. What is the need for thanks? Dear, I truly can't take it anymore. Please spare me. Half an hour later, Zhou Yuqing, noticing that Shen Jingyun had completely exhausted her strength, said, "Wife, you should rest well. I'll take care of the little one." Shen Jingyun merely responded with an before drifting off to sleep. Zhou Yuqing covered her with a light blanket and quietly exited the bedroom. Chapter 291. Plunge in gold futures. Upon entering his study, Zhou Yuqing picked up a book regarding software applications. He had already submitted the planning proposal for the mogу app to Su Yang. After reviewing it, Su Yang concluded that developing this app would not be overly challenging. The true difficulty lay in ensuring compatibility with various mobile phone models. Zhou Yuqing needed only to hear this one statement to recognize Su Yang's genuine expertise. In his previous life, the compatibility issue of the mogу app with different phone models had been the primary challenge faced by their development team. However, Zhou Yuqing had long devised a solution. Once the overarching framework of the mogù app was completed, along with the necessary testing and promotion, he would seek collaborators. During this period, Zhou Yuqing had commissioned an investigation into the 2 major telecommunications companies in Xia country, Hello Communications Group and IQ Communications Group. The primary shareholders of these 2 titans of instant messaging were foreign consortiums. Hello Communications Group was dominated by foreign interests, holding a 54% stake, while IQ Communications Group fared slightly better with 46% foreign ownership. To expand and strengthen mogù, Zhou Yuqing sought to leverage the power of these 2 instant messaging giants, following the promotional path trodden by the small penguin in his past life. The challenge was that both communication groups appeared to have ambitions in mobile communications, currently embroiled in intense internal debates. If Zhou Yuqing were to recklessly pursue collaboration with either company, he risked being overshadowed entirely. Thus, devising a breakthrough strategy had consumed much of his thoughts lately, yet he had yet to conceive a viable plan. He could only proceed with caution, taking one step at a time. In pursuit of rapidly elevating his software development skills to mastery, Zhou Yuqing purchased a comprehension scroll from the system, valid for a fortnight. His software development proficiency had now reached an impressive 99, merely a step away from mastery. While Zhou Yuqing diligently absorbed his reading, that evening, gold futures experienced another dramatic decline, plummeting by an astonishing 3. This marked the second occurrence of such a downturn within a week. Gazing at the waterfall-like chart of gold futures, Shen Shiyin's expression grew increasingly grave. It seemed as if fate was conspiring against him. Having borrowed 200 million with a 20-fold leverage to enter the gold futures market, the previously promising upward trend of gold had inexplicably reversed, plunging downwards and nearing the margin call threshold. Shen Shiyin believed this was merely a fluke, convinced that gold prices would rebound, and thus borrowed an additional 50 million from a financial company to solidify his margin. In the following days, the gold futures market stagnated, causing Shen Shiyin considerable anxiety. Finally, the market ceased its stagnation, only to witness a significant drop instead. Observing his margin precariously hovering on the brink, Shen Shiyin felt compelled to seek assistance from his affluent friends. 50 million? Shen Xiao, don't jest. I can't even scrape together 5 million. I only have 3 million on hand. If you need it, I can transfer it to your account tomorrow. It's already past 4 in the morning. How can I transfer the money to you now? Besides, I don't have 20 million either. After making a series of calls, Shun Shiyan was unable to borrow a single penny, and he couldn't help but recall Shun Jingyun's previous remarks. Damn, these guys are utterly unreliable. What to do? After much hesitation, Shun Shiyan finally mustered the courage to dial the number he had been reluctant to call. Hello, Shiyan, what brings you to call at this hour? Came Zhou Yuchen's gentle voice from the other end. I need to borrow $1 billion to help me through this crisis. What has happened? The gold futures market has suddenly collapsed. I suspect they are driving retail investors out. I'm nearing my liquidation point and urgently require funds to supplement my margin. Zhou Yuchen promptly opened the gold futures curve for a brief overview and found himself in agreement with Shun Shiyan's assessment. How should I send you the money? In times of adversity, true friendship is revealed. Shun Shiyan was nearly moved to tears. You, as a black card holder, can directly transfer $1 billion to my account. All right, I will send it immediately. Thank you, Brother Zhou. Just as Shun Shiyan finished speaking, he abruptly fell silent. Shiyan, what's wrong? Have you been forcibly liquidated? Watching the rapidly fluctuating curve on his computer, Zhou Yuchen felt an unsettling foreboding. I'm finished, Shun Shiyan uttered before hanging up the phone. Worrying that the young man might be in a state of despair, Zhou Yuchen quickly attempted to call him back. After 3 unsuccessful attempts, the 4th call revealed that the phone was switched off. Without delay, Zhou Yuchen hurried to his bedroom and gently shook Shin Jingyun awake from her slumber. Dear, what is the matter? Shin Jingyun inquired, her eyes still heavy with sleep. Just now, gold futures plummeted, and your brother has been forcibly liquidated. I tried to call him, but he has switched off his phone. I fear something may have happened. I need to check on him. Upon hearing this, Shin Jingyun, now fully alert, disregarded her state of undress and sat up hastily, exclaiming, the problem is, we don't know where he is. Zhou Yuchen paused, asking, Isn't he at your place? Shin Jingyun shook her head, replying, since our argument, he has moved out. He doesn't return my calls. Zhou Yuchen furrowed his brow, surmising, I suspect Shiyan is determined to prove you wrong by making a fortune. That's why he is ignoring your calls. Quickly inquire with Aunt Dai. Perhaps she knows where Shiyan is. All right. Shin Jingyun agreed immediately and called her mother. As expected, Daiwan was aware of the situation and, after learning the details, provided Shin Jingyun with Shun Shiyan's address. Zhou Yuchen, while changing his shoes, remarked, My dear, please take good care of Xiao Yeye. I shall promptly seek out Shiyan. Shin Jingyun's eyes were already red-rimmed as she implored, Could you please ask Annie to come over? I wish to accompany you. Recognizing the depths of Shun Jingyun's distress, Zhou Yuchen acquiesced and immediately called his mother, Su Xiaowan. Merely 5 minutes later, Su Xiaowan arrived, advising, Take care. Thank you, Auntie, Shin Jingyun expressed, embracing Su Xiaowan before departing with Zhou Yuchen. Upon arriving at the upscale community where Shun Shiyan resided, they discovered that Shun Qinggang and Dai Wan had already arrived. Although the elderly couple frequently chastised Shun Shiyan, their concern for him was no less than that of Shin Jingyun, perhaps even more profound. Dad, Mom is sure to inside? Dai Wan inquired, her face awash with anxiety. I can't reach him on his phone, and he won't answer the door. We have no idea if he is even home. Zhou Yuchen responded, I will consult the concierge and check the surveillance footage. Let us go together, Shun Qinggang suggested. On their way, Zhou Yuchen recounted the call he received from Shun Shiyan regarding a loan. Shin Qinggang, perplexed, asked, Wasn't it said that the fluctuations in gold futures are minimal? How could he be forcibly liquidated? Zhou Yuchen replied, I suspect Shiyan was overly confident in his judgment and employed at least 20 times leverage. Shin Jingyun lamented. Shirtu had previously used 20 times leverage. I cautioned him, yet he insisted he would reduce it to 5 times. Shin Qingang's countenance darkened, almost dripping with dismay as he remarked, He is ensnared by the allure of money, much like those gamblers. Initially seduced by trifling profits, he escalates his bets, ultimately losing everything. Daiwan interjected, Let us set aside this discussion for now. Our priority is to locate Shirtu. The 4 of them arrived at the community surveillance room, where they discerned that Shin Shiyan had exited the premises 35 minutes prior. Shin Qinggang furrowed his brow. Although he held a government position, using public resources to locate his son was not permissible. Just as they were at a loss, Shun Jingyun received a call from an unfamiliar number. Ms. Shun, this is Hu Zhe from Huiguang Bar. Shin Jingyun's eyes lit up as she quickly inquired, Boss Hu, is my brother with you? Hu Zhe confirmed, indeed. Young Master Shin seems to be in a rather poor mood. Upon entering, he ordered a bottle of Ace of Spades and drank it in one go. I feared for his safety, hence my call. I am currently searching for him. Thank you, Boss Hu. We will head over immediately. Now aware of Shun Shiyan's whereabouts, Zhou Yuchen led the way, followed closely by Shun Qinggang, and in just 20 minutes, they arrived at Huiguang Bar. By now, it was 4 in the morning. and even the night owls had returned home. Apart from Shen Shiyan, only 2 or 3 other patrons remained in the bar. Shen Shiyan sat on the corner sofa, tilting his head back as he drained another bottle of alcohol. Opposite him sat Hu Zhe, who had previously met Zhou Yuchen. Upon seeing the 4 arrive, Hu Zhe felt a wave of relief and stated, "I refilled the bottle with mineral water, so young Master Shen has only consumed a little over 1 bottle. Thank you, Boss Hu," Zhou Yuchen replied, suspecting that Hu Zhe was aware of Shen Shiyan's identity. Otherwise, a bar owner would hardly concern himself with such matters. Shen Qinggang scanned the room and asked, "Does he frequent this bar?" Hu Zhe gulped, recognizing Shen Qinggang, and respectfully replied, "Since the last time he was intoxicated and Mr. Zhou took him away, young Master Shen has not returned." Shen Qinggang frowned, casting a glance at Zhou Yuchen. Zhou Yuchen sighed, "Uncle Shen, we shall discuss this later. I must first get him out of here." "I will not leave," Shen Shiyan declared, rising unsteadily, his face flushed, pointing at the 4 of them. "I know you have never regarded me highly. You think I am incapable. Thus, I must prove you wrong with my actions." With that, Shen Shiyan plopped back down on the sofa, sobbing uncontrollably. "But now the truth confirms your suspicions. I truly am a failure, a complete and utter waste of space." Ha ha ha. Seeing her brother in such a state of despair, Shen Jingyun's eyes welled with tears. Shen Qinggang sat directly across from Shen Shiyan and solemnly urged, "Speak freely, express everything you wish to say." Hu Zhe, witnessing the scene, quickly retreated to the bar. "Ha ha ha." Shen Shiyan laughed through his tears. "Dad, do you know? I adore you so much. I wish to marry her and have children. But do you know how her father views me? 8 words: arrogant, frivolous, ambitious yet incompetent. He even compares me to Zhou Yuchen, stating that if I had but half of Zhou Yuchen's abilities and accomplishments, he would consent to our union. It is a blatant insult, and I refuse to be looked down upon. I must succeed, it is imperative. Yet the outcome, ha ha ha, only validates those 8 words. Dad, is it not laughable? Ha ha ha, it's hilarious." As he laughed, Shen Shiyan covered his face and wept loudly. Shen Qinggang said nothing, allowing his son to cry out his anguish. Dai Wan and Shen Jingyun attempted to offer comfort, but Shen Qinggang halted them, fully aware that no words would penetrate Shen Shiyan's state of mind at that moment. The best course of action was to remain silent and let Shen Shiyan vent his pent-up frustrations. After crying for a while and mumbling for another 20 minutes, Shen Shiyan finally succumbed to sleep. Zhou Yuchen paid for Shen Shiyan's drinks and then carried him out of the bar. Once outside, Zhou Yuchen gently patted Shen Shiyan's back. "Wah!" Shen Shiyan retched, expelling the alcohol from his stomach, his complexion growing even paler. Zhou Yuchen initially intended to take Shen Shiyan to his own place, but Shen Qinggang vehemently opposed. Reluctantly, Zhou Yuchen escorted Shen Shiyan to Shen Qinggang's home. Concerned that a fierce conflict might arise between Shen Qinggang and Shen Shiyan the following morning, Shen Jingyun urged Zhou Yuchen to return home to care for the child while she remained behind. After Zhou Yuchen left, Shen Qinggang sighed and remarked, "Given Shida's condition, he likely faces more than just financial ruin. He may owe a considerable amount." Shen Jingyun reassured, "Dad, you needn't worry. I asked Yuchen. He stated that forced liquidation usually occurs around 10%, suggesting Shirtu shouldn't be entirely bankrupt, nor could he owe money." Shen Qinggang scoffed. "Shirtu is a man of great ambition. Are you certain he hasn't sought loans?" Shen Jingyun's expression shifted as she confessed, "I did hear him mention wanting to borrow from those rich second-generation heirs, but it seems no one lent him money." Shen Qinggang replied, "Those affluent heirs are shrewd. It is only natural they would refuse to lend Shirtu money. If they did, they would be wary of potential schemes. My greatest concern is whether he has sought loans from those external investment firms." True to form, Shen Qinggang swiftly discerned the reality. The so-called investment firms in society are widely recognized as predatory lenders cloaked in the guise of legitimacy. Borrowing from them often results in dire consequences. Daiwan hesitated, questioning, "Surely, Shirtu cannot be so foolish." Shen Qinggang replied solemnly, "I too hope that I am merely overthinking." Shen Jingyun interjected, "Mom, Dad, there is no need for concern. Yuchen has billions in his account. As long as he is willing to assist, Shirtu will encounter no issues." Chapter 293, A Furious Beating of Shen Shiyan. Shen Qinggang's eyes widened in disbelief. "You two aren't even married yet, and you intend to use his money to cover your brother's debts? The Shen family cannot afford such disgrace." Shen Jingyun retorted, "Then let us go get our marriage certificate right away. I shall sell myself to him, bearing children and serving him like a servant." Daiwan scolded, "It seems you are eager to marry him today." Shen Jingyun laughed, "All right, Mom, Dad, let us refrain from wild speculation here. Once Shirtu awakens, we shall inquire and discover the truth. Perhaps the situation is not as dire as we fear." Exchanging glances, Shen Qinggang and Daiwan sighed in unison. At 7 in the morning, While Shun Jingyun was preparing breakfast, a mobile phone suddenly rang in the living room. Playing her own song, Possible. Turning down the heat, she exited the kitchen to find Shun Chungang answering the phone. It was Shun Shiyan's device, which Daiwan had powered on after he returned home the previous night. Hello, who is this? Shun Chungang inquired, noticing the caller ID was Ji Jigua from Yunqing Investment. A wave of unease washed over him. Ji Jigua, failing to recognize Shun Chunggang's voice, chuckled, Mr. Shun, last night gold futures plummeted, leading to the liquidation of tens of thousands of accounts. I hope you are not among them. Shun Qingang's expression darkened, and he attempted to mimic Shun Shiyan's voice. Rest assured, I am fine. Ji Jigua remarked, your voice seems a bit hoarse. After a couple of coughs, Shun Qinggang replied, I have a cold, not feeling well. Ji Jigua continued, please take care of yourself. Mr. Shun, if you don't mind, may I check your holdings? After all, I lent you 250 million. Such a sum makes me somewhat anxious. Hearing the figure of 250 million sent Shun Qingang's mind spinning. His expression turned grave. He borrowed 250 million from you? Ji Jigua, taken aback, asked, who are you? Shun Qinggang replied firmly, I am his father, Shun Qinggang. It seemed Ji Jigua was grappling with the revelation of Shun Qingang's identity. After a prolonged pause, he respectfully acknowledged, hello, Leader Shun. Shun Qinggang held no fondness for Ji Jigua, a loan shark, and bluntly stated, I wish to hear no nonsense. I ask you, did Shun Shiyan borrow 250 million from you? Ji Jigua confirmed, yes. Shun Qinggang furrowed his brow, inquiring, what is the interest rate? We signed a betting agreement. Ji Jigua responded, quickly outlining their agreement. All right, I understand. Leaving behind an ambiguous remark. Shun Qinggang shattered Shun Shiyan's phone in a fit of rage, resembling an enraged lion, his eyes aflame with fury. Fool, he is nothing but a complete idiot. Shun Qingang's face turned ashen, his voice booming like thunder. At that moment, Daiwan and Shun Jingyun approached him. Upon hearing that Shun Shiyan had borrowed 250 million from an investment firm, both mother and daughter wore expressions of shock. They could scarcely fathom Shun Shiyan's audacity. Daiwan murmured, 250 million? How could he dare? His eyes are solely on money. For wealth, what would he not dare? Shun Qinggang retrieved his police baton, which he had wielded for over a decade, and stormed into Shun Shiyan's bedroom, seething with anger. Shun Jingyun was startled and attempted to intervene, but Daiwan restrained her. Tears streamed down Daiwan's face as she implored, do not intervene. Your brother's transgression is unforgivable. As if on cue, anguished cries emerged from the bedroom. Ah, Dad, stop. I was wrong. I won't do it again. Shun Qinggang remained silent, mercilessly striking Shun Shiyan with the baton. As a seasoned police officer, he was well acquainted with human anatomy, targeting areas that would inflict pain without causing lasting harm or endangering life. For a full 5 minutes, Shun Shiyan endured a severe beating, his body marked with wounds. Hearing the harrowing screams within, both Daiwan and Shun Jingyun were in tears. Shun Jingyun stealthily entered the kitchen, dialing Zhou Yuqin to briefly explain the situation, urging him to come quickly. Upon hearing her distress, Zhou Yuqin wasted no time and rushed over. Upon entering the Shun household, he found Shun Shiyan kneeling silently in the living room, head bowed, his shirt stained with blood, and his legs covered in welts. Shun Qinggang shot an accusatory glance at Shun Jingyun, who turned her head away. Uncle Shun, Aunt Dai, have you calmed down? Zhou Yuqin attempted to lighten the mood. Sensing the heavy atmosphere, Shun Qinggang asked, you are aware? Zhou Yuqin nodded. Jingyun shared a few details with me. I can guess the general situation. Shun Qinggang continued. Feeling unsatisfied with an 18 million principal, he sought a loan but found no one willing. So he turned to an investment firm for 250 million, leveraging 20 times to invest in gold, only to lose everything. Now he cannot even repay this debt with his life. Zhou Yuqin replied, Uncle Shun, this morning, Shiyan called me, but before I could provide him with funds, he faced liquidation. After reviewing the situation, I believe Shiyan's judgment on gold futures was correct. The upward channel has opened, and it is likely to surge soon. From a technical perspective, his error lay in not managing his position. Although he grasped the larger trend, he neglected the immense risks posed by price fluctuations. Psychologically, Shiyan became anxious, blinded by the allure of wealth, eager to validate his success through riches. Yet, he fails to understand that truly successful individuals are indifferent to others' opinions. The fear of being looked down upon is a clear sign of profound self-doubt. Daiwan and Shun Jingyun exchanged bewildered glances. Shun Qinggang, amused by Zhou Yuqin's analysis, retorted, why are you dissecting this matter for me? Zhou Yuqin replied earnestly, Uncle Shun, the capital market is fraught with volatility. One must learn from successes and failures alike. Only through such understanding can investors achieve greater progress in the future. Future? Shun Qinggang pointed at Shun Shiyan. Having lost 430 million, now owing 300 million to others. This fool cannot even repay with all he possesses. What future is there? Shun Shiyan, devoid of his former vigor, sat in silence, expressionless, like a wooden post, offering no words or defense. Zhou Yuqin smiled. Uncle Shun, I promised you and Aunt Dai I would cover Shiyan's debts. 200 to 300 million is not a significant burden. Today, I shall settle Shiyan's accounts. Chapter 294, A Lesson for the Brother-in-Law. Shin Qinggang sighed. You and Jingyun are not yet wed. Yet our family expects you to provide nearly 300 million to clear this rogue's debts. Your Aunt Dai and I are utterly ashamed. However, aside from you, we have no one else to turn to for help. Zhou Yuqin said, Uncle Shun, this money does not come without strings attached. Shiyan must undertake a task for me. Shin Shiyan finally lifted his head and inquired, What task? Zhou Yuqin replied, To purchase real estate. I require you to acquire premium properties in prime locations within the 4 first-tier cities, Yinhai, Yindu, Pingqing, and Guangqing, such as traditional courtyard houses and villas. For each location, you must provide a detailed report on the properties you favor, along with your predictions for future property values. I will personally visit once you've made your selections. After confirming, I will provide only the down payment. You will need to handle the bank loan process. Do you understand? Shin Shiyan responded. You want me to act as a real estate agent? Zhou Yuqin smiled. Precisely. Upon successful completion, I will compensate you handsomely, akin to a brokerage fee. As for the other debts you owe me, we can address those in due course. You will have half a month in each city. Is that acceptable? Shin Shiyan bit his lip and replied, No problem. Could you possibly advance me 50 million? The gold futures market has entered an upward trajectory, and I firmly believe I can yield substantial profits. Silence. Shin Qinggang exploded in anger, with Dai Wan displaying an unusual expression of fury. Given the current circumstances, Shin Shiyan's stubbornness was utterly bewildering. Shin Shiyan did not glance at his parents, but fixed his gaze on Zhou Yuqin. Zhou Yuqin remarked, I wholeheartedly concur with your assessment. However, why should I relinquish such an exceptional opportunity to you? To be candid, I am equally optimistic about the future of gold futures and have already allocated 1.5 billion to my futures account, applying for 10 times leverage and purchasing long positions just before the market closed early this morning. I conservatively estimate a 10% increase in gold prices within a month, aiming for a return of 1.5 billion. Shiyan, as a financial investment professional, what do you think my chances of success are? How substantial is the risk? Shin Shiyan wore a pained expression and replied, The risk is minimal, with over a 90% success rate. However, Zhou Yuqin interjected, However, I am too conservative, correct? Shin Shiyan affirmed, Indeed. Zhou Yuqin continued, This is where our differences lie. You have never experienced poverty or the pangs of hunger, so you possess a bold spirit but lack a sense of caution. I, on the other hand, have been terrified of poverty and do not wish to relive the humiliations of my release from prison, which is why I consider the potential for failure in every financial maneuver, always allowing myself a chance for a comeback. In truth, the wounds you suffered today are trivial. Although Uncle Shin struck you in a fit of rage, he did not lose his composure. Your superficial injuries will heal with some ointment in a week. My experience differs. I have spent 4 years serving as a human punching bag, the so-called professional sparring partner who can only take hits without retaliating. Initially inexperienced, I often bled from the beatings, enduring not only physical pain but also verbal abuse from clients. Eventually, I gained experience and, for the sake of income, fought 4 to 5 matches daily, averaging 3 hours of punishment each day. I managed to save 400,000 over 3 years, primarily from the tips given by satisfied clients. I lived without dignity or respect, akin to a dog. If you doubt my words, you may inquire at the Longway Fitness Center in Sioux City. Merely mentioning my past will elicit recognition from all who hear it. Upon hearing Zhou Yuqin's words, Shin Qinggang, Dai Wan, and Shin Jingyun were profoundly shaken. In their minds, they envisioned a young man in his 20s enduring punishment in the ring, sparking their sympathy. Shin Shiyan was the most profoundly affected. The first time he encountered Zhou Yuqin, he saw a wealthy magnate exuding great confidence, which displeased him. After several interactions, his discomfort only deepened. It was astonishing to learn that someone with such immense wealth had endured such humiliation. Zhou Yuqin continued, Yet I have always believed that the hardships I endure today will pave the way for the glory I shall reap tomorrow. Thus, I have consistently dedicated myself to study. Even when battered and bruised during the day, I commit 3 to 4 hours each night to learning, for I have no alternative. Education is the only path that may alter my fate. Today, while I cannot claim to be a polymath, I possess substantial knowledge in various fields. I excel in financial investment, corporate management, game development, chip design, hacking, mobile battery manufacturing, drone technology, web applications, software development, and more. These skills have indeed transformed me from the lowest echelons of society into a billionaire. Shiyan, I share this not to boast, but to convey that your starting point is vastly superior to mine. However, your overly flamboyant character, obsession with face, and penchant for comfort reveal traits that are anathema to a successful entrepreneur. The failure of your recent investment was not a reflection of your capabilities, but rather of your character. If you cannot humble yourself and prepare to endure hardship in the future, I advise you to refrain from pursuing entrepreneurship. Shun Shiyan remained silent for a long while before stating, "Did you long to express these sentiments to me?" Zhou Yuchen nodded, "Indeed. But I knew it would be of little use. You are Jing Yun's brother. Had you possessed the qualities of a successful entrepreneur, I would have invested in you long ago." "Shiyan, do you not admire Qin Kuan's daughter? Are you aware of how thick-skinned Qin Kuan was during his entrepreneurial journey? How much humiliation he endured?" Shin Shiyan was taken aback and replied, "You know?" Zhou Yuchen affirmed, "Of course. The day after you and Qin Yu disembarked from the plane, I compiled all available information on the Qin family, particularly concerning the patriarch, Qin Kuan. Allow me to share one incident. At the age of 26, to resolve his company's financial issues, he stood in front of a bank president's office throughout an intense rainstorm for an entire night. His dignity shattered. But all he received was the president's flippant remark, "I was merely joking. I did not expect you to take it seriously." At that time, Qin Kuan's net worth was approximately 50 million, equivalent to about 3 billion today. If placed in your shoes, could you set aside your pride and self-respect to do what Qin Kuan did? Without hesitation, Shun Shiyan replied, "No, I could not." "Could you?" Chapter 295. Daiwan's fury. Zhou Yuchen shrugged and said, "Neither could I, but I will never allow my company to experience the embarrassment of an empty account. For instance, the account of Yuezhan Gaming Company maintains over 400 million in reserves. Even in the face of unexpected challenges, I could sustain operations for half a year. The reserves of Kuanping Group are even more substantial, totaling at least 1.5 billion. My philosophy is to evade situations I cannot manage. I must always leave myself some leeway, or the outcome will inevitably lead to ruin. Your exorbitant 25 billion loan at a high interest rate and 20-fold leverage exemplifies this. Your downfall stemmed from failing to leave yourself any margin for error, denying yourself even a shred of room to maneuver. If you do not falter, who will?" This heartfelt counsel resonated even with Shun Qinggang and Daiwan, who nodded in agreement. Zhou Yuchen sensed that Shun Shiyan was absorbing his words, so he shifted his tone and added playfully, "Of course, you are not without a chance for resurrection. As brothers, we must settle our accounts clearly. I can absolve your debts to the investment company, but you must write me an IOU. As long as you assist me in securing a premium property in a first-tier city, I am willing to offset 50 million for you, in addition to providing another 50 million for investment, aiding your resurgence. Remember, throughout this process, all expenses will be deducted from the investment amount of 50 million. How much you can retain depends on your own capabilities." Shun Shiyan's eyes sparkled with excitement as he declared, "A gentleman's word is his bond." Zhou Yuchen rolled his eyes and retorted, "Spare me that rhetoric. The initial agreement clearly stated that I would lend you 50 million. And you were to call me brother-in-law. Yet here you are, still referring to me as Zhou Yuchen like a thief." Shun Jingyun couldn't contain her laughter, and Daiwan also managed to smile. Only Shun Qinggang remained serious, though he felt quite satisfied with Zhou Yuchen's handling of the situation. Zhou Yuchen had transformed the matter of the 300 million debt into a private affair between him and Shun Shiyan, preserving the Su family's dignity while placing a firm constraint on Shun Shiyan. Compared to his own harsh methods, Zhou Yuchen's approach would undoubtedly yield better results. Zhou Yuchen continued, "However, the money cannot be repaid just yet." Shun Shiyan nodded. "Indeed, the shortest term for the betting contract I signed is 1 month, with over 20 days remaining. The interest alone will amount to 200 to 300,000. We cannot let them take advantage." Zhou Yuchen opened his mouth, momentarily rendered speechless by Shun Shiyan's unique interpretation. "You disgraceful fool, be quiet." Shun Qinggang erupted in anger. Seemingly sensing Shun Qinggang's piercing gaze and formidable presence, Shun Shiyan quickly lowered his head, resuming a posture of avoidance. "Xiao Zhou, are you implying that Yunqing Investment Company is problematic?" Zhou Yuchen nodded, stating, "Any investment firm conducting loans will thoroughly investigate the borrower's background to avoid bad debts. What does Shiyan have? Nothing at all. If he incurs losses, he cannot possibly cover the 250 million gap." A glimmer of insight flashed in Shun Qinggang's eyes. "Is Yunqing Investment Company attempting to use Shiyan to ensnare me?" Zhou Yuchen replied, "Aside from this reasoning, I cannot conceive of another. My suggestion is that Shiyan leak information about his investment failure to gauge the other's reaction." Shun Qinggang frowned. "The issue is that they must be aware of your existence." Zhou Yuchen chuckled. "They are even more cognizant of my frugality, having not invested a single penny for my future brother-in-law. Otherwise, Shiyan would not be seeking funds from them." Shun Qinggang nodded. "That is true," Zhou Yuchen asserted. As long as Shiyin disseminates the news of his investment failure and cannot repay, they may expose their intentions. Even if they do not, we will suffer no loss. We can repay them on the last day of the month. Daiwan expressed her gratitude. Xiao Zhou, we are fortunate to have you. Otherwise, we would truly be at a loss. Zhou Yuqin remarked. Aunt, please do not treat me as an outsider. 300 million is but a trifling matter. Hardly worth a strand of Jingyun's hair. Shun Jingyun jested. Shall I pluck a few hairs in exchange for a few billion? Zhou Yuqin laughed heartily. No need to pluck. I will simply give them to you. Shin Jingyun shot him a skeptical glance. I do not believe your words. Observing the couple's affectionate rapport, Shin Qinggang and Daiwan felt a deep sense of relief. Yet, thoughts of Shin Shiyin's reckless behavior troubled them greatly. Hoping he would learn from his mistakes and refrain from further mischief, Shin Qinggang rose, stating, I have a meeting to attend. I must take my leave. Shin Jingyan suggested, Dad, please finish your breakfast before you go. Shin Qinggang shot a fierce glare at the kneeling Shin Shiyin. I am already filled with anger. What more is there to eat? With that, he grabbed his keys and bag, storming off in fury. Shin Shiyin exhaled deeply, attempting to rise. Daiwan's voice cut through. Stay down. Shun Shiyin was taken aback, looking up at Daiwan, who regarded him with a cold demeanor, instilling an unprecedented sense of panic within him. All his life, Shin Qinggang had played the role of the stern father, quick to resort to physical punishment, which Shin Shiyin had grown accustomed to. No matter how severe the beatings, he felt little in response. But Daiwan was different. She embodied the archetype of a nurturing mother. Throughout his life, no matter how egregious Shun Shiyin's mistakes, she had never scolded him harshly, let alone resorted to violence. Thus, when Daiwan finally lost her temper, Shun Shiyin felt a genuine fear and trepidation. Daiwan approached Shin Shiyin and delivered a sharp slap across his face. He froze momentarily, while Shin Jingyun gasped, rising abruptly. Mom. Zhou Yuqin grasped her hand, shaking his head to signal her to remain silent. Daiwan coldly stated, Shin Shiyin, some mistakes can be made and rectified, yet others are unforgivable. Committing them once can plunge the entire family into irredeemable despair. If it were not for your brother-in-law's assistance in repaying the 250 million today, our Shin family would be in ruins. You would be arrested for failing to repay. I would lose face teaching at Yunhai University for not raising my son properly. And your father would become a laughingstock in the entire Yunhai municipal government. Your brother-in-law expended great effort in hopes that you would cultivate a sense of boundaries and amend your reckless, consequence-ignoring behavior. I do not know how much of this you have absorbed, but remember this. If there is a next time, I will sever our mother-son relationship. I will consider you as though you were never born to me. The impact of Daiwan's words on Shun Shiyin was significantly greater than any physical punishment from Shin Qinggang. His heart experienced an unprecedented upheaval, rendering him utterly bewildered. Tears streaming down his cheeks, unbidden. He never imagined that his usually gentle and wise mother would utter such heartless words. The disappointment reflected in Daiwan's eyes left Shin Shiyin in a state of complete panic. Regaining his composure, he clung desperately to her legs, weeping heart-wrenchingly. Mom. I was wrong. I won't dare do it again. Daiwan remained silent, allowing him to cry for a while before helping him to his feet and wiping his tears. Now, let us eat breakfast. Zhou Yuqin offered. I will prepare it. Shin Jingyan added. I have already made it. The two entered the kitchen, and Zhou Yuqin quietly remarked to Shin Jingyun, that was a decisive strike. Your mother is incredible. The most terrifying thing in this world is not a blade, but the human heart. Daiwan's final actions had effectively pierced through Shin Shiyin's heart. Shin Jingyun, while serving rice, said, honestly, I was also taken aback. I have never seen Mom act like that. Zhou Yuqin replied, you have not seen it, and neither has Shiyin, which is why it had such a profound effect. Shin Jingyun sighed. I hope Shirtu learns from this lesson and refrains from such foolishness in the future. After breakfast, Zhou Yuqin retrieved a small first aid kit from the trunk of his car downstairs and ascended. Opening the kit, he revealed various hemostatic medications and bandages. He took out a porcelain bottle and said, Shiyin, go to the bedroom. I will tend to your wounds. Shin Jingyun, feeling a bit uneasy, asked, what is in that porcelain bottle? Zhou Yuqin remarked, this is a miraculous remedy for treating injuries, a secret passed down in the martial arts community for centuries, specifically designed for those training in martial arts. During my tenure as a professional sparring partner, it was this very concoction that preserved my life. With such a minor injury, Shiyin will surely recover in 3 days. Shin Shiyin appeared somewhat despondent as he replied, thank you, brother-in-law. The two entered the bedroom, where Zhou Yuqin applied the medicinal powder to his wound. The pain prompted Shin Shiyin to bite down on the pillow. Once the treatment was complete, Zhou Yuqin said, I will send Yuqin Kuan's information to your email once I return. When you have some free time, take a good look at your future father-in-law. He is a man who has truly risen from the lowest strata of society, having endured considerable hardships. It's quite natural for him to disdain your previous ostentatious demeanor. I'll leave the medicine with you and come by tomorrow to reapply it. Rest well, I shall take my leave. Just as Zhou Yuqin was about to exit the bedroom, Shen Shiyin suddenly called out to him. Brother-in-law. Zhou Yuqin paused, turning to face him. Shen Shiyin bit his lip, managing to utter, "Thank you." Zhou Yuqin chuckled. "We're all grown men here. Must we be so sentimental? It feels like a scene from a movie." The previously awkward Shen Shiyin was immediately lightened by Zhou Yuqin's words. At that moment, he realized that Zhou Yuqin was not as intolerable as he had thought. On the way home, Shen Jingyun glanced at Zhou Yuqin and said, "Darling, I apologize. It is our family that has burdened you." Zhou Yuqin replied, "The term burden seems a bit severe. A couple of 100 million is hardly an insurmountable obstacle for me. If you truly wish to express your gratitude, then promise me one thing." Shen Jingyun inquired, "What is it?" Zhou Yuqin, with a mischievous grin, stated, "I shall buy you more professional outfits, flight attendant uniforms, schoolgirl outfits, nurse costumes, and the like, for you to wear for me each evening." Shen Jingyun, fully comprehending Zhou Yuqin's implications, felt her face flush crimson as she retorted, "Are all men like this?" Zhou Yuqin asserted confidently, "This is merely the normal joy of intimacy, a playful aspect of married life. There is no need for you to feel embarrassed." Shen Jingyun huffed and turned her face away. Zhou Yuqin glanced at her and asked, "What is this? Are you upset?" "Not at all. I can't be bothered to be angry with you." Shen Jingyun replied, "Darling, do you think this setback will change Shirtu?" Zhou Yuqin responded, "As the saying goes, a leopard cannot change its spots. I believe Shiyin will indeed undergo some transformation, but the extent remains uncertain." Shen Jingyun sighed. "I simply hope he can settle down and refrain from venturing into entrepreneurship again." Zhou Yuqin shook his head. "Don't be naive. Preventing him from pursuing business would equate to destroying his dreams and future. My dear, Shiyin is still young. Give him some time. I have faith that with his talent and capability in finance, he will eventually achieve something remarkable." Shen Jingyun looked at him in surprise. "I didn't realize you held him in such high regard." Zhou Yuqin grinned. "I have always believed in him. There is a famous Western saying, success equals 99% perspiration and 1% talent. However, I must tell you, 99% of people lack that 1% of talent, while Shiyin's talent far exceeds it. But he lacks that 99% of hard work," Shen Jingyun countered. Zhou Yuqin replied, "Therefore, only when Shiyin truly begins to put in the effort will I intervene to assist him. Otherwise, no matter how much we provide him, it would be a wasted endeavor." Shen Jingyun regarded Zhou Yuqin with an odd expression. "Darling, are you truly only 25 years old? You seem so composed and astute, like a seasoned veteran in the business world. Wow, you hit the nail on the head." Zhou Yuqin thought to himself, "My dear, have you heard of reincarnation? Of course. I am someone who has awakened memories of my past life. Though my age is merely 25, combined, I have lived for 60 or 70 years. And what were you in your past life?" "I was, of course, the owner of a gaming company." Shen Jingyun chuckled. "You should say you're the world's richest man." Zhou Yuqin smiled back. "My dear, I assure you, I speak nothing but the truth. If you do not believe me, there is little I can do." At 3 in the afternoon, Shen Shiyin met with Ji Zhigua once more at the same cafe. "Mr. Shen, in finance, gains and losses are commonplace. However, 25 billion is no trifling sum. When do you plan to repay us?" "Ji Zong, could you lend me another billion? I assure you I can repay you with interest." Ji Zhigua momentarily paused, seemingly taken aback by Shen Shiyin's stubbornness, and chuckled. "Mr. Shen, we are not a bank. 25 billion is already the limit of what we can lend you." Shen Shiyin decided to abandon pretense, declaring, "Then I have no means to repay you. If worst comes to worst, I shall simply go to prison." Ji Zhigua hastily replied, "Mr. Shen, you speak too harshly. We are aware that your brother-in-law is Zhou Yuqin. As long as he is willing to assist, it would be no issue to acquire not just 2,500 million, but even 25 billion. Chapter 297. So it is Shen Shiyin's expression immediately darkened. "If he were willing to lend me money, would I need to borrow from you? That bastard." Upon hearing I lost 2,500 million, went crying to my parents, claiming he borrowed several billion to purchase a battery factory, and now can't even produce 500 million. Damn him. Ji Zhigua laughed. "Mr. Ji, you need not worry. Once he marries your sister, he will naturally help you repay your debts." "Marry?" Shen Shiyin scoffed. "Do you know what it means to see true feelings in times of adversity? When I was in trouble, that stingy man wanted to distance himself, not willing to offer a dime. If it were you, how would you feel? My parents are considering having my sister leave him. A son-in-law like that is better off without." At this point, Shen Shiyin waved his hand dismissively. "Forget it. I shan't mention him any longer. Just the thought of him irritates me. Ji Zong, don't even think about Zhou Yuqin. Let us speak candidly. Since you dared to lend me money, you must have some request for my assistance. As long as we can settle this debt, I will exert every effort." Ji Zhigua raised an eyebrow. Mr. Shun, you are overthinking it. Shun Shiyan interrupted him impatiently. Do not treat me like a fool. Either you speak today, or you shall never speak again. Regardless, as long as my father is around, even if I go in, I will be out in no time. With that, Shun Shiyan stood up, preparing to leave. Wait, Ji Jigua called after him. Shun Shiyan smiled and sat back down, confidently stating, I knew it. Now tell me, is it that my father should assist someone out of prison, or is there a major project that requires my father's influence? Ji Jigua hesitated for a long time before finally pulling out a document from his bag and handing it to Shun Shiyan. Shun Shiyan took the document, glanced at it, and frowned. Zhangqi? Who is he to you? Ji Jigua replied, he is the son of our boss. Previously, he accidentally killed someone and is currently in detention. Our boss's intention is that if you can help us resolve matters with the court, not only will you not need to repay the loan, but we will also offer you a 500 million bonus. So that's it. Shun Shiyan finally understood the true reason Ji Jigua sought him out. Ji Zong, are you so certain that I will fail in my investments? What if I succeed? If you succeed, we naturally will share in the credit. In terms of rewards, assisting with this small matter should be no trouble at all, correct? Small matter? This is a murder case. Do you think it's trivial? Zhangqi, in a bid to save his girlfriend, inadvertently caused the death of another, which should be considered an act of justifiable defense, albeit one that may be deemed excessive. Mr. Shun, your father oversees the judicial department of Yunhai. With just a word from him, we can manage the subsequent proceedings independently, ensuring no adverse consequences for him. Shun Shiyan lifted his coffee cup, took a sip, and remarked, leave the documents. I will respond to you tonight. Ji Jigua, elated, replied, all right, thank you, Mr. Shun. Upon returning home, Shun Shiyan presented the relevant materials regarding Zhangqi and their recorded conversation to Shin Qinggang. It turned out that this entire situation was orchestrated by Shin Qinggang. After glancing at a single title, Shin Qinggang set the materials down with a cold smile. Who would have thought that Zhang Yabe is the hidden owner of this investment company? Truly insidious. Daiwan picked up the documents, glanced through them, and inquired, Old Shun, do you believe Zhangqi committed unintentional manslaughter or premeditated murder? Shin Qinggang replied, clearly, it was premeditated. A month ago, Zhangqi, infatuated with the deceased's girlfriend, engaged in a fierce conflict with him. In a fit of rage, Zhangqi drew a fruit knife and stabbed the victim in the neck, resulting in instant death. Having previously been convicted, the charge of intentional homicide stands, warranting the death penalty for Zhangqi to be executed immediately. The lawyer has filed an appeal, citing mental health issues to delay proceedings, and thus far, a second hearing has yet to occur. Daiwan frowned slightly and said, so he has set his sights on you. Shin Qinggang acknowledged, Xiao Zhou is quite astute. Upon hearing of an investment company lending money to this scoundrel, he immediately deduced something was amiss. Such emotional and intellectual acumen is a pity to waste in politics. Daiwan asked, Old Shin, what are your plans? A glint of cold determination flashed in Shun Qinggang's eyes as he declared, immediately return the funds to the investment company, and then handle Zhangqi's murder case with integrity. Whoever dares to show favoritism, I shall deal with them. Humph, this Zhang Yabe has the audacity to play tricks on me. He will pay a heavy price. In that moment, Shin Qinggang fully exhibited the decisiveness and authority of a high-ranking official in the Yunhai government. Shin Shiyan shrank back, not daring to utter a word. Daiwan said, I will call Xiao Zhou. Shin Qinggang interjected, let me handle this. Zhang Yabe is not to be trifled with. It's best if Xiao Zhou accompanies us when we return the money. Otherwise, I have my reservations. Upon receiving Shin Qinggang's call, Zhou Yuqin readily agreed without hesitation. After all, as the future son-in-law, he certainly wished to make a good impression on his future father-in-law and brother-in-law. The following day, Zhou Yuqin and Shun Shiyan arrived at the cafe 20 minutes early, accompanied by 4 plainclothes police officers. Shin Shiyan ordered coffee for each of them and seated them at a table by the window. Shortly thereafter, Ji Jigua entered, flanked by 5 or 6 burly men, leading a distinguished-looking middle-aged man in his 50s. Zhou Yuqin recognized him immediately as Zhang Yabe, the president of the Yabe Group. Zhang Yabe scanned the room, first glancing at Zhou Yuqin, then shifting his gaze to the plainclothes officers, his brow furrowing slightly, as if he had discerned their true identities. Without a hint of politeness, Zhang Yabe sat directly across from Zhou Yuqin and Shun Shiyan, his gaze sharp as a blade, complemented by the imposing presence of his subordinates,